welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews podcast number 20.
Number 20.
Number 20. What up, Andy?
What up, dude?
This is your host, Iain. Obviously, I'm joined by my good buddy, Andy, and Gary. Gary?
Dude.
Gary?
Oh, weird.
Gary's not here.
Is that why in the intro you were Gary and I were you?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Gary is...
See, we don't need him.
We do because, I mean, I had to get him to get all the notes up for me before it started. I've got, obviously, all the news. It's still structured the same.
And this isn't even recording at the moment. That's why we need Gary. We're just dead air.
We're going to watch out for technical issues.
We're in the kitchen.
Don't knock on wood. Knock on wood. Nothing bad's going to happen. Gary himself is at work at the moment, so he is... Well, he left nervous because he knew it was just you and me. But obviously he's left me the notes, so I've got obviously all the news notes and all the catch-up trailers.
He was so much like, do not come down to my work when there's a problem and ask for me.
Yeah, do not talk about my mum's cat either.
I'm going to swing by there when I'm finished.
that would be good. He is working, yeah, I'm not saying where, but I've got obviously all the catch-up news, all the new trailers that have just dropped from San Diego Comic-Con
is going on right now, and we're not there.
Well, of course not. We never go.
I know, but I want to.
Yeah, we haven't got $5,000.
Not spent on that, no.
Yeah. We've got a theme. We had a theme. We were going to discuss, obviously, from your guys' input from the Facebook post. Thank you very much to everybody who put in for that. We were going to talk about Ade Edmondson and Rick Mail.
The legends.
But we also discussed with Gary, and Gary was really excited about doing it.
Yeah.
So Andy and I were just like, well, fuck it. Let's just, hang out and chat and fucking discuss 40k and wrestling.
See, we didn't, basically, we wanted to do the chat with all three of us because Gary's as big a fan of them as we are. So we were like, look, we didn't want to do it with just two of us. We thought, look, we want to get all three of us in because we got conflicting opinions, which is always good. And also we thought it'd be funny is we could just take over this movie-based podcast and talk about wrestling and 40k.
Totally. Yeah, I've got some good... exciting news about 40k.
Literally just heard half the listeners switch off.
Oh man,
these two fuckers.
Man, we're just gonna nerd out as well. Like I said, we've got all the new news. So to keep Gary happy and the rest of you happy, I'm gonna jump straight into the news.
But as a quick side note as well, is Gary will be recording the Q&A with you for the end of this, won't he?
Yes, I've got to.
So we're gonna do the first two parts.
We've got the first two parts,
and then Gary's gonna come back. And
then we're going me and Gary for the Q&A.
Hopefully, people just turn back on.
Yeah, they're gonna skip to the 40-minute mark. Like, where is it? So, starting off with the news, with Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Sell me a ticket.
Joining James Marsden. James Marsden...
Cyclops, right?
That's Cyclops. James Masters is Spike from Buffy. Yeah, so James Marsden is Cyclops. I always get those two mixed up. Not sure if it's a live-action film or a blend of both. There have been 5 different Sonic TV cartoons at this point.
I mean, it's just interesting to hear Jim Carrey working. I mean, I know he did that Dark Tales or whatever it's called recently, but he's gone so fucking off the wall that I'm just like, he's still with us.
He had that whole court case, didn't he?
What was the court case?
You didn't hear about the court case? Well, okay, so got his ex-girlfriend, I believe, who they were madly in love with each other, committed suicide.
Oh, yes, I heard about that.
And he was taken to court because supposedly he had helped her do it.
What, by the family or the state? Or
no, I think it was the family. They'd taken him to court. So he was out of the filming industry for quite a while, a couple of years, and he was dealing with all that. But then he was only coming back to do little parts, which I think would obviously just pay off the lawyers. And that's where obviously some of the dark aspects of his characters come from. But, Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik, I like Jim Carrey doing voice work. He was awesome as the Grinch.
That was great character work, wasn't it?
His facial mannerisms, if they go with an animated film for Sonic, which I think they will, because a live action blue hedgehog running around.
I think it will be like just a very high end animated movie.
I mean, you're just going to have all the characters thrown in there from all the different games. I stopped playing after Sonic 3. I was just like, this is too much now. The puzzles, I could not get my head around some of the
how many times I got to jump on this motherfucker's head before he gets the message? So...
Yeah, before he just realises I shouldn't go that way. Oh, sorry. So, Billy D. Williams back as Lando for the new Star Wars movie. He played Lando twice in the original trilogy. Williams has done voice work for the characters in Star Wars Rebels and in the Lego movie. Are we excited about a new Star Wars movie? After the backlash of the last couple, I'm thinking...
I know there's this whole thing of like, let's fucking retcon, Last Jedi and stuff. And it's like, look, I haven't even seen Solo yet.
Yeah. No, neither have I.
Because it just wasn't on my radar really watch. Do you know what I mean?
It's a solo movie. I mean, how many times do I have to say it? You're going to go down and sit there and watch that film, and he's going to get into these really desperate situations and get out, because if he doesn't, it's going to...
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for it. I'm cool with that. Look, I mean, what? He's the last remaining...
Yeah, I mean, I suppose,
actor from the original trilogy within reason.
I suppose, if they keep the Lando character going, he will probably die in this movie.
You've got to be thinking, he's like, I've seen the other movies. This has got to be my last shot.
Well, yeah, he'll probably jump in the way of Chewie and save Chewie's life.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he would just come out of nowhere. Billy D. Williams just jumping like,
Look, he's not even in the film except for that. Like, he's not introduced, and just randomly Lando dies on screen, and you've not seen him, and you're like, that's it.
Yeah, but how that one thing you're just like, we need a Lando movie now, where he just jumps all over the place shooting.
It's like that Simpsons episode where they were doing all the Stephen King like Treehouse of Horror, and Willie dies in every single bit, and he's like, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah. The new Star Wars Clone Wars series has come back.
Oh yeah, I saw. I mean, like, again, not seen it, but this was a big deal, right?
Yeah, a lot of people were massively excited about it.
Or...
Well, they had a Star Wars Clone Wars series, which came out after the original trilogy, to span the movies from Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith, and I started watching it, getting behind it, and loved the animation and the stories and the dramatic battles and all that kind of stuff. That was all cool, but I could not get over the fact that I already knew Anakin's story, and I knew what Anakin had done in Revenge of the Sith.
You have issues, don't you? When you know
I do
the outcome,
I do.
You find it hard to get invested, don't you? But I think a lot of that stems from
investment.
I don't think that
I just know what's going to happen.
No, but I think that when people people write these movies, I think that they struggle to realize we need to put some other story into this and other characters that you do get invested in their fate, because you already know the outcome of these guys.
Well, no, it's
but we also have to make the film about them.
I mean, for me personally, it's like going back to Lando, bringing these new series back. It's to keep the franchise alive. It's to sell the stuff to the new generation of kids that are coming out. All the blast. Same as we were when we were 5, 6, 7, 8. The only thing is, as an adult, I have to accept, as a 36, almost 40-year-old man, that I'm not going to possibly get behind a cartoon TV series. I might not get behind these characters because, well, I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the director and producer Dave Filoni surprised the audience at the 10th anniversary panel for the show with news of its comeback, and he said, "I'm happy for the opportunity to define these things and to end this part of the Clone War, which will be cool. Lots of battle sequences, lots of TIE fighters. Anakin will probably meet the Emperor at a couple of points, and maybe they'll battle."
That'd be cool.
Well, is the Emperor around? Yeah, he's around, but he's hidden at that point. He doesn't reveal himself to Revenge of the Sith. So, the Chucky film series looks like it's back to the start with a reboot. And Gary has written on the notes, fuck's sake. Interesting.
Wow, it's like he read my mind. Yeah.
Interesting killer dolls from the studio after the success of the Annabelle films, which is now getting a third movie. I haven't watched any of them.
Just don't care.
I know they're connected maybe to the Conjuring. And those people going around investigating. Oh man, I've literally just.
Do you know what? Any other day I could have given you their names off the top of my head because I've read so much about them.
Yeah.
And it's gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Those two. Yeah. While it sounds like Don Mancini isn't directly involved, and there's no word on whether Brad Dourif will voice the doll as he has in previous films. Without his voice, is he Chucky? Is it Chucky? Or is it just a killer doll movie?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's a reboot for a new generation, I guess. So. To them, yeah. To us, no.
We've fallen into that pit hole now. We've got to accept everything as.
Yeah, it's like when you have what's his name?
We're old.
Voicing the Joker. Oh, dude,
we're old.
We're totally old.
Yeah,
it's like Mark Hamill's voice is the Joker, and Kevin Conroy is Batman, but it's
bringing in new
way,
people. Yeah, I mean, Zach Galifianakis was him in the Batman movie.
Yes,
was the Joker.
Yeah.
I'm going to chuck this in now. I don't know if Gary's got it on the notes, but I'm going to chuck it in now while we've got a chance. Joaquin Phoenix playing in the new Joker original movie.
I'm down with that. Dude, I just watched You Were Never Really Here.
Yeah.
Which is a great fucking movie that's just come out where... I won't spoil anything at all, but the gist is Joaquin Phoenix is an ex...
He's old boy.
Well,
he's a badass sort special of. Forces fucking old boy.
He's ex-military, and he's a kind of, he lives at home with his mum, who, you know, he's sort of like, you know, he's a begrudging carer for her and stuff, but he's basically a hired gun. And this film, it's a tough watch for me, man, because it was like, it deals with a lot of child sex trafficking. People named it as Taxi Driver for a New Generation, and I normally hate those fucking things on films where it's like, like this and this. It's like, whatever then, but this is like Taxi Driver for a New Generation in a way.
Nice.
It's a powerful performance, I think.
Yeah, but him coming across as the Joker, I mean...
Dude, I think he's actually a really good actor. Yeah. I know he's done some weird shit, but who hasn't at this stage?
The weird thing is, I've gone to the point now where I'm accepting of anybody who can put the makeup on, and as long as the Joker is batshit crazy... See what I did there? Batshit crazy.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
You know, it will work, but who's he going to go up against?
Probably Batman. But... well, I don't know. I mean, like you said,
it's a Joker origin story.
I mean, there's the graphic novel. The author's name escapes me. Just called Joker, which is a great story. It's not an origin story by any stretch of imagination, but it's a story that just focuses around the Joker.
Yeah.
He gets out of Arkham, and it's about him taking back his territory as an organized crime boss. Because at the end of the day, he's an organized crime boss, and he comes back, and he's like, you know, everyone's moved in on his territory, and it's him taking it back in the only ruthless way that the Joker can.
Yeah.
Batman ain't in this fucking book because he don't need to be, really, you know?
And then he kind of, I think I've
so you can write stories
where he
like
does
that.
end up kind of fucking it up at the end anyway.
Of course he does.
And ends up in Arkham. Would it be cool? I've just had this brainwave, right? Would it be cool for Joaquin Phoenix to be playing the Joker, but throughout the story, he's got a hostage situation, and then he just kind of flashbacks to different situations from his...
Dude, I would love to see if it's him playing the Joker, I'd love to see them go make up crazy and have him play those different iterations of the Joker that we've seen over the years, where he's like literally that kind of like let him, you know, I wouldn't have a problem if they used just the origin from The Killing Joke, where he was like this struggling stand-up comedian who does the whole Red Hood job and falls into the fucking ace chemicals.
Yeah, it's very simple.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Have that in a black and white flashback, and then have him moving through his life and stuff, and have him changing his costume, and, you know, when he used Death of the Family or something where he's got this face fucking stapled to his mush and everything.
I swear there was a point where I was like the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, but I'm not entirely sure. That could have been, my memories.
That would be, do you know what? If they just referenced this kind of thing, I had this weird fucking gangster face, but let's not talk about it. It'd be like, yeah, boss, totally, we won't talk about that. Yeah.
You see him just stabbing Jared Leto.
You don't want beef? It's like, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah. I am down with the clown, man.
Yeah, down for the clown.
Let's fucking do this. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I've said this a million times. Like, you know, I keep getting let down by DC, and I still keep going back. I'm in the fucking bag for this shit. Man,
you have a membership.
I think we're gonna talk a little bit later about a certain trilogy that, you know, one of them's just turned 10, and we've watched again recently.
Just on 10th anniversary.
Exactly, but I'm down, mate. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's a great actor. So
nice.
Fuck yeah.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot in the works again, Gary? Was there another one?
Oh, it's constantly...
Looks like this is a reboot. Has Joss Whedon involved as a producer, not the showrunner or director or writer, but he'll be in the background probably having his little say. It's looking to be set modern day with a new Slayer watcher and a Scooby gang. Okay, so I'm imagining young teen going to school. First season's going to be dark. If it survives the first and second season, we'll be looking at a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If it doesn't survive the first season and especially the second season, I reckon it will be cancelled. I mean, you're going for the old school fans. Yes, you're bringing it for a new generation. I think we've already brought that up. Yeah. But at the same time, I've tried to sell Buffy the Vampire Slayer to younger people. You know, it's got a lot of life lessons in there.
Like from the back of a van or something.
Hey, you want to buy a DVD? Come here, child. Look, I've got the whole first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like, CDs? Fuck you, granddad. I fucking download my shit. I've already got it, you know. But...
it's all Netflix now, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, can you imagine trying to do something like the older episodes, you know, with the modern day technology? A vampire goes to attack somebody in a car and they just automatically lock their doors with their phone, connect themselves to the police. You know, they've got UV lights in the hood of the car because... Ooh.
It's going to be like, how did the vampire get you? From an Uber?
Maybe Sunnydale knows there's vampires and they're all vampire hunters and it's just like a big battle sequence. There's no school involved at all.
It worries me that it'll probably be more like Riverdale.
What's Riverdale?
That's fucking Archie comics travesty.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Was it travesty? I imagine.
Oh yeah, it ain't good.
Bad. No,
it ain't good.
How many seasons?
I don't know. At least one that I got partway through and binned off. Maybe
I
more.
thought it was like a Twin Peaks kind of thing, looking all mysterious. I mean, the problem is,
it just sucked.
You guys were shoving Stranger Things down my throat so much that I was just
really
like,
good.
I'm not watching any teen fucking drama set in some middle American town.
Stranger Things isn't a teen drama.
It's got kids in it driving around an American town.
All right. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen a new one yet.
Oh, okay, but I'm sure you've wikied it.
Wicked,
so,
I know what happened. Still, Josh Whedon is creating a new sci-fi show called The Nevers. Josh, I mean, how many shows can you get out of yourself? At HBO, possibly to help fill the tech void after Game of Thrones ends next year. Nevers is going to be a period piece and a sci-fi. HBO describes it as an epic science fiction drama about a gang of Victorian women who find themselves with unusual abilities, relentless enemies, and a mission that might change the world. Josh has also added, The Nevers is maybe the most ambitious narrative I've created. It's been too long since I created an entirely new fictional world.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, Serenity, set in the future with Victorian women.
Yeah.
I mean, how many Basque jokes can you get into where they're just tying them? They're like, oh, I can't breathe. Oh.
9.
Yeah, loads. And, well, I mean... Okay, I'm probably going to hit a few nails here, but Josh does pick some fine ladies for his shows.
It's true.
I
mean,
yeah,
it'll be hot.
You know, River.
Dude, I'm in the bag for it. It's
Summer Glow. Sorry, yeah.
Summer Glow. Sorry, yeah.
That sequence from Serenity where she's just
noise
swinging around with the axe. Like,
do you need a moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some tissue. Sorry, Buffy came out. I mean, fucking Tara and fucking Willow.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Anya. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm diverting off the track.
I'll make it easy. Like, everyone's fucking hot in that
Light
show.
Dusky.
Like, yeah, dude.
Hot, man. Yeah. Sorry. So
Me Too movement's gonna whip your ass.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is written and begins shooting in 2019, but not sure if it's post-Infinity War, which makes sense. But, and a big but, James Gunn was fired from Galaxy's Volume 3 for offensive tweets and social media posts from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, this literally just happened, didn't it? In the last day or so.
Yeah.
Like,
we heard about it like today, and it's on the notes already. And I was looking at the tweets. I was saying,
I read
immediately. I reacted. I'm like, "What the fuck? You fired James Gunn? It's completely stupid. Old tweets. Come on, you know who hasn't posted something and can be held accountable for?
Who hasn't posted a rape joke?
I haven't posted a rape joke. You sound like you've got experience there.
Yeah, but it was 10 years ago and I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't under contract by Disney then, so it was totally fine.
I read some of his posts though, and I mean, what was he thinking when he wrote those things?
He probably wasn't thinking anything because it was like 10 years ago. I mean, look, I'm not condoning them.
No, totally.
But, you know, comedians have said worse on stage to laughter because of the environment they're in.
Yes.
But he is under contract by Disney.
Yes.
There's no way that they weren't going to just distance themselves from him.
No, I mean, in all honesty, everybody...
And sorry, I don't actually know how it came out.
I think...
Like, I didn't know...
I think somebody just released it.
Right,
just like,
someone's like, hey, look at this from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, I knew James Gunn and we were hanging out in a bar one night and he started tweeting me these fucking naked pictures of pigs and shit. It's just like, oh, right, okay, James, can we see you in the office? And that was it, you know. Dave Bautista was there, Gamora, they were all dressed up.
Oh, okay.
It was part of a day. But are they going to drop his script? Are they going to uncredit him? I think they would drop the whole idea.
That name ain't going to be on that movie. So if it's his script,
unless
it's a new script.
No, unless they go with the old based on a screenplay by James Gunn.
His name ain't going to be on that movie.
Yes, it will, because on that, based on a screenplay by James. But based on a screenplay by him, they change a few things, and they basically give him the kudos that they used his idea, but they take away the kudos that he had any writing, proper writing, directing.
I don't see it. I don't see him doing it. I mean, unless it's long enough.
I mean,
unless they figure out that it's long enough.
He wrote the last two?
I don't actually know. I mean, I assume so, but unless it's by the time it's going to be out, they're going to be like, it's going to be long enough that we can get away with that. But if that movie was going to be made today, they'd be like, we can't use anything with his name on it. Write a new script.
I got it. Look at Josh Whedon in.
Well, of course they would. That's the answer to everything. Do you know what I saw the other day? It made me laugh. There was the poster from Aquaman got released. You know where it's him and he's on a rock and there's like sharks and all that shit.
Yeah, I saw the Megalodon one.
And then someone put a poster next to it where it was just all washed out. So you had James Wan version.
Yeah.
And then next to it was all washed out and dark, and it just said Snyder version.
Yeah.
And then next to it said Josh Whedon version, and behind him was all the cast of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, you had the shark just looking at him like, "Hi, I'm Bruce."
I'm Bruce.
Like,
hello.
I would watch that film.
I fucking love that movie. Yeah, the Meg one was good though, where he's riding the back of the Megalodon.
See,
But I honestly, dude, I think that this. I don't know whether more will come out of this, with James Gunn, but
well, it depends on how the
he's made his
reacts.
apologies, and
Disney have fired him. That's fine. They've covered their own backs. James Gunn has apologised. He's covered his back. If the fire dies down a bit and something else worse comes out, he could probably get in the back door and be fine. And like I said, they could easily...
You want to rephrase that?
They could easily just say, we are using his script, but we've tweaked a few things. We got Joss Whedon in. Everybody loves Joss Whedon. Can't get angry at us.
Everyone does love Joss Whedon.
Here's the film. And then, he'll be back for Avengers.
He just needs Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to endorse him, and then everything will be fine again.
Yes. Yeah, get Dwayne in. So... Creepshow is coming back with Greg Nicotero helming the first episode in a new anthology series for AMC. Oh, fucking AMC. They love that shit.
AMC knocked that fucking shit out the park, don't they?
To which Greg is still working on The Walking Dead at the moment. Greg Nicotero says, Creepshow is a project very close to my heart. It's one of those titles that embraces the true spirit of horror. Thrills and chills, celebrated in one of its truest art forms, the comic book come to life. I'm honoured to continue the tradition in spirit in which it was created. I absolutely loved Creepshow.
Yep.
The TV series...
I always remember Leslie Nielsen in that.
The films I absolutely love. Yeah. I love Creepshow 1 and 2. Not so much Creepshow 3 because it does drag out a bit.
Not seen Creepshow 3.
Yeah, the stories aren't so great. The second one's got the raft story, which is absolutely the best story of the whole series. But I tried to watch the TV series and, I tried to get behind Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, and because that's coming back, right? That's the one with the Crypt Keeper, right?
Yeah, no, that's Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Tales from the Dark Side was just George A. Romero's ideas.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. But Tales from the Crypt Keeper then is coming back because I've seen like a teaser trailer.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe this is in response to maybe this is a medium that's coming back.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's a new season of
we'll get a few of these.
I mean, after the success of American Horror Story.
Winding down.
Yeah, Walking Dead's winding down. Game of Thrones winding down. American Horror Story is still going strong, but they... I think are losing ideas because they have a whole season based on one idea. And once that idea is done, they can't, I feel like they can't go back to it because, it's treading familiar ground that people are just like, oh, this is boring now. We need something new. I would easily get behind a new Creepshow, be it TV series or film, as long as I'd like the practical effects. The old practical effects.
But we always say that, don't we? Because we grew up on practical effects. So.
Yeah, but I mean, the practical effects Greg Nicotero delivers in Walking Dead.
I don't mind. Exactly. I don't mind a mix. Walking Dead, I think, a perfect line.
Yeah.
Between practical and special effects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
Maybe they steal some ideas from like Black Mirror and shit. Because that's been still going strong at the moment. I think season 4 or 5.
Yeah. Well, see, there was a big gap between season 2 and 3 when Netflix picked it up. And
yeah.
Dude, I'm down for Creepshow. Man, I love that shit. I love anthology horror.
Yeah,
love it. Even because it's like that it's even if it's like one good one for every 3, it's like but the good ones are normally really really good.
Yeah.
That's why you can still go back to those classics with Twilight Zone and stuff like that. Where you can
the Prairie Road anthology that we reviewed? Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, dude.
Where the woman sucks the guy up her vagina.
Oh mate, it's like you can.
What the
that's
fuck?
what I mean. Yeah, but that's what I mean is like I probably couldn't tell you any other bits from that, but it's like you just pull these. Certain
the
stories from
sucking
it.
Vagina was the most.
Yeah, that stuck with you, didn't it? Yeah.
RoboCop Returns is the title for the latest RoboCop movie set within the Paul Verhoeven universe and ignoring the reboot remake. Also, Neil Blomkamp is directing.
This is the only good thing about this.
Well, I mean, they needed to give him something.
Because he didn't get fucking Alien.
No, he's done so well with all of his Oat Studio stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, totally.
That stuff was doing so well that I was waiting for somebody to just hand him a project and say, look, I mean, for me, Neil Blomkamp is like the new Peter Jackson. He's got this great idea. He loves the special effects behind it. Works really well on a minuscule budget.
Much better, I would say.
I mean, how many times can you use Johannesburg?
Like all the time.
All the time. Set in the future of Johannesburg.
Motherfucker, you want to find somewhere on site that looks like a post-apocalyptic Detroit? Johannesburg.
We live in Plymouth, mate. We've got a lot of places around here.
We could do it here.
We could do it here, totally.
They already did that RoboCop remake, though. I don't know if we could do it as good as that.
I'm going to get to that in a minute, but The original definitely had a massive effect on me as a kid, Blomkamp says, and I loved it then and remains a classic in the end of the 20th century sci-fi catalogue with the real meaning under the surface, the whole corporation, America, the world, corruption.
Timely. But more just as timely now. It's kind of like they live in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's still politically accurate.
Yeah, they'll be able to bring in, they'll be able to bring more corporative jokes forward because we'll be like, that was on the news last week. Can't believe Robocop's actually used it for the film. But at first, the consumerism and materialism and Reaganomics. Jesus fucking hell, Gary. Reaganomics. That 80s theme of America on steroids came through most strongly. But as I've gotten older, the part that really resonated with me is identity and the time period. It's not locked into a specific place in history. I think this is Neil Blomkamp still.
Yeah, these aren't. This isn't Gary saying this. You're like, fuck's sake, Gary's like, this is a quote. Dude. You just wrote out what the dude said.
He's in work at the moment behind the till, like dealing with somebody like possessing me. What's so cool about Robocop is it's like a good western, sci-fi films and dramas. The human connection is really important to a story well told. What draws me now is someone searching for their lost identity, taken away at the hands of people who are benefiting from it, and seeing his memory jogged by events. That is most captivating. The other thing I'm excited by is the chance to work with Justin Rhodes. He has added elements that are quite awesome to a sequel that was set in the world of Verhoeven. This is a movie I would love to watch.
Well, I've not even seen the remake.
Have you not?
No.
I watched it.
Saw the trailer, tapped out.
I bought it on DVD when it was a $5. And, it was like 5 years after it came out, and I was just like, I'm fucking buying it. I've got to. I'm a movie fanatic. I got it home. It was a 12. I sat down. I watched it with Dylan. And the funny thing is, there are scenes in it that I wasn't happy with Dylan seeing. Yeah, there's a bit at the beginning.
Does that happen?
Not
because that scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
There's a part at the beginning where OCP are basically got their army forces all over the world
because they run the cops.
They run the military. They're invading Afghanistan or some Middle Eastern country, and
they're like fucking Foxhound at this point.
Yeah, they've got Ed 209s over there, so it's a bit like they've got their own little Metal Gears.
Yeah, all right.
Little Metal Gears walking around. And this kid,
you're actually making me want to watch this now.
this kid sees his dad get taken out or something and runs outside, and the Ed 209 malfunctions
as it does
and blasts the kid.
Yep.
You don't see it. It cuts away. It's 12. So, or you've got a live...
But a child was just shot.
Yeah, a reporter is reporting this, and it's like, oh my god! So OCP now have to do something big, and they want to make the new RoboCop, so they get this cop who's just...
Brilliant, easy slogan. RoboCop won't shoot kids.
Yeah, won't shoot kids.
The last line in defense of law enforcement, brackets, won't shoot kids.
It's literally a remake of the original, but brought to modern day for 12-year-olds. And after I finished watching it, I was like everyone else. I was like, "Fuck that film! Fuck it! I'm gonna go watch RoboCop." So I did, and I watched RoboCop 2. And RoboCop 2 is still my fucking favorite. And then I thought, "Fuck it! I'm gonna watch RoboCop 3 for a laugh." And then I was like, "God damn it! Why did I watch that?
I ruin it.
I should have just. I just did
a Godfather.
Yeah. If you're gonna watch
RoboCop 2, when they pull the drugs out and the fucking robot arm comes out, it's like tim, go trying to get it. Even when I was a kid, and I probably didn't understand all the themes, I laughed my ass off seeing that.
Kane is the most badass fucking robot. He was the badass in the game as well. I don't think you could ever beat him. But the remake was better than RoboCop 3. And so I could happily watch it again just because it's faster as well. I mean, Peter Weller, love him in the suit. Watching him walk around and realize and know the background that while he was on set, it was the most painful experience in his whole entire life.
Greatest sidearm gun of all time.
Yes. He's got 2 in the remake.
Oh, that's just greedy. How can you hear anything that's happening over 2 of those?
He's all over the place because literally, it's in the remake. It's literally his lungs, his head, his spine, and his brain are the only parts that are left. Everything else is robotic. So he's able to just leap from.
How did he have a chin left to put in the suit?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they do actually bring up that they should just shoot him in the face in the film. But anyway, bringing in a new RoboCop. I need a new RoboCop. I'd like a new Kane. I'd like a new badass kind of sentient robot for him to go up against. If anybody remembers the fucking TV series...
I'm telling you now, dude, of like, if they bring in RoboCop and Kane, sort of like, in the start of like, they start off with like, so we got RoboCop and then we weren't happy with that. So we made, what was fucking Kane's designation? I can't remember what he was. He was like N209, RoboCop, whatever fucking Kane was or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
I just called
him RoboCop 2.
Yeah, RoboCop 2. That's what they called him.
I think that's what they called him, right? Yeah. I tell you now, like it'll start with those two, but by the end, they're fucking friends and they're fighting against the new Uber robot, probably from Japan.
Yes.
Or South Korea.
Yes. Or he ends up
because the bad guy has always got to become the good guy. That's why the T-Rex is now a hero.
No, he ends up taking out Kane, but Kane is part of the computer mainframe, so builds himself a new upgraded body, and RoboCop has to use the Ed 209s against it, and he gets emotional when the Ed 209s are like dying.
So Kane becomes like the big face in Tron.
Yes.
Our Desire Macaroni Pictures.
Yes, and it's Delta City. They've actually built Delta City, and the whole city turns against them. And right at the end, they realise that it's connected to the Terminator.
Plus light cycles.
Oh, yes. Yes, light cycles.
Neil, if you're listening, we are available to write stupid scripts.
Yeah, we are
written
open 24/7
remake. We just do this in our sleep.
We just do it in our sleep. So we're going on to the trailers now.
Before we do, actually, because we skipped the first what we normally do, what have you been doing, man? What have you been up to?
Man, what have I always been fucking doing? Trying to take over the world.
Obviously.
But working, editing. I mean, I have been watching all of the old Raw's Wars on the network.
Oh yeah, we talked about this the other day. That's awesome. Because you said something about, dude, I was watching Raw the other day and Ahmed Johnson. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what? He's like, oh, I mean from like 10 years ago. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I need something on in the background while I edit.
Of course. And something that you don't need to concentrate on.
Yeah, something that I can just hear. Like, I can't listen to music because it really distracts me. I've got to hear the film coming through the editing software.
Do you get Vince McMahon commentary still on the ones you're watching? Is it?
Yes. He hasn't left.
Listen to this, pal.
The episode I'm on at the moment, but will probably be gone by the time this podcast goes out. Bret Hart is about to face the Undertaker at SummerSlam, heart and soul.
Oh.
So you've got Austin about to be taken out by the neck break by Owen Hart.
Yeah.
You've about to got Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
Michaels takes out fucking the Undertaker, and that starts that feud.
Leads up to a pretty controversial Survivor Series.
That's going to be the same year. Mankind is going for his Dude Love persona, trying to get the tag titles with Austin. And yeah, I've been.
When wrestling was so good.
I started watching it. I got a couple of points actually I want to bring up. I started watching it to keep it on in the background, and then I realised that fuck it, I'm not watching anything else. This was like the greatest time of wrestling, for anybody as a fan. I'm tempted to go and watch WCW at the same time, but I just know it's going to be shit. And the weird thing is, I watched Extreme Rules as well.
What, the new one?
The recent Extreme Rules 2018.
Some of the worst booking I've ever seen.
Those matches were terrible. I'm not even going to go into some of them. I mean, the whole taking out Kane was just pointless. That
was a legit injury.
Yeah, but it kind of made me feel like I was in 97 again because, he's been injured backstage and now he's trying to come out and fight. Yeah. But I noticed with the crowd at Extreme Rules, I was sat there and it's on the commentators.
Motherfuckers, they ruined that main event, didn't they?
They are dead there.
No, but until the main event when they decide to fucking hijack it and ruin it.
Oh yeah, totally. But they are dead. But the thing is, go back and watch some of the old Raws, and the commentators are almost being fucking assaulted by some of the fans. They're fans there with fucking loads of signs.
I mean,
it's absolutely crazy.
But they were excited.
But I was sat there and I was just watching the two of them, and I'm just like, I'm not liking any of these matches. All the booking is really, really bad. But I still got through them all, and I still enjoyed the show itself. And I was just like. So the problem I think now with wrestling is that it has entered this PG. It's been in the PG era for quite a while, and it's better for the newer generation who are supposed to get behind the Roman Reigns and the Bobby Lashleys. I mean, Jesus Christ, where the fuck is Brock Lesnar? I mean, honestly,
fuck him. Fuck Brock
Lesnar. Fuck Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles is the most fucking phenomenal title holder ever. The Intercontinental title is so much more prestigious than anything else. The tag title,
and that speaks volumes to people like Seth Rollins,
Dolph Ziggler, McIntyre. Yeah.
Seth Rollins came out and said, like, this is the top title on Raw because our Universal Champion ain't fucking here.
Yeah, but The Miz made that fucking title. The Miz is
so... Can you ever think we'd have a conversation, like a few years ago I told you we were having a conversation, like, remember we watched WrestleMania, I think it was 23 when he was in the main event, and we were like, the fuck?
The fucking Miz
but
is
I
in the
told
main
you,
event.
10 years or whatever later, we'd be going, dude, The Miz is amazing.
Yes.
Because he is.
He is. His whole heart is in wrestling, and it takes me to people like John Cena. His heart's in wrestling as well.
Oh yeah,
Seth Rollins.
No problem there.
Roman Reigns' heart is there as well, but the problem is our wrestling fans are fickle.
His booking is
we are fickle.
His booking is the worst I've ever seen for a top guy.
He needs to just go bad.
Yeah.
He just needs to just start going bad and go... And doing Austin, he just needs to go, you know what? Fuck y'all.
But properly bad. Not with this kind of... Because he has been kind of a little bitch backstage.
He can't go fuck y'all. Like I said, I'm watching...
No. He needs to go fully heel. Not Austin heel, where it's like, it's cool to be mean to people, because it's like, he just needs to be a heel.
He needs to be a heel, and he needs to just do his own thing. Same as Austin was doing it back in '97. And one of the most hated things I'm hating at the moment, fucking Bret Hart interviews, mate.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I've only got one thing to say, and I'm there 15 minutes
even that.
later. I'm like, fuck me. He had one thing to say, and he's gone on about 7 different things. He has insulted America so many times that the crowd are just wanting anybody else. Owen comes out, they're cheering. The Bulldog comes out, they're booing, then they're cheering. Jim the fucking Anvil Neidhart comes out, and fucking Brian Pillman comes out, and they're cheering. And I'm just like, you can see how this turned. What they wanted Bret to do was have an attitude and run with that attitude, be a bad guy. But because people were hating him, he took it personally.
Well, because he was playing this whole, like, I'm a good guy in Canada, I'm a bad guy in the States thing, wasn't he?
Yes.
But again, he was like, he was just too much of a little bitch about it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love him as a wrestler, but as a character, at that time, when you had, like, Austin being the, the anti-hero, which at that point was unprecedented in wrestling.
Yes.
So it was awesome. And Austin, I'm not taking away from Austin either. It worked because he was so fucking good at that. It was perfect for him. He was the right guy. But yeah, kudos at the time for the writers to go, man, Americans are really sick and tired of listening to this Canadian bitch. But these Canadians love him because he's a Canadian. So let's just run this.
But it's like Bret is there, and he's like I said, his promos. He's got this twitch, and he pushes his hair back, and I'm just like, it's kind of like watching Roman Reigns do a promo. I'm just like, you have not got their attention.
No.
That you cannot just stand there saying nothing.
That's what we've said is the problem with Roman isn't a good reaction or a bad reaction, because Cena went through that.
Oh yeah, and Cena
there was a reaction. With Roman Reigns, most of the time, it's just indifference.
Yeah.
It's just, we don't give a fuck.
That's
the problem.
And he just stands there. He just stands there like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm just like...
And if I have to do Michael Cole one more time, shout, it's the big guy! Michael, if I was in the back of that thing, But what else have you watched then other than...
Well, nothing. That's basically it. I've been... lots and lots of wrestling. I tried to get back into... Hawaii 5-0. And I can't do it. I know Gary's not here. He would be crying. He would be crying right now. He'd be emotional. I can't get myself back into Hawaii 5-0 because I'm still bitter slightly about the fact that 2 of their main leads, who had been with the show for fucking 7 seasons, were just let go because of pay issues.
Yeah.
And they decide. I watched the first episode of the new season, and they just replaced them with 2 exactly the same stereotypical male and female character to replace them with some fucking backstory, and.
So they're not playing the same characters.
They're not playing the same characters, but they are now cops. They are now working for Hawaii 5-0, and you got Dano and Steve-O like, yeah, we'll take these guys under our wing. Yeah, if we keep it going for another 11 seasons, we can fucking retire into our new restaurant. We've got a restaurant, and I'm like, you're going to be shot at in about 5 minutes. This place is going to get ripped up the fuck, and your insurance is going to go through the wall. That's what I'm wanting. But the fact that you could break from Dano and Steve. You could break from their storylines with the stories of Kim and Gracie Clark's character, Gracie Boomer from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
You could break to their characters because their character stories had been going on since season 1.
Yeah.
And so you're following their story arcs. Then for their story arcs to just immediately change, they've gone straight to the mainland, and now we've got these 2 brand new characters here who have got their own story arcs, and I'm like, fuck them. I don't care. What about Kim? What's he doing? Oh, don't worry. Kim's living in San Francisco with Julie Benz. Remember Julie Benz turned up for like 4 episodes, and they had this whole relationship there because we just kind of had to feel. So
fair play.
What have you been up to?
I've been digging season 3 of Preacher.
Yes. Is it still gory and violent like it started off as?
So good, dude. It's so fucking good.
Man. You don't.
For anyone who's read the comics, if you've not seen the seasons, right now, if this means anything to you, they're in Angelville.
Right. Okay.
And next week's episode is simply titled "The Coffin," and that's all I need to say. If you're a fan of it, it is. It's wonderful.
I'm not.
It's wonderful.
I haven't watched Preacher, but the fact that I saw Joseph Gilgun was in it from season 1, I was just like, sold. That guy is fucking amazing,
dude. One of my favorite is Graham McTavish, who plays Saint of Killers.
Graham McTavish, where do I know that name from?
Well, I mean, he's been... Okay, so the latest Rambo... He was the really gruff older SAS guy, and he was also in Creed as the promoter for Pretty Ricky.
Oh,
but I'll tell you where most people maybe don't even know they recognize him from is season 8 of Red Dwarf, where he played Mr. Ackerman, the fucking camp warden of the tank.
Okay,
that dude.
That's
is
good
the
memory.
Saint of
Got
Killers.
good memory there,
dude. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, I don't fucking believe it. But yeah, that's been wonderful. I took Jessica to go and see The Incredibles 2.
Oh yes, we were all
going to go together, and then
I was busy. Yeah.
So I took Jessica anyway because, well, I mean, I took Jessica. I wanted to fucking see it.
Yeah, you haven't said anything. What's the rating, Andy?
It's just fucking great. You see the smile on my face. Yeah. Look, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's basically the first movie with the gender role switched, but that's fine. It's great. And to be fair, there's a point, again, with no spoilers, there's a point in the movie where I'm kind of like, I think I see where this is going to go. Yeah. But it doesn't go that way. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They got me. Oh. But there's this point this is just my experience, okay? So there's a point in the movie where obviously Mr. Incredible is staying at home and being the husband, and he's looking after Jack, okay? Yeah. Now, we all know after the first one is that they don't know Jack's got any powers. We get a glimpse of them when Syndrome... I nearly said Sinestro then. When Syndrome has got him up and he goes into like a fiery pumpkin and a devil baby and then a fucking... he gets all the Mario boxes at once. Yeah. And so in this, there's a point where Jack, he's looking out the window and there's a fucking raccoon, okay? And he locks eyes with this raccoon and I'm like, oh, something amazing is about to go down. And then my wonderful daughter turns to me and goes, I really need to pee. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I really need to go to the toilet. And I'm like, well, okay, well, do you want to just go? Because it's just outside. And I'm thinking, she's old enough, she can do this on her own. And she's like, no, I want you to come with me. But I'm like, darling, Jack's about to start some shit. Yeah. I really need to go, Dad. Okay, fine, I'll be your dad first. Take her out, go to the toilet, come back in. We're maybe 2 minutes, if that. I come in. Whatever's happened with the raccoon is over. Oh, God. The children are laughing. The adults are crying tears of laughter, and I just sat down like, we just missed the best part of the fucking movie. And I went on this fucking boat cruise that evening with Donna and the girls, and Adrian was there. Everyone's
Adrian from Star Wars,
Adrian from Star Wars, you love that. And we were talking, and he'd seen it. He's like, "What did you think?" And I was like, "You need to tell me what happens in this 2-minute gap." And he was explaining. I was like, "Fuck, that does sound like a bad." Okay, so now you got to explain to me and the audience now as a spoiler, because it's basically fucking. I mean,
does he hypnotise the raccoon? Does he become the raccoon?
He has a fight. It's a baby fighting a raccoon, dude.
Awesome!
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
But it's an awesome flick. I highly recommend it.
The new game's coming out soon. Lego Incredibles.
Oh, cool.
I know for a fact that my wife will be buying it. She has done every single Lego game movie based one adaptation. Even the Lego games that she doesn't really want to play, Dylan does some of the story and she just gets the addiction to collect all the gold bricks. Yeah, right. So it's like 450 gold bricks to collect and she's like, I'm getting my iPad out, I'm going to sit here, don't talk to me, I'm doing this.
Don't fucking talk to me.
Okay, and just like The Incredibles, it's like a role reversal after the do the wash thing. Tied in for Dylan to bed. Ties in well. But I saw The Incredibles come out and I was like, honey, you're going to get that? And she was just like, oh, maybe. And I'm just like, we're on summer holiday, that's going to be her thing. So
speaking of games, we played a game of 40k a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
We did. And
that was good fun.
I don't know if I should continue playing it until my Space Wolf Codex drops.
Why?
I don't know if we should save this for the next part, mainly, but...
sorry, okay, you want to talk about 40k in the next part? Because we're kind of winging this anyway.
I mean, we're winging this. We still got the trailers to do.
Let's do the trailers and then we'll talk about the next part.
Yeah, I'll save my 40k stuff. We're going to talk about Space Wolves in the next part. So let's get
I'm just going to go.
Let's get on to the trailer. So the new trailer for Stephen King's Castle Rock has dropped.
Dude, that was a fucking good trailer.
How many Stephen King references can you get into one trailer?
All of them, apparently.
That was
all of them.
Awesome. And
when you see, as soon as Bill Skarsgård comes up, I'm like, oh, Pennywise! It's like, well, that's not the reference, but still.
The weird thing is, I sat down, I watched the trailer with Gary, and I didn't even get that. And then you sat down with, and I watched it with you.
Oh, you didn't know that was Pennywise?
I totally forgot him. I totally forget he's an actor. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's got Bill Skarsgård in it. I was like,
he is such an interesting looking guy.
Yeah, I know.
He has such an interesting face. Like,
he's just got his face. But I mean, he's in a hole in what appears to be Shawshank. He's interviewing some black guy. I'm assuming it might be Michael from maybe the It storyline. I think I saw references to Dolores.
Do you know what
Claiborne
it did say on the reference about who it was coming back to? It wasn't him. No, it wasn't Mike. It did have a a note on the trailer of who it was saying he returns after getting a call from Shawshank. Gary will tell you straight away. Probably.
See, I had the feeling that Bill Skarsgård, because when they were questioning who he is, and you said, "Oh shit, it's Pennywise," and I was just like, "Oh fuck, that opens a whole new idea that he could be the human side of the clown," you know, and this is him before.
It'd be great if he played Pennywise.
Became a demon. But in my mind as well, I was just like, what if he's playing Stephen King?
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
You know, he is locked himself in, and the whole of Castle Rock is actually going to come to an end because Stephen King's end, and this is his end.
Like a kind of, well, almost like what's it called? We just talked about it, John Carpenter in The Mouth of Madness.
Yes,
like that kind of thing, where it's the author locking himself away in his own.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you know, maybe Joss Whedon helps out on this, like he helps on everything, and it's Buffy in the asylum all over again.
You had to chuck Joss Whedon in there.
Yeah.
The Overlord trailer from J.J. Abrams, World War II Zombies.
And it's not Cloverfield.
We thought it was. It was from the same studio.
I assumed it was Cloverfield. I was like, oh, what happens this week in Cloverfield?
See, now, World War II Zombies. I've seen a lot of World War II zombie movies, and as good as a lot of them are, I think I'm burnt out by them.
Well, it's funny because we watched this trailer, didn't we? And you said the same thing, and I said, "Dude, this looks like a movie version of like Wolfenstein." And you were like, "So World War II zombies?" And I'm like, I'm like, "Yeah, that's a fair point, actually." Like, you know, what else can you do with it? But it just look fucking good. It does
look fucking good. I mean, I'm hoping the gory part in the trailer, for those who have seen it, isn't the only part. You know, because
I mean, it looks pretty visceral.
The film
trailers show something that aren't necessarily the themes of the entire
or might not
movie.
Even be in there.
Very true. Yeah.
You know, it just had to. But World War II zombies, you know, lots of blood and guts. Probably M4s. Yeah, we'll probably.
I like J.J. Abrams as well, man. I know a lot of people fucking shit all over him, but I'll
it is out November 9th. And do you know what else is November 9th?
I've never been told anything about that date ever.
No, it's my birthday, man.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, it's my birthday, November 9th.
I didn't get my 6 monthly reminder email from you.
Yeah, I need to update my Amazon list. Yeah.
You have to get me the green Mega Man to make the Ultra Mega Man.
And then I can build it all.
This motherfucker.
Star Trek Discovery Season 2. Yes, Season 2. Wow.
I'm not a Trekkie. I didn't watch all of Discovery, but that trailer made me want to go back and watch it because that looked like a better film than we've had out of the last 3.
I really love the last 3 Star Trek movies. I'm a Star Trek fucking porn addict. And Discovery I haven't watched because
I'm letting that go. Go on.
I haven't watched Discovery because I was waiting for it to go past season 1.
Yeah,
you know, I've always said that.
There were a lot of questions whether it was going to even get picked up. I think at one point, wasn't there? So yeah, I could see people not wanting to get invested if it was going to die
and
off.
I've got to chuck it out to all the proper Trekkies who are probably sat there, you know, giving me the Vulcan neck pinch right now. Like, fuck you, Ian, you almost fucking killed the show. Thank you for everybody.
Yeah, it only works over radio waves if you like Star Wars, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm not obviously going to send thanks to anybody who you know, got it off the internet. I'm not going to say how, but I'm glad it's gone to season 2. It looks just like the most recent films, which got me very excited.
God, the set pieces looked incredible in that trailer.
Yes, the effects looked amazing. The aliens looked fucking glorious. I
wanted to watch that right then and there when I saw the trailer, dude.
The lead actor, when he turned up, I might have missed his name. Kirk? It fucking looks like Kirk. Well, he looks like Pike. He looks like fucking Jonathan Frakes' granddad. You know?
Well, it's Pike, isn't it? Because I think Gary talked in the season finale. It's the Enterprise that turns up, right?
Is it the Enterprise? I haven't seen season 1.
No, I don't know.
I haven't seen season 1, but taking command.
Totally off the mark.
Taking command of the ship, you know, maybe transferring them to the Enterprise and going out there, expanding the universe. They brought in Spock. I was like, ooh, okay.
Mention of Spock. Yeah, what did she say? Like, my foster brother. And I was like, what?
How? So she's...
Do you wonder then, right? Because this is obviously a thingy from Walking Dead, isn't it? Who's that character?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, okay, so I mean, she's black, is what I'm basically saying. So,
okay, yeah.
Would it be interesting, so, like, if they cast a black actor as Spock? Because maybe she's fostered by a black family and they also have a black child. Maybe.
Well.
Why not? I know he's Vulcan, obviously.
Spock's mother was human, but I was thinking more along the lines of them bringing in Spock from the movies.
What, Quinto?
I
want it to be Hispanic now.
The TV series.
I want it to be Michael Pena.
But they tell the story of maybe they found her on a crashed planet, or maybe she was the last survivor on a ship. I don't know if she's got a backstory because I haven't seen season 1. And they have just raised her. She has no bloodline connection to the Spock family. Is his last name Spock? No, his first name Spock, isn't it? Sarek is his dad.
Is it like Madonna?
Yeah, Spock. We're dwelling too much on this, but
do you know? I just thought of something I meant to say the other day as well, because I just said I wanted it to be Michael Pena, right? You know Michael Pena from like Ant-Man, and Hispanic friend. He always does those amazing scenes. So I've not seen Ant-Man and
my sister's brother who works over.
So anyway, Louise, he was saying this guy, but it's like, so you see the characters talking, but it's Michael Pena's voice. How amazing would it be if in Avengers 4 it starts off with that character? He's like, okay, so what happened was, and it goes to Thanos, and it's like he just tells you a recap of the last movie, and Thanos is like, yo man, I'm like totally gonna get this gauntlet full of these spirit stones.
Man, that would be amazing.
I would throw money in the air.
High five for that. Yes, that is. Josh or James, if you're listening,
I don't give a fuck. Anyone who's listening.
The start of Avengers 4 with Michael Pena doing the introduction.
All the money, man.
He's just going to recap like the whole series up to that point.
You don't even need to release an Avengers 4. You could release a movie that just recaps the first one, and it's just that. And I'd have been like, I'm totally fine with this. I'll wait another 2 years for next one. Oh, that would be amazing.
Walking Dead season 9 trailer. Yes,
or first episode. I don't know. It's fucking 20 minutes long. Yeah,
that was the opening for one of the. That was the opening for episode 1.
I feel like we've seen a lot,
but it was only the opening of episode 1 for that half of that season.
Yeah,
because there was the split in two. I've heard a lot of people aren't happy. But then, to tell you the truth, I've heard people not being happy about The Walking Dead
for a long time
since season 2.
Yeah, so
and I'm like, you know what? I gave up on them. I'm like,
oh yeah, by this point, just don't watch it. It's like obviously it's got its fan base. People have dropped off. That you can't argue with that.
And they come back.
Dropped off, but and some do come back. I'm sure, but it may not have been as popular as it once was, but it's still hugely popular.
Man, I was there when Shane bought it. I was there when Laurie bought it. I was there when fucking Herschel bought it.
All these stories.
Glenn bought it. Fucking Abraham.
I nearly shed a tear when you said about Herschel again. That nearly got me immediately.
Man, there have been so many characters over the course of The Walking Dead that when that finally drops as a box set, I'm going to buy it and never watch it.
Okay. You're going to put it in a vault, so if the world ends, we'll have entertainment. Right. Like Prince used to.
Get this, right? When The Walking Dead first came out, right, when they dropped the first trailer, do you remember the first trailer for The Walking Dead?
I remember it was a lot of Rick on the horse wearing the hat, and that was all we needed.
Yeah. Do you remember the song that was playing with it?
If it was Country Roads, I know it Gary from
No, it was Country Roads. It was The sun ain't gonna shine anymore.
That's it, yeah.
That song. So beautiful for that one episode. It stuck with me, and I've never been able to go back to the start, because every episode, every season, even though it's all mixed match and there's all just different loads of images, it's all stuck there. And I'm like, I can't watch season 1 because the whole Laurie Shane thing. I can't watch the prison because of the whole fucking what happens to Laurie in there. You know, the whole governor fucking... It's nightmarish, but season 9, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to stick it in my collection.
As a fan of the comics as well, is seeing
spoilers,
seeing Negan being held prisoner by Rick in the basement, exactly as he is in the
Did you say Negan?
Negan, yeah.
Negan.
I don't give a fuck. I read it how I want in the thing.
Is it an E or an A?
Alright, well, we'll get into this when we start talking about Batman, but I'm just going to say it's Ra's al Ghul all the way through, because that's his fucking name, not Raz. Alright? So, deal with it. So, Negan, right?
Okay. Sorry, KO punch. Yeah. Negan.
So, Negan, being held prisoner, like, as they rebuild a society that involves justice and everything was phenomenal.
The people who were calling for him to die, I'm just like, do you read the comic books? I know they can
it's not even that.
They can kill any character off, but...
It's about the salvation
Jeffrey
of
D.
society,
Morgan,
isn't it?
His scenes are some of the most amazing fucking scenes of the last...
Rick!
I could just watch... If I did go back and watch The Walking Dead, I would just watch the fucking Savior shit. And just...
It'd still take just as long because of how long it takes him to get a monologue out and the way he talks. Yeah. Like, we're gonna go and do this. Come on, man. Skip to the fucking end.
As well. You got to tilt your head back. Rick! Oh, what are you doing? Like, you're going to fall backwards, but you don't.
That's why he leans on Lucio every time he does it. It's like a Shremek out of Robot Wars.
That's how you always do it. And they've just dropped the Glass trailer.
This exploded the internet.
We are late to the party now because by the time this podcast come out. But I mean, I loved. I say I love M. Night Shyamalan movies. I love the twists. I love how his movies can twist.
Like a lot of people, I am hit and miss with him. I don't
be.
personally think he's a very good writer or director.
No.
However, I think he has done a couple of good movies. Unbreakable being one of them, especially.
Unbreakable
probably
is
his best
amazing.
one in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really good.
I watched Split.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Okay. All right.
Bruce Willis rocked up and I lost my shit.
Nice.
Because all the way through I was like, this would be so cool if Bruce Willis saves them. And you don't get that, but you do get the end scene.
James McAvoy is fucking... I haven't seen it, but he's fucking fantastic.
Great performance. Yeah. I enjoyed his performance. Overall, I was like, this is okay. I didn't personally think the payoff was quite as good as it could have been. I think I'd have liked him to have gone a tiny bit more fantastical with it, but whatever, that's his decision.
I think what saved the movie,
I
think what saved the movie as well was Samuel Jackson's performance. He was fucking amazing as Mr. Glass.
In Unbreakable.
Was
stellar.
Yeah.
Absolutely stellar.
And it's the fact that as well, like you say he's hit and miss with you. That's good. Because, you know, if I brought up like the director for Jeepers Creepers, that's a definite miss for you. You know, there are certain films you just won't touch. At least with M. Night Shyamalan's movies, you'll watch one, maybe two. I mean, Sixth Sense for me is it's predictable, but Bruce Willis is absolutely glorious in it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
Devil. But
that is not a good movie.
A
lot of people like that.
They're all stuck in an elevator. I mean,
it's fucking boring.
But Linda watched the trailer as well. And halfway through the trailer, she's like, so who's he? And I was like, oh, that's James McAvoy from Split. She's like, Split? I was like, yeah, it came out last year. So last movie. She's like, why don't we own this? I was like, we don't buy films. She's like, I buy films all the time. I'm just like, oh okay, right. So, you know, she'd recently just gone and bought Sixth Sense, Signs.
Signs is a kick in the deck.
Fucking Unbreakable. And I was just like, okay, right, we'll go get Split. Grab Split. Grab The Visit as well. That's another glorious film. Almost.
Oh, I like The Visit.
Yeah. Grab The Village as well.
Didn't like that.
Good to look at. It's a good film. Have you seen The Witch yet?
Oh, The Witch.
The Witch?
Yeah.
Did you watch The Witch?
No, I've not seen that. Is that Shyamalan, is it?
No, that's not Shyamalan. But the core, I suppose. You know, the whole... Old English kind of new English
Crucible
kind of
style.
Yeah. It really works. The Witch reminded me of The Village and made me want to go back to it. And yes, the twist is. I predicted the twist before I even saw the film.
Yeah, I had a big problem with very early on. I got that one.
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix again.
Yeah, man, he's a good actor. He's in Signs as well, isn't he? Obviously.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. But Glass, definitely, we're gonna have to go see.
I will still watch it. To be fair, I tell you what, it made its money the minute you saw all three of them on screen.
Oh yes.
The minute you saw all three of them on screen, I was like, money, excellent job. Because I saw that as a poster, but it looked. They're in that position. It's that scene, but it was separated. You know, and you're like, oh, when will they fucking... The fact that they're all together, and obviously you're going to get this story. Obviously, Glass was taken into custody after he left in the first one. Split was taken into custody, and then you've got... even though I think at the end of it he does say like, "Are we still at large?" Doesn't he? I can't remember. But anyway, he's in custody. But then obviously you've got to imagine
he's still at large.
I will imagine then you take the scene from the diner scene in Split where he's like, "Oh, he's still at large," and he's like, "Better go get this fucker," and then they're both taken into custody.
And I think in the trailer he knocks into him, doesn't he?
Yes,
and
he does, and that's how he sees the girls chained up, doesn't he? And then you do see him run into that room when he's in one of his other personas as the kid. So I'm assuming that'll be like early in the morning.
That'll be when he takes him out
in the morning, early in the movie, or it'll be like a flashback to show how they got there. Maybe.
But then they'll arrest Bruce Willis because he'll be like, oh, you know, I'm a superhero, I'm invincible, and they'll be like, no, you're crazy. Lock them all up and Glass will.
I did like that above scene where you see him put the bar through like the thing and just bend it.
Yeah.
While like Samuel Jackson is saying like there are superheroes, and he's like, I was like, that was better than fucking Justice League.
Just that whole section.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to have another dark superhero movie, you know.
Yeah.
And that'll fill the void for Avengers or what's next after? It's
Ant-Man and the Wasp has just come out from Marvel. I don't know actually.
Spider-Man.
Yes, I believe you're right. Far From Home.
Far From Home.
DC, you've got Aquaman, Wonder Woman 84, and Shazam. I know Aquaman's first. I don't know about the other order. Shazam looks good, dude. I mean, he looks good in the suit. Everyone's shitting all over it already because it's DC. But
is he just a badass fucking Superman?
No, without going into it massively, he gets the he's a 9-year-old boy, Billy Batson, and he gets the power to turn into Shazam and becomes Shazam. Yeah.
Right, you didn't tell me what his powers were.
He's basically like Superman, I guess you could say that.
Right, so he's a cheap man Superman.
Sort of, but it's a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah, not as good as Sentry though. I mean, Century, you fuck them up.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Right, okay, I think that's it. That will bring us to the end of the first part. Thank you for listening, everybody. We are going to be back for part 2, which is an open topic. Actually, I've got to just talk about 40k.
We're going to talk about 40k. I think we're going to talk about the Dark Knight trilogy, aren't we? Because that's just turned 10.
Yeah, and we got stuff to talk about Hulk Hogan as well.
Oh man, Hulk Hogan's an interesting topic at the minute.
Yeah, so stick with us. We will be back. And welcome back, everybody, to part 2.
Shazam!
Shazam! We literally just watched the Shazam trailer, which is literally just dropped from San Diego.
In the break, amazing.
Ooh, yeah, that looks fun.
That looks. I literally just shared it and was like, "Oh my god, there's hope! There's hope for DC."
Isn't that what S stands for?
No, that's what Shazam stands for.
That's what Shazam stands for. Yeah. Stands for hope, yeah. So, 40k. Now, I'm just going to chuck it out there. I am a space wolf. I am a badass space
very
barbarian.
quickly, before I interrupt your Viking drinking song.
Okay, right.
For anyone who doesn't know, when we say 40k, we're talking about Warhammer 40k. It's a futuristic tabletop game produced by Games Workshop. It's one of the oldest and most popular games of all time. Me and Ian are both massive hobbyists. We paint our models. Well, I paint my models. You never paint.
Yeah, I don't paint. I try painting. You don't like it.
I'm like, do it better. We paint our models and we play the tabletop games. You might have heard. I go to tournaments and stuff like that. We talked about it before.
You got your podcast with Sean and Brad.
I've never. I've got a podcast, Sustained Fire, where we talk about 40k and all manners of tabletop gaming, because I used to actually work for Games Workshop, as did my cohorts on the podcast.
I'm going to do a bit of a flashback for the people. While Gary's not here, and obviously we can't do flashbacks with him. The first time I ever met Andy was in a Games Workshop store. Andy was working there. He recently just got employed there. And we were both, 16, 17 at the time?
No, dude, we were like 19.
Oh, we weren't 19.
That's when I started working there, was when I was 19.
Okay, we were young, anyway. And
the point is now we're old and can't remember.
yeah. And I did not like 40k at all. it was a bunch of nerds, geeks, people who painted plastic little models.
That's our RM word and we can use it.
Yeah, it's an RN word, because secretly I was a nerd, I just didn't know it, because the neighborhood that I lived in didn't allow nerds on the street, so you had to hide it.
Dude, it's not like nowadays where everyone can say, yeah, dude, I read comic books. Like, you weren't, you were getting an ass whooping probably if you'd have admitted it. So.
You walk into San Diego Comic Con and tell people they're nerds, you'll fucking get beat down.
Yeah.
But I walked into this Games Workshop store with my girlfriend's brother at the time, and he was off buying some models, and this large, hairy guy comes up to me and he's just like, hey man, can I help you there? And I was just like, no, I'm just looking. He must have thought I was thinking of stealing something. I don't know. We lived in that kind of town.
Plus, you look like that guy.
Yeah, I look like that guy. And you were like, oh, is anything you're interested in? And I remember saying to you, no, I just like putting them together and pretending to be Godzilla.
It's smashing them on the floor.
And smashing them on the floor. And I remember your face dropping like, what
the fuck?
Now, weirdly enough, after...
You got to bear in mind that as part of the job, we had to engage every customer that came in and have a very structured conversation. It was really annoying. So I was literally at that point, I'm like, I'm feeling free to pull the fucking ripcord on this shit and walk off.
Now, the weirdest thing is, though, I don't remember anything happening between us up until this next instant.
Well, bear in mind, you worked across the street.
No, I didn't work across the street at that point. I was coming to get that job during the Christmas time.
Oh, okay.
But I remember coming back into the store with my girlfriend's brother, because he needed to buy some more stuff, and you were at the counter talking to a bunch of guys about models and stuff, and you're like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I think you knew Chris. It was Chris Wood.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Hey guys, are you coming out for my birthday on Friday? And we were just like, yeah. Oh, sweet, yeah, it's going to be class. Yeah, we're going to meet down the local club at this time. Yeah, good to see you down there. And I was just like, okay. And weird thing was, I got very excited because all I was doing was working at that point. So I wasn't really going out. So to have somebody say to me, hey, do you want to go out? Even a complete stranger, I'm like, sweet.
There was another conversation that got us talking, which is why I invited you. We had a conversation previous.
What was the conversation?
Well, I don't want to use names because I'm now married.
Okay, yeah.
But you'd heard a story.
For this,
you'd heard
a
story that had become legendary at your school involving a girl at your school, and I was the guy that was involved.
Oh, yes. Yes. For this story, the names have been changed to Sylvia Whisk. Andy was...
So me and Regina Phalange.
Andy and Regina Phalange. Oh, was that conversation that I approached you about that?
Yeah, because I think that because you'd seen me talking to said girl, you were like, how do you know this girl?
Oh,
and I think then Chris...
Small world.
Exactly.
Small
everyone knew
world.
each other, little things came out, and you were like, you're that fucking guy that made out with a girl that was all drunk.
Yeah, and did things.
And stuff. But anyway, there was a story in here.
Games Workshop, though, that's where we met, and I got behind the Space Wolf lore. Now, Space Wolves are adapted to Astartes, super space marines, genetically modified human beings with fucking badass power armor, and they're basically space barbarians.
Yeah, man, space Vikings.
They are the most loyal fucking army in the whole of the Imperium, next to the Ultramarines, of course. But everybody disses on them because they look like dogs, and it's just like, oh, you're a dirty mongrel. And yeah, we're dirty mongrels that can fuck shit up. Now, at the moment, Games Workshop is going for their 8th edition.
8th edition of the game.
And are dropping codexes like nobody's business.
So basically, yeah, and again, to put it in plain English for people, so when the game came out, every single army, like Iain's Space Wolves, for example, have a very specific rule set which sets them apart so that all the armies are different. When the game is sort of like redone and they release a new version of it, the previous books that we have are then basically obsolete and they have to start again. So
we have a lot of books.
Yeah, man.
A fucking lot of books.
I got an attic full of them. And so basically what happens is as the time goes on, they'll release these books gradually because they can't drop. These books are like 35 quid a pop. With a model range that comes with it, they can't drop them all at once, so
and
it gradually goes on.
It.
And they've got to test
There's
play
a lot of
it,
test playing at the moment. Rules are constantly changing. Yeah. Now, the harsh thing is...
But basically, Ian's waiting for his rule set.
I am waiting.
He's using
for
a basic version of them that came out with the game.
And I am still keeping up with all the people with their new rules and stratagems and re-rolls and, oh, I've got this ability now and this special weapon and, hey, did you see my nice new book? It smells so nice. And I'm like, fuck you, you
Check
fucking
my
asshole.
new rule smell out.
I played you with your Death Guard.
Yeah, man.
And I played a friend of ours called Adam with his Necrons. Now, for those of you who don't know, Death Guard are genetically modified super space marines.
They're evil space marines.
They're evil possessed.
Who worship the god of decay, so they're big, bloated, fat, smelly motherfuckers.
Yes.
And I love them.
And the Necrons are basically Terminators. They are cyborg.
They're an ancient race of the galaxy that are basically walking metal skeletons.
They're Terminators.
Again, the easy way to
They're Terminators.
They look like fucking
Terminators. Now, I played you both within the same week. And both of you use stratagems, which I don't have a problem with. All the new codexes come with stratagems. I will get stratagems as well.
I'd like to put out that because of the small game we had, I used very few.
You still used. And you can tell they might push.
Did I use any of the ones outside the basic ones? I think I just used rerolls, to be fair, dude.
No, I think you did use a card. I think you used a rapid fire card.
No, that's just their rule.
See, now these guys, these fucking Death Guard have a rule that allows them to fucking shoot twice or fire 2 shots at 18 inches. 18 inches on a battlefield, which is usually...
We were using a 4x4 because it was a small game. 4 foot by 4 foot.
4 foot by 4 foot. Now, they are fucking relentless, and I had to run... I had to try and cover these objectives, and... You just had me covered.
I just wouldn't stop rolling 6s to stay alive.
The 5s and 6s were
funny.
fucking disgusting.
They were your dice as well, so you can't even claim loaded dice.
I hit him with this powerful axe maneuver from the special character that I had, and he had to make 3 6s to keep the 3 guys alive that had taken the hits. And these 3 6s hit the table, and your heart fucking sinks. Your heart sinks because you're like, that's it. If he's got the 6s and I'm not, because when
you got to remember, I'm a tournament player, so when I'm working out stuff at home, like, is this a good combo? I will sit there rolling dice. If you want to learn how to roll dice, you got to practice.
You got to practice rolling dice. Have you got a particular flip?
Yeah, I just walk around the house rolling dice. Just sort of like, boom, nailed it.
So that's why you don't go to Las Vegas, because you're just like,
oh, a band. It's like Rain Man shit. Yeah, you go to prison for that.
No, I played Adam's Necrons on the Sunday of that same week, and we just. We
had a bigger game then, right?
We had objectives. We had a 2,000-point game. Obviously, the units that you purchase are based on a point section. You upgrade the units with weapons and add more points to them. And you have to get up to around about 2,000, maybe 2,500. You can get massive epic games. He took 3 Satans, which are Necron gods, and shitloads of infantry. And I was devastated by the infantry. I took the gods down in combat. He was very surprised by my Stormfangs, by my flyers with my super weapons on them. But once again, heavy firepower, 18-inch rapid fire. They just stood there and they just peeled away armor. And I'm trying to make 5s and 6s on D6s, and it's really difficult. But
because you got a lot of dice in your hand.
But you kind of smile and bear it, because in your mind you're just like, okay, it's my turn next. And then you get to your turn and you go against the person and they go, I'm going to play this card. And you're like, fucking stratagem. Fucking stratagem.
Basically, what I'm hearing is, right, when your codex drops and you get all these cool stratagems, because it's like, there's what we call it the power creep, where every time a new codex comes out, it's a little bit better than the last one. And I bet you're going to have... I can't wait for you to get some really powerful stuff. I think it's going to be really good. Because I like a challenge anyway. So I hope that book is really powerful.
Yeah.
Because I love Space Wolves as well. I think they're a great army. I love the background to them. Because I like most armies in the game anyway, even if I don't play them.
You're painting... But, if anybody ever gets the chance to look at Andy... you've got models on your Facebook page.
Yeah, it's the same fire Facebook page. It's got a lot of...
That's why I don't paint. Because there's just no point of trying to go up against you. It's just like, I could...
again, there's some phenomenal
You should paint my Space Wolves.
I really shouldn't, because I'm busy doing my own shit.
You should paint my Space Wolves.
But...
I did.
I think your book's going to be really powerful. And what that basically means is then if you still lose games where you have all these stratagems, you ain't allowed to say dick.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say dick. I'm just losing for the sake of losing.
You're going to change your tune from losing the game and going fucking stratagems. You're going to lose the game fucking scenery or something like stupid ass dice.
No, shields are my go-to. Space Wolves and their shields are...
I love an army. Storm shields and last cannons.
Storm shields and last cannons.
Last cannons are not the answer to everything, and you're like, I disagree.
And do you know? I managed to. I had 3 shields left over from some other models that I had lying around.
Right on.
And I had some bike characters put together, but I didn't want to use them because they're considered a weak unit. But if I slap a shield on them and consider them a special character, I now have a special character on a bike with a shield.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just like, I really hope shields are good. So in the next book,
they will be. But yeah, so you got a lot to look forward to with 40k. I mean, one of the things that people might not recognise it from as well, the game, is the set of Horus Heresy novels that have been out for the last few years. I say few years, over a decade, obviously, because they were coming out when I was still working at Games Workshop.
Yes.
And so that ties it. That's set 10,000 years in the story before, prior to where we are now. So
there are 50 books.
It's all about the main story of 40k. People might disagree with me, but it's like, fuck you, this is the main story. It's all about the Space Marine Legions and the Horus Heresy, where half the legions turn to the dark powers of chaos, and half of them stay loyal to the Emperor.
Yeah, good versus bad, basically. So the universe is in the balance.
Each of these legions, the original 2018, there were 2 excommunicated. Have Primarchs, which is the uber general of the army, whose like gene seed DNA is used to create the rest of their army. So Iain, Leman Russ was the Primarch of your army, uber fucking godly Odin style space Viking.
Oh man, he's on a planet of fucking ice and snow.
Exactly. So that's where
tribal
that's
warfare.
Where all the space wolves come from. Mine, Mortarion, the Lord of Death, who's like immune to like all poisons.
Wait.
My point is, what I was going to ask you is because what they've started doing now is like essentially a lot of these Primarchs died off, went off into exile. Certain things happened. They've not been in the game. And recently, in the last couple of years, they started releasing Primarchs. They started with the Demon Primarch. Magnus, who was this huge
Primarch
psychic,
of the Thousand Suns.
Psychic, your arch enemy as it is.
Spit on your Thousand Suns.
They brought out a loyalist for the Ultramarines in the form of Rabut Gilliman, who or Robbo, whatever you want to call him. Big Robbie G. Whatever you want to call him.
He's a badass general.
Yeah, man. He's basically taken up the mantle with the Emperor. And then mine got a release as well. Mortarion, who's the Lord of Decay. He's the big spectre of death with a huge size. It's amazing.
Yes.
So everyone's like, which Primarch is going to be next? And I'm personally begging for it to be Leman Russ. Because I just want a big, angry, snarling, Wolfen style Lehman Russ, because they've all changed, they've all moved on.
You don't read the books. You stopped reading the books after.
Yeah, I've not got as far through the books as you.
I am on. I've at this moment I've just finished Master of Mankind, which is an Emperor based storyline. Love the God Emperor, Shepherd of Humanity and all that. Blessings onto the Omnissa. But they are up to 50, and I've noticed in correlation with the books releases, models are being released. Right. So. There was the Battle for Moloch, which was the story of Horus getting his demonic powers. Yeah. And for me, that was the first introduction of big knights. Now, knights in the 40k universe are big bipedal tank walker titans, but you can buy them now. They're only £100. And you can you put it on.
This is a hobbyist speaking. Dude, it's a bargain.
It's a fucking bargain. Look at the cannons on it. As soon as I stick it on a table, my opponent's gonna fucking shit. And that was the first time I saw knights. Then there was Master of Mankind came out a couple of months ago, and they brought in armigers, which are smaller bipedal tank walkers, and those models were released. Now, up to this point, there's also a book coming out called Wolfsbane with Lehman Russ. And I think I said this to you, that Lehman Russ was the first guy to put Horus on his knees.
Yep.
And I've read the spoilers. I fucking read it. It's Lehman Russ. Yeah. I haven't even got the book yet, but I just spoiled it for myself. And if they take that character from that book with his spear, which is the weapon he used to wound Horus, there's not a god, demon, Primarch in the universe that will stand up against him in combat. And you will just have to shoot the
unless I'm rolling dice, and then
unless you're rolling dice, obviously. But if I get into if you get into combat with Lehman Russ, I'm
just gonna roll sixes, dude.
But they've also got the Primarch of the Salamanders, Vulcan, who
is a perpetual.
Yeah, for those who don't know what Perpetua is, he's basically an immortal. He's a Highlander. He literally can be...
He's a Highlander whose head you can chop off and the motherfucker still comes back.
Oh, this guy fucking teleported himself into the orbit of a planet.
Yes.
Only wearing a loincloth and holding a hammer.
Because that's all he needed.
That's all he had. And he fell through the atmosphere to the planet. Now, his body degraded and broke up, and whatever was left smashed into the ground.
And he Wolverined it.
And he just rehealed and got back up again. And it's like, what the fuck? Why haven't we got him?
Yeah, it's the greatest superhero landing of all time.
And you can kind of consider Games Workshop's thinking of, when they're releasing these models, they're like, we shouldn't release this guy.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting point, because I think that when we talk about, like, we describe it like this, because there's always that, well, the fluff says he should be able to take on a fucking army on his own.
Yeah, he should be able to lift the tank up.
Yeah, but for a game mechanic, that would be really shit. Because you just put the model down and go, well, I win. And you'd be like, okay, well, good game, bro.
That's it. I've always said this, haven't I?
Ironically, in the game, in a competitive sense, like, no one takes the Primarchs. They die too easy because of bullet magnets.
Yeah.
And again... It's all good going like, hey, all I've got to do is roll a 2+ and he's safe. It's like, yeah, but here's 30 dice, dude. You're going to roll some ones.
Yeah, I've just fired a bunch of fucking guns at you and you're taking these hits.
But I the way it's progressed is, for us as gamers, this really is a golden age for that game. I worked out this is my 20th year in the hobby, right?
Yeah.
Because I was 15 when I first specifically started playing games. So I started playing a lot of other stuff before and everything, but this
fantasy flight stuff.
Well, no, not at that time.
Fighting fantasy
like,
books.
You've got Dungeons and Dragons and Fighting Fantasy books. A great example done by Ian Jackson, Steve Livingston, obviously, who started it. But I remember I started playing a game called Necromunda, which is set in the 40k universe.
Yes,
but it's a small skirmish gang warfare game.
Yeah, based on one planet.
Exactly, very easy to get into, because you didn't need an army stuff. You needed like 8 to 10 guys, and you could play a game. And there was a role play element where you do a progressive thing where you get injuries and go on. It's great.
We love our role play.
So on my 16th birthday, I bought my first model set that I bought myself. I'd been using friends' models who got me into it, and I bought my first gang,
which was
Delac. Trench coat wearing, fucking
the bold
motherfuckers, like stealthy guys, and that loved them. Now, it's 20 years later and Necromunda is back on the shelf, so it's recently had a re-release. And I was talking to someone the other day and I said, dude, I'm not playing it at the minute. I don't have the time. No. So, I'm so happy as a hobby to see it back. But I did say to someone, I said, dude, I got no intentions on playing Necromunda at all. I said, but if they release the Delac gang, because they're re-releasing the old gangs, if they release that near my birthday in September, the nostalgia factor of going into the same Games Workshop
and buying
the gang box, I'd lose my shit. I'd be like, that to me would be so cool on the 20th anniversary to buy the same box set.
It's a mini universe, man.
Totally,
that's going to be your moment. But I mean, you are a crack addict.
But it doesn't look like they are. Oh yeah, I'm a plastic crack.
You're a plastic crack addict. I mean, a model comes out and you're just like, I want to paint that.
I mean, working for Games Workshop for 6 years and being in the hobby for 20 years, sometimes when people see my collection, it's like, what the, it is like, what the fuck.
Yeah, but
how did you ever, like, convince a woman to be with you and raise a family in between all this shit?
Because you've got steady hands.
It's true, yeah.
She could hand you the baby and you won't drop it.
Literally, yeah, one hand still painting.
What always makes me smile is when you see a model and you're like, don't like it. And I'm like, ooh. So, I mean...
Why?
Yeah, why? I mean, what
no, I mean, why do you like that? So.
Well, because you're a plastic crack addict,
oh, okay,
and your collection is so big, for a time when you were working for the store, you just indulged. You didn't have a family at the time. You were just having your hobby.
Oh, that's what I was spending my money on.
Yeah, that's what you're spending your money on. That's what you enjoyed. I mean, some people went to the pub. We got together and rolled dice.
Yeah.
When you get older,
still drank.
You're not playing as much, but you're still feeding your painting habit. But there are some you don't buy all of it.
Mm.
You won't just go, yeah, I'm fully into the whole painting models. You only particularly like 40k more than the Warhammer Sigmar stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's for me now is like because of the lack of time, and I always say the same thing because they've just re-released the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And as a painter and someone who just likes models, the model range is phenomenal. The model range for Age of Sigmar is probably better than the 40k range, to be fair, just on a basic level.
Would you not want to use some of them in 40k?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have when I'm converting like Helldrakes and stuff, or like certain things for Chaos, because everything mixes into Chaos really well. That's part of the reason I love it as a painter, but like in the last years, to be honest, I've moved over to almost exclusively just doing Chaos now. But yeah, pretty much. Fucking bring it, bitch. But, I just every time I look at the idea of learning a new game like Age of Sigmar, a lot of people say like, you should play Age of Sigmar. It's awesome, and I'm like, I know that's the problem. It's because it's just another thing.
Yeah.
That I'd have to fit into my time, and it's like a lot of people say it's sort of like, oh, you got to fit this around your family and stuff, and it's not just like finding the time to fit around my family. It's like I want to spend time with my family.
Yes,
I'm also a big gym rat, and I've spent more time. I've actually spent more time since the last time we were on the podcast.
Yeah.
In the gym than anywhere else. Actually, like I haven't been doing that much modeling. It's like I was really happy to play the game with you because I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest, for a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had that whole stint at the tournament.
I played a couple of tournaments and everything like that, and I was like, right, it's time. I'm going to put this to bed for a little bit and take a break. And when I say take a break, what I mean is I'm going to stop buying stuff, and I'm working through the backlog that I've built up of models because I'll still buy models when I'm working on someone else because shiny.
Your birthday's coming up, so you can say
right. But I've been spending more time at the gym than anything else. So I'm like, do I really need another game to play?
Yes.
To fit around that.
See, I'm exactly the same with the release of my new codex. I've not wanted to buy anything.
Yeah.
And it's pissed me off so much.
Yeah, no, because no. You've wanted to buy stuff. Because there's always stuff you want to buy. It's not even necessarily new. You will read through a book, get an idea for a unit or a conversion and go, oh, I need to do it like now.
If I buy that tank and stick these units with it, that goes in the shit. But if you don't do it and get it
done straight away, then it will sit on your hobby desk for fucking months. Come look at my hobby desk, you'll see what I'm talking about. So you're trying to hold out, aren't you?
Because for the major, because at the moment the stuff I'm looking online, like you said, it's just like I'll buy that, I'll put it together, I won't play with it, and then it will annoy me because I've got this fucking 65, 75, 80 quid model which is just sitting there. On top of that, nobody will play me because I've got this 60, 70 quid model put together.
Well, to be fair, dude, I mean, at least you got a good gaming group. I'll play you with anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind. Cause,
I like my flyers.
No, but I mean, yeah, oh man, you preach to the choir. But I mean, like, to be fair, the game that we had, we kind of purposely went out to go, like, when you make it a small amount of points anyway, you're instantly sort of like, well, certain stuff you're not going to bring anyway. So we're making an agreement, say, like, we're going to have a little mess around, see how these armies work against each other. And we purposely went, let's just bring some basic guys. And I was like, that's great. Because after playing competitive all this time, there's certain units that I won't run that I really like because they look great and they play fun. Like those Plague Marine guys, little units of stinky fucking Marines.
See, that's the key. It's making it fun. But in my mind, I'm like, one of us is going to lose. And 9 times out of 10, I'm happy for myself to lose. As long as the other person's had fun playing me.
Well, it's more as long as you've both had fun playing.
Yeah,
I've played plenty of games that I've lost, and still really enjoyed it.
If I could get into the position where, you know, I've got the person on the back ropes, you know, and then they pull it back and they're like, oh, that was close, I'm happy then.
Well, how many times have you played a game? And I suppose it's like for a lot of games, if you play board games or if you're playing like, you know, online, like you're playing fucking Call of Duty. You're playing, all right, let's say
you got to roll the hard sticks, mate. Roll the hard sticks.
I'm more things like if you're playing Call of Duty and you're playing like a team deathmatch or a team capture the flag or whatever they're doing, and like you might join a game or you might be like, you know, a few minutes into the game, you're like, we are going to lose this game. But you don't quit. You're like, okay, what can I do? Do you know what? I'm going to go for this headshot achievement during this game, or I'm going to go to max out this weapon. 40k, you might be like, right, we've got 2 turns of this game left. I can't beat him. He's got too many points out of me, and I can't think of a way to bring it back. But I'm gonna kill that demon primal.
yeah, that motherfucker going down.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, that's you know how you sort of like have fun. It is a big social content. We talk about it all the time on our podcast, Sustain Fire, about like, you know, you're playing with someone, not necessarily against them. Oh, when it's competitive, but there's still like a gentleman's agreement there to sort of like you know, not to cheat, not to, you know, abuse the rules or anything. Like,
and people will cheat.
Well, feel free to listen. Our new episode would have dropped. We recorded this Thursday, and we talked about some of the American tournaments where there's been a huge controversy.
Oh yes, yeah.
So yeah, that it happens. But I think that the reason that we love it so much is we love the background. It's why we like movies. We're fans of stories. We love stories.
Yeah.
The background for 40k and indeed all the Games Workshop games is so rich and wonderful that, you know, me and you, we can talk about why it's cool for hours.
Man,
you know?
but
that's why.
So like you said,
that's why
it's expanded so much over 20 years.
That's just for us, by the way. The game's like, you know, way older than that.
That it's just incorporated like absolutely everything into one little niche. Like I said, I mean, the Necrons themselves, they look like Terminators. But if you're a Terminator fan and you've got this little skeletal fucking badass in front of you carrying a little gun, you know, and you're putting the finishing touches to his armor, so he sits in a little glass cabinet. It boggles my mind how much money the makers of Games Workshop sleep on at night. You know,
yeah, they've done well in the last few years. They turned it around though.
Where the fuck is their Scrooge McDuck fucking safe?
Oh, dude, it's in Nottingham.
Like a hurricane, you know, just fucking swimming around in money.
You know what? I think actually, if you go back on our page, Sustain Fire, I think you'll see pictures of me and you up at Warhammer World, won't you?
That was a good day.
Basically, it originated in Nottingham, the game, and we went up to. I've been up there a few times. Was that your first trip?
That was the first trip up there. Yeah.
So we went out, and the headquarters in Nottingham has got this huge store, and it's all decked out like a castle courtyard with a load of gaming tables. It's got a museum. The museum is
so
incredible.
much money to spend in there.
Yeah,
so much. And the tables they had, the terrain they had set out for people just to come and battle on,
made by utter professionals. So like, you know.
Yeah, you did.
We played on an amazing table, didn't we? Me, you, and Tom.
You just want to put your models down there and then just take pictures.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
You know, but I mean, they sold San Miguel there, and I'm a big San Miguel drinker, so I was like,
there's a bar, there's a dwarven tavern in Warhammer World, Bugman's Bar, which is fantastic.
The exhibition itself, I mean, yes, you have to pay separately to go into the exhibition.
Oh, mate, the money you spend on that exhibition is. I took my kid in there. And there's
you spend an hour, 2 hours at least,
mate. Well, you go in, don't you? You go into this exhibition hall and you start seeing, like, you know, models in cabinets and stuff which are professionally painted, and I can't stress professionally painted enough. And then you go into this one room, which is one room that is one diorama.
The Cygnus Prime attack.
It's between Angelus Prime.
Yeah, the
Ultramarines and the World Eaters.
This. How do you explain a room?
You can't really.
I'd
Google it if you're interested and go look at some pictures. Again, I've got pictures on Sustain Fire, but I really can't. I think there's a video of me taking my kid in there actually on Sustain Fire that I put on, and she's only 7.
Just down to the detail, and what's beautiful as well, this terrain is so big that there is one model on there that if you can find it, you get one.
Oh yeah, they hide a model on there, and they're like, if you can tell us where it is, then we'll give you a copy of it or something.
You know, and so you could spend like at least 3 hours.
And people do spend a lot of time looking for it,
waiting to find out where it is and go, there it is, and just take it home. It's among all these. It's like a Where's Wally of Warhammer.
Where's the Vindicator Assassin? But there you go. So that's something that we've been enjoying for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of
anniversaries.
Speaking of anniversary,
The Dark Knight. Oh, now, the 3 Batman movies, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I'll start with Batman Begins. Let's just start easy. Really enjoyed it. It was bringing Batman into the early 2000s.
2005, 2005?
2005, yeah, 2005.
Oh, okay, because Dark Knight was obviously 2008 because it's the 10-year anniversary.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
It was 2005.
Yeah.
Dark Knight was twat. I'm like, can't do simple maths.
You know, after the whole incident with Batman and Robin,
I was just about to say, you got to talk about the fact that we are coming off of the back of Batman and Robin, which was not
but
great.
we've been fans for so long that it was just a case of we were happy to see Batman back on screen.
Absolutely,
and
as we always will be.
Christian Bale coming off as Bruce Wayne, it really worked. You know, Ra's al Ghul with Liam Neeson almost escaped me then, and just the whole scenario
you mean Henry Ducat? No spoilers.
Yeah. The whole monorail system, I mean, that was a little bit over the top.
All right. Well, I mean, this is the funny thing. Is like, not to interrupt, but I'll say this, like, because I recently rewatched the whole trilogy.
The whole trilogy, yeah.
I watch this every year because I got them all on DVD, and then Blu-rays happened, so I bought them all on Blu-ray, and then a special edition Blu-ray happened. I bought that as well. So there's basically the fucking whole house is wired to watch this trilogy at any point. I can watch it in any room.
Yes.
Plus, I have digital copies on my phone and all the tablets. So at any point I want to watch this movie, I can watch it. And so me and the wife, we rewatched the whole trilogy like one a night, basically.
Yeah.
And I love it. And you can never take away from how much I love it or anything like that. But it seems like every time I watch it, I pick up more and more things that are fucking wrong with it. And I hate to, and this isn't me. Anything I say in this podcast that says what's wrong with it does not detract from how good it is, all right?
Yes.
So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, we're going to put that out there now. Any issues that we have with the Batman trilogy by Christopher Nolan is mainly on that trilogy.
We're being nitpicky.
Yeah, we're being
but
nitpicky.
I can't help it after that many times I've seen the movies.
Batman Begins, for me though, set up this great arc, and I really wanted to know how they would follow in from it. And
it's very hard to do an origin movie when the origin's been done before, because you instantly do that. We know this, but you didn't. A lot of people didn't know this. A lot of people didn't know about Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows.
No, you had to read it. You had
Assassins,
to be
Shadows,
in the comic books. You had to have watched all of the episodes of the animated series. You know, you had to have actually known the history of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, not just Batman.
Yeah. As soon as I was watching, because I'd seen the trailer, I'd seen part of the trailer where he's literally in the tumbler and he gives it the "Does it come in black?"
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, as soon as it was like, there's going to be a new Batman movie, I'm like, sold. I don't need any other details. You know? So the only clip I'd seen was literally just that. I went in cold. I didn't want to see anything. And as soon as Liam Neeson comes out, and again, this is like, obviously we had the internet, but I wasn't following anything online.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's like, "My name's Henry Ducat," and I was like, "Holy shit!
Yeah,
that is some deep fucking cuts, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing." And then he's like, "But I represent I'm gonna say
Ra's
Raz
al
is
Ghul.
British, whatever, but I represent Ra's al Ghul," and I'm in the cinema with my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, like literally I was in there like, "Holy shit!" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, I'm listening." You know. And so to me straight away I was like, this is instantly phenomenal. I'm hooked, and the story they tell is so good.
Having the Scarecrow,
Scarecrow was a great villain choice as well, and
having him part of the League of Shadows. I like that.
That was fine. I like that, dude. I haven't actually got a lot of problems with the first movie. I think the first movie is
I even like
pretty
Katie Holmes.
spot on. I didn't mind Katie Holmes. No. That was fine. I love like little touches. I always love when she's in court and there's a bald guy sat in the dock and she goes, "Mr. Zsasz." I'm like, that's fucking Victor Zsasz. Yes. Also played by the lead singer of James for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I know, right? There's a lot of this all the way through the trilogy. Random actors.
Actually, trivia for you. Joe Chill in Batman Begins.
Yeah, dude. Fucking 31 recently. Rob Zombie's movie, and obviously in Doom and loads.
Lead White Walker in Game of Thrones.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
I just happened to wiki him one day, and it just I was just like, holy shit,
He has a scary face.
Yeah, he definitely does.
But so it was. Granted, you were like, oh, he's grounding this in reality. He's making this very real, but still managing to keep it fairly comic booky in the first one, And
yeah, I thought the whole monorail system was a bit comic booky, but it established Gotham. It established this whole idea that Bruce Wayne's dad was this head of this tech, which going into...
I like the way they portrayed the Waynes as well. It's just this kind of like, and my favourite character, I've said this before, is like if I was going to write a Batman movie, bad guy wise, it'd just be all about the organised crime families, the Falcones and stuff like that, and that's what they do. They brought that in. That fucking guy's escaped me. That fantastic English actor.
From Full Monty. Yeah, I was about to doing the dance.
You were doing the dance and in the chair. That was weird. But yeah, it was fantastic. I was crying tears of joy leaving that movie. The only real problem I had with that movie, where I was like, it was a fundamental misunderstanding of the character of Batman when he's fighting Ra's al Ghul in the monorail that's about to crash.
Yes.
And he pops the side of it and he's like, I told you. He says something to akin to like, I told you you'd have to like cross the line or kill me or whatever. Because obviously there's a part in the movie where he's trying to say, you got to execute this prisoner. And that's where he's no.
That's what Batman
That's
doesn't
what
do.
separates us from them. We don't kill them. I'm not an executioner. He should be tried. And you have that wonderful juxtaposition of his own sort of like morality where he goes to kill Joe Kill. Sorry, Joe Kill. Thank you. Kill Joe Kill. And not necessarily decides not to. Someone beats him to it. Yeah, but he's so shocked by it and he throws the gun away, and he's like, that's not how we deal with this. Yeah. But then in the end, like, the monorail, spoilers, the monorail is, it's been 13 years, is like, about to crash with Ra's in it, who's defenseless essentially, and he says like, I don't have to kill you. And then he says, but I don't have to save you. Yeah. And fucks off. And I'm like, yes, you do. Well, you do.
I mean, thinking about it, 13 years later, and funny enough, we're talking about it on this podcast.
It would have saved a lot of shit, wouldn't it? In that third movie?
No. The whole third movie would have still happened. Raz would have just been alive.
Talia wouldn't have come back to fucking take vengeance on him, would she?
She would, because Raz would be in Blackwater or Arkham.
No, but my point is that he shouldn't have let him die.
But Batman lets the supervillain take the fall. Same as we get into The Dark Knight. He doesn't have to save the Joker, but if he doesn't, the Joker wins.
Well,
because Batman had to cross the line by letting.
So let's move on then to The Dark Knight.
Let's move into the most fucking
ridiculously. It's probably, I mean, as much as I'm about to say a couple of problems I had with it, it's probably a perfect movie. There's the hype coming out of this, man, or coming into this, sorry, because when Heath Ledger was announced,
it's Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker that
and
just
all those people, you still
movie.
use it now, don't you? A lot of people, when you tell, all right, Joaquin Phoenix has been cast as the Joker. Oh, what the fuck? You'll get that instant reaction. Oh, it shouldn't be him. Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman. Oh, it shouldn't be him. You do get that majority voice that turns around and goes, "You all said the same shit about Heath Ledger."
I never.
No, but a lot of people did. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people said, you said the same thing about Heath Ledger as the Joker, and where the fuck are you now?
I fell in love, right? And Linda will back me up on this if anybody ever gets a chance to ask her. I fell in love with the first poster I saw, which was just a close-up of his face.
Yeah, that's the first shots from on the screen, isn't it?
I was like, what the fuck is that? And they didn't even have a title. They didn't even drop a title at that point. The poster just appeared. And then the other poster started appearing, and I realised it was Batman.
Their poster game on all three movies was phenomenal.
I spent a lot of money on posters.
They're still up, dude.
T-shirts.
When we were playing 40K in my dining room, it's just you're surrounded by the Joker.
There's just Jokers. There's just Heath Ledger Jokers everywhere. And every now and again, I walk in there and I don't even feel uncomfortable. I watched the Dark Knight just because it was the anniversary. And I literally just wanted to skip to every Joker sequence.
I watched. My wife loved Heath Ledger's portrayal of Joker so much, but I remember her just losing it when he's in the nurse costume and he just sits down in the makeup. And
God, yes.
Hi.
Such an amazing sequence, and the whole coin toss as well. It's just like, I love a bit of chaos. And he flips the coin, and then you see him walk out.
The voice all the way through.
You're like,
and he's
how
like,
did that
I'm an
coin
agent of chaos.
Turn up and just be fine for him to walk out? And then the whole mannerisms with the bomb.
Do you know it's interesting as well? It's like a lot of people are saying about it. It's like, he's got this like kooky laugh down, and the voice is really good. There's the interview with, is it Tom Waite, the musician actor? Like, if you watch that interview, where you're like, that's the Joker. That's where he got it from.
What, from Tom Waits?
Yeah. I'll show you it after. It's out there on YouTube. As soon as you watch it, you're like, holy fuck, that is the Joker. Yeah, like voice wise. But it's like then when he's like, there's the scene where he's captured the guy in the hockey pads and stuff. He ends up hanging in front of Mayor. In front of Mayor Eyebrows.
And he's got the camcorder.
Yeah. So and. His voice is, he's like, oh, you think you're Batman? Oh, and he's fucking Cesar Romero for a second.
I'm a man of my word.
And but then he's like,
look at me. Yeah.
I remember in the cinema going, oh shit.
Yes.
Like, that made me fucking jump, dude.
Yes.
He ran the fucking gambit of just like performance-wise of going from fucking I'm the clown prince of crime, and just going to like, and I'm a scary fucking terrorist. You know?
It fucking got
the whole
me.
how did I get these scars thing was amazing.
I was sat in the cinema, and he's got Lau sat on top of the money. They bring in the Chechen, and everybody just turns on the Chechen, and the Joker takes over, and he just sets fire to the money.
And again, that's the like we talked about it earlier, didn't we? About the Joker thing where he's like he's an organised crime boss and stuff like that. It's like that is a sense what he does.
He doesn't need the money. The money's just a ploy,
like a
goal.
All the stuff I like is cheap.
And the fact that Lau still sat on top and he just burns, and I'm like, how did he film that so fabulously?
Oh, and he slides down the money.
That it got the fact that Lau is still sat on top as you watch the money burn in the background. The fact that it doesn't take until like the second or third time that people might go, "Oh shit!" It's like,
if I can kill that motherfucker.
I was watching it. I was watching it as the first opening fight with Scarecrow, and the Chechen drug dealers, and Batman gets attacked by the dogs. And just before he jumps down to take out the truck, he turns, but you can see this. I only noticed it today. This wet patch underneath his arm, and I realized he'd been wounded.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy fucking shit. You got to remember that every time you watch a Batman movie, that's just a guy in a suit. We talk about Shazam, we talk about Wonder Woman, we talk about Superman.
It's part of the appeal of Batman is that, his superpower is money.
Yeah.
It's like, but essentially he's a man. You know.
And turning to those guys, it's like, I'm not wearing hockey pads. I'm like, but you could use their help. But they will get hurt. And it's like... Oh man, that scene where he's got him hanging upside down and he gives his monologue. Yes.
Where he's like, "We're destined to do this forever." It's like, oh my god, I'm watching it, tears are streaming down my face. I was like, this is so good. It was phenomenal, dude. It's just it'll never cease to be one of the greatest pieces of cinema of all time. There's a lot of one thing that Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan, who wrote, can't do is time a sequence in a movie that involves a clock.
Okay,
we'll come on to this in Dark Knight Rises, but in Dark Knight, where Harvey is tied up in one warehouse, Rachel's in another.
Yeah. All
right, if anyone ever goes, how did Batman do this? Because he's Batman, motherfucker. Okay. How did the Joker know he was going to do it? Because he's a Joker, motherfucker. Let it go.
Yeah,
but anyway, forgetting all the timing that the Joker had set up there, you see Harvey's talking, and he's talking to Rachel about, like, she tells him, like, they told me what they're going to do, and only one of us is going to live. And he does okay, Rachel, well, don't worry, because they're going to come for you.
Yeah.
When he looks at that clock, there's like, I think I looked at it and said it was 42 seconds left.
Yeah.
As she's giving that speech.
Yeah.
And even if he's like, it's okay, they'll come for you, he's like, but they are cutting it fucking close. And then Batman kicks the door open.
Yeah.
Well, no, it should have gone to like probably 5 minutes, because by the time Batman's kicked the door, grabbed him, dragged him outside, they've mounted the pavement on the other side, walked near the fucking door.
While
I'm like,
exploding.
dude, 2 minutes have gone past before it even blew up. They can't yet. The only other thing as well that I picked up that drove me mental was when Batman ejects into the Batpod. Great scene, he's driving the bike and he's going through the tunnel system.
The kids are in the car.
One, why are these kids alone in a car? And Batman starts blowing cars randomly out of his way in a parking lot.
I can never tell if they've got their seatbelts and if they're facing that way. And
how did Batman not know he was going to hit that fucking car? And how did he not know anyone was like sleeping in those cars?
Well, he's Batman. For one.
Okay, well, I've just been hoisted by my own petard. Obviously,
yes,
Batman, but still.
You've just art-harded yourself. Yeah. He's probably got a scanner on the bike that scans for life signs and any obstructions that can get it out of the way.
That's how I'm choosing to believe it happened.
The kids are sat in a traffic jam on the other side of the road. I've always got the itch, okay, as much as I love The Dark Knight, and pains me to always say this. They're driving along in the armoured car. They've got Harvey Dent in the back. Now, I know the story's supposed to be about Harvey Dent, but having him in there and then killing him off at the end was just stupid.
Do you know what's interesting about it? The driver? You know about that one? The driver of that armoured car?
Right. Oh, he's
from Batman Forever.
Yes. Yeah, he was one of the cops.
Wait.
He was a cop
him?
in the old one.
Oh, is it him or is it in the third one? It's either him or it's the one... No, it's the one from the third one. He's like, you're in for a show tonight. He played, in the third one, he was the biker that Batgirl races.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, random.
Well, that'd be Batman and Robin. That'd be the fourth one.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. Whichever piece of shit he was in.
Anyway, the armored car is driving along, and before they come down to that amazing truck sequence in the underpass...
Where it flips it and everything.
The Joker's just firing against the side of the armored car. They're driving along top, and the obstruction comes up. It's a flaming fire truck.
Go down onto Lower Fifth.
Ironic. Yeah, let's go down onto Lower Fifth. Oh, yeah, but a turkey shoot down there. Now, the whole open road is open.
Yeah, they didn't have to go down there.
They did not have to go down
Not
there.
at all.
But the fact that they get down there, they have this whole thing with the truck. And they then come back up to a sequence where the Joker must have already knew because he's got the helicopter already planned and has that.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of like, how did the Joker know this? In this movie?
It's amazing. And I know we've answered our own question by being artards by saying,
because he's the Joker.
Because he's the Joker.
You got to suspend a lot of disbelief in.
It's suspended to that. We then get into Dark Knight Rises.
Now, this one I might have a few more problems with.
Yes. Now,
okay, first of all, sorry, going back to something you said.
Okay.
Their poster game, the first image you ever see for the Dark Knight Rises. Now, first of all, you hear, in between, unfortunately, we lose Heath Ledger.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talk. Are they going to recast the Joker? They do come out at one point and say, we are not recasting the Joker. Now, I always think as well, it's like when you watch Dark Knight, the first scene with him, you get to see Scarecrow, who's the bad guy from the first movie.
Yeah.
In a little scene.
Yeah.
I always like to think in Dark Knight Rises, you probably would have got the same sort of scene
with the Joker.
Like the Joker's escaped from Arkham again and Batman tracks him down and that's the first thing you see or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, well, we got that in Suicide Squad.
It still hurts. But, so they're poster game out. So we knew it was going to be Bane. We knew Tom Hardy was playing Bane and we'd seen a couple of pictures of him. Like there were some press releases of him in the mask.
Yeah, basically. I always thought he looked small.
For Bane. I mean, I'll give you an idea. I got something behind that. But,
okay.
The first poster was just The Dark Knight Rises. Bane's walking away, and on the ground is the broken cowl.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god.
He's going to break the back.
Like, you're going to get broken, motherfucker. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait.
Isn't it?
I was like, all I was prepared for was the Nightfall scenario. I mean, in this movie, they go through Nightfall, they go through No Man's Land as well. It's another great series, but...
Yeah, they fit in a lot of stories. Nolan said he didn't want to come back for a third one. And it felt to me like that. I didn't see it in the cinema. I waited until it came out on DVD because I am still upset about Heath Ledger. I can't get over the Dark Knight. So when they go, they made a third one, I'm like...
Now, I still like this movie. Well, I still like this movie.
I try to, but okay.
But there's a lot wrong with this movie.
Yeah. The fact that he's gone for 8 years. I dropped in that bombshell right at the start. So Gotham City is just gone to hell. It hasn't, has it? Because of the Dent Act. Okay.
They're saying that there is no organised crime because the Dent Act, the reason that the reason that Batman took the fall for Two-Face Harvey Dent at the end of the second one is so that people still believed in him and the provision he put in place to take down organised crime.
Yeah.
Hence Jim Gordon's speech at the start, which is also really dumb because he says, Jim Gordon gets up to speak about it on the anniversary, the 8-year anniversary. He says, I have a speech about the truth about Harvey Dent, but now's not the time. And I'm like, there's no one in that room gone, wait a minute, so what? So you're telling everything you're about to say is bullshit? And like, what the fuck?
No,
like,
they're also upset. They don't want to be there. They're just like, let's just go home and live miserable.
But anyway, Bruce Wayne drops the mantle for 8 fucking years. Because they say it's since that night.
Yeah, and then and
he's also crippled.
And then it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was the time of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He'd just done Inception, was really, really good in that with Nolan.
Chris Nolan.
So Nolan was just like...
Half the cast are in it, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got to bring fucking...
Tom Hardy's in it.
Tom Hardy, I've got to bring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, and...
Ra's al Ghul's in it. Look, the fake Ra's al Ghul's in it.
This could be Robin. I'm like, it's Batman and Robin all over again.
Well, no, to be fair... Right, I gotta admit, right, because again, I still take joy in these movies. Like I've said, even if it's a bad one, even like Justice League's a bad fucking movie, but I can enjoy.
Dark Knight Rises goes up there with Justice League.
Dark Knight Rises is certainly the weakest of the three. I don't think it's as bad as Justice League, but I gotta admit, man, that spoilers the end bit where when everything's settled and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, whose name in it is Blake, Sergeant Black, I can't remember. John, I think it's just John Blake.
I think it's Robin. His middle name's
No.
Robin.
That's the beauty of it, is he says, doesn't he, sort of like, John, he's like, what's your name? Because he's essentially going in because Bruce Wayne has left him, Wayne Manor and everything. And he's like, what's your name, John Blake? He's like, can't find anything. He's like, try my legal name, and he gives him the card. Now, as they're doing this, it's cut into lots of different things that are happening in the wake of, yet another bomb.
Let's tie everything up nicely.
Exactly. And I gotta admit, when she says, you should use your actual name, Robin, I get a fucking chill, dude. I really like that bit.
I want to, but I'm already pissed off because
he was Robin all along.
You know, Alfred, Bruce Wayne, and Catwoman are all sat in a cafe in France somewhere.
No one notices that the most famous missing man in the world is sat at an open air cafe.
Well, you don't, do you? Because you know he just has a mystical upper face. You know, you don't recognise his jaw to anything else.
The main issue with that movie is that
the timing's all off. Timing is all off.
Timing at
Everything
the end is
all rushed to a point where it's just like we've got to fit. Like you said, they've got to try and fit in Nightfall. They've got to try and fit in No Man's Land. They've got to have Batman broken.
How did he get back?
How
does he get back? And okay, again, I'm gonna do it because he's Batman. But how the fuck did he get back? Come on, man. It's like 1 minute he's in the pit and God knows where. Next, he's fucking back, dude.
His funds are frozen. He must have a cave somewhere, and he's got all of his technology all set up. And I'm like, that is so unfair. How did we not see that?
I feel like we missed so much, you know. I mean, like, he can't walk, you know. Fucking Selena Kyle, because she ain't called Catwoman in this, by the way, kicks that fucking cane out from him and he crumples like a fucking piece of paper. He puts a fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin leg brace on and can kick through brick walls, and that limp is gone for the rest of the fucking movie.
He is absolutely fine.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, but, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, but Batman, your girlfriend died. You don't quit being Batman because a fucking loved one died. That's why you started this shit. It doubles your resolve, man, you know, but... I mean, I liked Tom Hardy's Bane. I did. A lot of people didn't. I enjoyed it.
The voice.
I didn't mind the voice.
I can get with the voice at the more times.
Doesn't matter who we are.
Oh yes, that's a beautiful voice.
Yeah, because it's so easily imitatable, isn't it? You can just be like, you could do that voice all day, sort of like, I'll have a tuna salad. Thank you.
What are you saying? Dark Knight Rises was amazing.
You can do that all day. The one thing that I always thought they missed a trick, because again, Scarecrow's in this movie at the end. He's the judge, which is fucking brilliant use of him as well, right? So there was amazing sequences in Batman Begins where he gets hit by the fear toxin. Yes. And so like he sees bats everywhere, and like when he gives it, he's like, "Take your own medicine, doctor." Sorry, take your own medicine, doctor. What the fuck? And he sees like this demonic Batman with like ooze coming out of his face. So I remember watching that like, oh my god, that's amazing. I'm like, so you know, you have the sequence where Batman fights Bane, and I remember a friend of mine that I went to see it with Danny on the premiere night. I remember him always telling me, he's like, when Bane picks Batman up over his head and where he's like, what's going to break first, your spirit or your body? He's like, I looked at you and you were floating about an inch above your chair, like, oh my god, like, you know, because loved it. I always thought they missed a trick because Scarecrow's working with the League of Assassins to get his fear toxin. It's derived from their blue plant, right? They invent it. They have a whole backstory. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Would it have been bad, like a bad idea,
right,
if he hadn't have in that fight hit him with the fear toxin, and you could have
hit Bane?
No, hit Batman with the fear toxin. And Batman could have seen Bane like he is in the comics during that fight.
Oh,
and
like
that's
a
an
massive,
easy,
muscly...
real world, in quotation marks, way of having Bane out of the comics. So he's fighting Bane, he won't go down, and then he's like, you know, he tries, doesn't he? He throws the pellets and he's like, we're an initiative and stuff.
I've got the comeback.
He could have just hit him with a fear toxin and sort of like, I'll show you what I fucking look like.
He could have. But you wouldn't have enjoyed the sequence that much. Because in the cinema... No, you wouldn't have, because you would have gone in the cinema, you would have said, that doesn't happen in the comic books.
No, but like because we're dealing with a real world version of Bane, and I was accepting of that.
Yeah,
but to have seen him all juiced up, that would have been amazing.
At that time, you would have enjoyed it, but how they would have CGI'd it. You know, how would they prosthetic effect it? Keeping it,
dude, if they'd have done it the way they did it in the first one, I'd have been totally cool with that.
Keeping it real, he's already broken spirited at that point, isn't he? You know, he cannot fight Bane in that condition.
Victory has defeated you.
I was born of the darkness.
Oh man, I love that sequence. I do. I really like that fight.
Yeah, he gets put down.
He gets to do a monologue in a fist fight. That's fucking super villain as fuck.
Yeah. But then releasing the Scarecrow from the prison, you know, and having him running his own little court.
Why was Blackgate in the middle of the high street?
I do not know. And why do those two groups of people run at each other and nobody seems to get hurt until they clash? And
Batman and Bane. I'm sorry, you're saying when the cops run at the guys with the machine guns, and most of them make it.
Most of them make it. There's just bullets bouncing off the floor.
And why were the cops alive? Why did he keep the cops alive? I know. All right, to give them hope.
They were going to blow up the city.
I will feed you hope,
so that they could scare the world.
I guess.
I mean, they want the
very
world to know that the League of Shadows existed, but the League of Shadows is supposed to hide.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like, they talk about how the League of Assassins has been instrumental in building all of society, like, sacked Rome and Carthage and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Where was Superman in all this?
He was being a little emo bitch, not punching anyone, because this was Brandon Routh Superman at this point.
Oh, yes, he was still away on Krypton doing his thing.
No, he was like too busy hovering outside of Lois's window, all emo as fuck or something, I guess.
Yeah,
like
Kevin Spacey.
Dealing with Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
He had a lot of issues to deal with, man.
Man, I can't believe what Superman Returns.
But yeah, but I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I still love the movie and stuff like that. It's
the
just
trilogy,
like, the trilogy as a whole is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of callbacks and stuff like that, which was really good. Shame that, again, for the third movie in a row, it's about a bomb.
Yes.
And I was like, do you know what? If you're going to do this, and it's going to be about a bomb, and Batman is going to be taking the bomb out over water.
Right.
When they cut him in the cockpit, I'd have forgiven him if Batman would have gone, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. I'd have been fine with that.
And then just hit the ejector button.
Fuck it. Why not?
And his bat parachute just pops open. You know,
he's spraying bat shark repellent all over the shit as he's landing.
That's what they're doing, I think, with the Ben Affleck Batman, and I think that's why I'm enjoying the Ben Affleck Batman.
I like Ben Affleck as Batman.
That's why I don't think Christian Bale would have taken it as fun. Yeah,
and again, he was. There were talks about bringing him back for what would have been the next appearance would have been Batman v Superman.
Yes.
You know, and well, look, I mean, look, I didn't mind it as much as a lot of people did, but at least we didn't get that voice in Batman v Superman. There was a good reason for the voice, the modulator, and he sounded a lot better as Batman, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's a great voice for Batman. I really like that. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, they're going to keep making at one point we'll be talking about a trilogy that beats Nolan's trilogy, I think, eventually.
No.
But I don't think there'll ever be a better grounded version because, like, especially Batman Begins, to be said before, that is earnest as fuck. That is about a cop who wears a cape.
Yeah.
And it's set in the most realistic type world you can get where someone is doing that, I would say. So I don't think there'll ever be a better version. No one will make... I don't think anyone will ask to make that again.
Nobody will ever beat The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight in itself is the best DC movie, in my opinion. And I watch a lot of them. I watch all of them. I enjoy all of them. I own all of them on DVD. You know, Batman is the shit. But when it comes to actually sitting down and watching a proper Batman movie, I go to my front room. I get my... Actually, this is going to sound bad. I get my tissues out. I sit there and I watch The Dark Knight and I weep. I fucking weep because the performance by Heath Ledger is sublime.
It is. If you've not watched it for a while, go watch it because it's just amazing, man.
I'm looking at the time. Do we have time to bring in Hulk Hogan now? We've just fucking gushed all over Batman.
I know. I think we can do this real quick. I mean, the news, and again, you know we're big wrestling fans. The news
quick input,
recently is Hulk Hogan has come back. Sorry, he's not quite come back to wrestling as such.
Hulk Hogan needs money.
No, he does not. No, he does not.
Really?
Not after the Gawker trial with a $125 million payout he got.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, okay. So basically, going back, Hulk Hogan was involved in a sex tape in which it was revealed. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did watch it. I'm a wrestling fan. What can I say? I want to see this man in action. But in which he made some incredibly disgraceful racist comments. Okay, now fast forward.
N-word.
He did drop, and not nerd
either. Or NWO.
Or NWO, indeed. So he and it's not okay. It's not just that he used the N-word. Okay, a lot of people will use it in different contexts. This was actual sort of like hate speech, really.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, that sex tape's released by a media outlet called Gawker. There is a trial. There is a documentary on Netflix about this, which I just hasten everyone to watch. I've forgotten its name. You can Google it. Oh my God, it's one of the most interesting pieces of documentary I've ever watched.
Okay.
So he goes on trial because, like, you know, it was released without his say-so, even though he knew the dude. He was friends with him.
Yeah.
It's his friend's wife.
But the love sponge, wasn't it?
Piece of shit that he is, yeah. So anyway, he wins this court case. He's now got $125 million, so he don't need no money. However, when these racist comments come out, he was excommunicated by the League of Shadows. By the WWE. He was stripped of the Hall of Fame and they were like completely distanced themselves from him. Now, it's been 3 years, which apparently is the time scale for racist comments. I think you're okay after 3 years. That's minimum sentencing.
Yeah.
And so the WWE said that they've reinstated him on the Hall of Fame. He
still
the
part of the
recent
WWE
pay-per-view,
history.
Yeah, he was on the recent pay-per-view Extreme Rules. Everyone on the roster, even if they weren't booked, were summoned to a mandatory meeting backstage, which Hulk Hogan attended, where he... Okay, so I'll explain this, but gave an apology, that's in inverted commas,
Right.
Gave an apology about the incident and that he's learning from it and he's moving forward. Okay, now I'm not going to get involved whether I think it's right or wrong or anything like that, but what's happened is a lot of division from that roster, mostly on Twitter, as is their outlet. So first of all, it was reported that Titus O'Neil, who's a very large black man, sort of like kicked off and left. He's since debunked that. But what's generally come out is the speech was him saying to the guys, be careful, because you never know if someone's got a camera. Which isn't really an apology. No,
but Hulk Hogan...
I see why they would warn them to say, like, you never know when you're being recorded and certain things are said in private.
And he's a celebrity and he's lived his lifestyle in the spotlight of the world. And the problem is, it got a little bit too far. He was trying to recapture his youth. He's always been trying to recapture
he's just never wanted to let it go, has he?
Yeah, he's never been able to really let it go. And he shouldn't, because he's such a legendary figure. But there's ways of going about it. And doing a sex tape. Or being involved in a situation with a woman where somebody records it and sticks up online is problematic. And I see it from WWE's point of view, just like Disney with the James Gunn stuff. It's the public image. You know, half the population of the world probably doesn't even care. The other half will burn you to the ground.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because that whole thing of like them taking him out of the Hall of Fame and that, it's like, look, dude. I mean, one, it's a made-up thing. The Hall of Fame is a made-up thing for the fans. He
was never really abolished from WWE.
Oh no, he was. He was written out of the Hall of Fame. They removed him. He was no longer referred to as a WWE.
What I'm saying is, as a network, as a WWE network subscriber, I could have easily.
Well, you could have gone back and watched WrestleMania 3.
I could easily just watch anything with Hulk Hogan in over the last fucking 20 years.
I just find it funny the way that WWE. I find it funny how WWE pick and choose the reasons for not putting people into Hall of Fames and stuff like that, or like what they will forgive. Man. Well, no, I mean, like you think about China when China passed recently, and everyone's like, she needs to go in the Hall of Fame. It's deserved.
Definitely.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah.
Now Triple H, her ex-boyfriend, comes out and says, well, yeah, we'd like to do that, but I mean, you can Google China and you'll see that she was involved in pornography. Now, Mike Tyson's in the Hall of Fame. Would you like to know what comes up if you Google the life and times of Mike Tyson? Because as good a boxer he was,
that is true.
Also a convicted rapist.
But just imagine how much time it actually takes, you know, for that stuff to abolish. And I'm trying to talk, but we have just been joined by the Gary.
I just got back from work.
I got home early. At the hour mark.
I ran half the way because I wanted to be back for the final part of the podcast.
The guys have been emailing him and messaging him going, dude, they are messing up this episode. You've got to get in there.
Matt, I left you a script and everything. What went wrong?
we got to the theme. We started talking about Batman. We're now going to Hulk Hogan.
You went from Batman to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
we've been on a sex tape for the last 40 minutes now.
Well, basically the Heath Ledger and tissues, if I remember.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I suppose we should bring it to an end and get ready for the Q&A section, Gary.
Oh, we've got a break now.
Yeah, so guys.
Yeah, now you've turned out, we're going to stop recording.
We will see you all in part 3. And welcome back, everybody, to the Q&A section for the podcast.
Always
Gary.
the favourite part of the podcast. And I made it.
Yes, you made it.
Like a champ, you sprinted.
I did. I'm so sorry for everyone for missing the first 2 parts of the podcast. I literally made like an A4 page of stuff that I've watched to talk about in the first part of the podcast. But I've deleted all of that from the notes and I've pushed it into the next podcast that I will be on. So there'll be lots of things to talk about.
Give us one bit. Give us one thing you've been watching. Your favourite thing you've watched.
One of the favourite things I've watched over the last month was A Quiet Place.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, I missed it in the cinema. A lot of people came out of it just going, oh, that was shit. Oh, there was no, you know, what was the point in that?
That was quiet.
And I'm looking at the type of people that they are, and I'm like,
You don't
you
get
saw
it.
the trailer for this and it looked like an action-packed horror movie, and it's not what you got.
No, it's a mental, psychological, fucking
Now,
audio.
it's literally you're following one family.
Yeah.
And it does time jump, so the apocalypse has kind of just happened. This alien spider type creature has literally wiped out the planet. Almost everyone's dead, and it is attracted to noise. So also, when I was in the theatre selling tickets to this film, and people are like, "Oh, can I have some crisps?" Or "I want these crisps," and I'm just like, I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah, right.
That it's called A Quiet Place, and for the first 20 minutes, there is almost no dialogue. Well, there is no dialogue.
Yeah.
There is hushed whispers or sign language, and there's no music except for ambient sound.
Except for you eating your fucking crisps.
The entire theatre is going to hear you eating them, and you will ruin the picture for everyone else.
Man, can you imagine
and naturally, the people of Plymouth went, cheese and onion, please.
Yes, yes. I'll have nachos and some sauce dip. That will quiet the crunching. It's like it's the worst film I've ever come across for general public theatres. It should be an art house thing where it's just like no food and drink whatsoever for this film, because that's the way it's designed. But thankfully enough people did go and see it. It's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
No. When the film finished,
A Quieter Place.
Quieter Place.
It's when the film finished, I wanted more. I was like, you've not seen it. It does enough world building for you to follow this family, and when family members get killed off,
it means something.
It is brutal, because some family members, when it happens, they can't even do anything. They can't even react because they can't vocalize it because the creature's nearby.
Yeah.
And so there was some devastating moments, some phenomenal acting. The creature effect itself, I'm like, some of it looks puppet, but most of the part it's CG.
Oh, nice.
And I wish, hopefully with the sequel, they get some better puppeteering or some better CG for it. You don't see the creature that much because it moves fucking fast.
Yeah.
But obviously there's sequences later where the creature is like right next to them. Obviously it has no eyes, and you get to see it opening up and trying to detect them. And I want to know more.
Emily Blunt, isn't it?
Emily Blunt is phenomenal in it. I've loved Emily Blunt ever since the Tom Cruise movie, the Groundhog Day one that had two names, two film
Mission
titles.
Impossible 2.
No.
Day After Tomorrow.
Days of Thunder. Far and Away.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Top Gun.
Which was one of the names for it. And that's getting a sequel as well. So, yeah. So yeah, Quiet Place was the best thing.
Nice.
Best thing I've seen this month.
Okay, first question is from Matt Midgley.
Hey, Matt.
Fantastic as always, guys. And my question for the next podcast is, if you could build your own town similar to the Western one in Westworld, what would the theme be? Japanese for me.
Japanese theme? Well, they did that in season 2 of Westworld.
I just love samurais. And
What, like Yakuza World?
Or modern day, or
No, historical Japan.
Oh, like feudal Japan.
With
Shogun World.
The only place I'd be able to walk around in those wooden shoes and nobody would bat an eyelid.
True. For me, it would have to be the Romans. I'd have to go to the Roman Colosseum. Go to the Ludus and watch some gladiators.
How many slaves can you fuck, Gary?
Lots. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go to the Roman brothels.
Yeah, don't take a blue light in there.
Gotham City.
Gotham City.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotham
nice.
City, very good.
Just play DC Online for reals.
Yeah.
Basically.
Would you be a superhero or one of the
Oh,
villains?
he'd be
who have
around in
Batman?
hockey pads.
Yeah. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Very good.
I just walk around doing that Bane impression all day.
Okay, next question is from Matthias. Hey, Matthias.
Hey, man.
Yo.
You guys need to review Assault on Precinct 13 already. Also, growing up watching The Witches was great. Good job, Andy.
You're welcome.
Question. I don't think you ever mentioned John Carpenter's Village of the Damned. What are your thoughts on it? Assault on Precinct 13 mini review in Ian's top 5 Carpenter movies.
I wrote that as notes, Ian.
Oh,
Just in case you forgot. That wasn't part of the question.
Wait for it.
Mate, I've been fucking dealing with this for 2 hours.
Wait for pause. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, if it's in brackets, Ian, that's me adding to it. Okay.
If it's a John Carpenter movie, I love it. Village of the Damned, I really enjoyed.
Christopher Reeve, right?
Yeah, I love the original 50s one. I remember watching it like an early age, black and white. The people just fall unconscious in the town, and you see that plane fly over because he's trying to spy on it, and then all of a sudden he's gone and he crashes, and everybody wakes up and you get the really fucked up blonde children. Scared the shit out of me. John Carpenter comes along and does his, and I gotta admit, walking into it, I knew it wasn't going to be as good as a feeling as the original.
Well, I mean, he is. You know, when you think of remakes and reboots, John Carpenter's one of the first to come to mind.
Yeah.
Other than Cronenberg, you know, when you think of remakes and reboots, there's The Fly.
Yeah.
And there's The Thing.
Yeah.
And then you struggle.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Village of the Damned doesn't get that much talk or praise,
but it's still really good. I still really like it because it's still got everything that the original film had, but with John Carpenter's twist and colorized. And those fucking kids are freaky as fuck.
Yes.
I remember because I watched it at an early age as well, and I think it's one of the first times where I've watched the movie. You know, where like they're trying to like read Christopher Reeve's thoughts, and he puts up this literal wall, and you see a wall.
Yes.
And I was like, this is the first time I saw like a kind of visual representation of someone's thought pattern or something like that. Like, you know, that kind of like representation. I really liked that as a kid.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, and Assault on Precinct 13, we will get around to it at some point. And
so we do. It was in your top 5.
It was in my top 5. It is one of my
Yeah, I think it was the one we started with.
It was going to be higher up, and others were going to be on 5th spot, but that whole opening sequence with the little girl was just heartbreaking.
I just love the character. I've forgotten his name now. It's the main.
And Napoleon Wilson.
Napoleon Wilson. Just phenomenal in the entire.
What are you
film.
locked up for? Maybe I'll tell you someday. You got to smoke. Okay, next question's from Grant Smith Bass.
Hey man,
is that bass or bass?
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Grant Smith Bass. Always good chiming into the podcast. Hey, have you guys thought about doing them live? Very popular now to do it live. Gary, you're the technical whiz.
Now I've been looking at doing this for a little while, is going live with the podcasts and just figuring out how we would actually do it. And believe it or not, this podcast that we're recording now, my original intention was that we would have done this one live. But as soon as I knew I was going to be working on this day, it was just like, I'm not going to leave a live recording podcast to Iain.
Can't leave these two idiots to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is on the cards. Now, I will say to everyone, it might not happen also for the next podcast because my work is really busy at the moment, and
there's a lot of good films coming out.
There's a lot of big films coming out for the rest of the summer. We're a little bit behind. A lot of the films that are coming out over here already got released in America. I know America has its summer school break, like before we do. Plus, we had the World Cup, and so literally they just delayed all the film releases over here until that was over and schools broke up.
Yeah,
which is at the time of this recording has just happened. So the next podcast as well, we're going to aim to go live, which means, you know, when we take the break, we'll take a break, we'll cut the podcast and then go live again. We will probably stream the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't really worked out is that obviously those of you that will be watching, we will let you know the time of the recording. But obviously there will be a live chat feed running throughout it. We'll try and interact with those of you that are watching the live recording as we go through, but you know, we're going to go with the flow because we're going to be rookies in this scenario.
It all revolves around how it works for us. I mean, first off, we've got to get the time off. I mean, I'm on holiday from work at the moment as well, but I mean, how do I get on holiday and end up doing more stuff? It's
called having a family.
It boggles the fucking mind. And at the same time, you know, it's like recording live stuff. You know, we've always said it's like when we try to do the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
And like the first fucking 10 minutes was nothing because nothing was working.
Yeah.
But it all worked for the test.
The preview, we were all ready for the preview, and then we hit, and it's like, this isn't working. So, you know, if we can get it working, it'll work. If we don't, you know, we'll just go back to the
only other thing I want to say on it is that our studio is not a recording studio.
No.
So we will have the camera on. It will be at a skewed angle where it's going to get a lot of debris sort of in the background.
If you've seen the Twitch stream, it's Gary's room. It's
going to be my bedroom. That's where that's where we record the podcast at the moment.
Yep.
Literally, we could consider doing it in the living room where we record for the film reviews. But it's a Saturday night that we record, and if we're not doing the podcast, it's game night, and everyone's downstairs.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a shared house.
See now,
it's a shared house.
I mean, could we, crazily thinking, right off the wall, could we have our recording going on, sat down, and then every now and again just get up and watch the guys' game, because the guys want to see our live board games.
No, there's a question for that coming up, and that's we'll get that. Is something completely different?
Next question.
So I just want to say for the live stream, we're aiming to do it. We want to do it very soon, but it's going to look ropey and it's going to look until we.
It's off the shelf reviews.
It's off.
We're so underground.
It ain't gonna look pretty.
We are the ground. What's the bar? You know, we are.
It's that thing James Cameron went down to get, dude.
Yeah. We passed James Cameron like 3 times down here. So, and Josh Whedon. Don't forget Josh Whedon was
down there.
Oh, we've decided he's involved in everything.
He's involved in everything.
Oh, okay.
Josh Whedon is just in everything.
Yeah, he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay, so next question is from the user with no name. Hey, user.
Yo.
Hello.
No name. You know, a lot of us would likely be interested in a live stream on YouTube of you guys playing some board games.
Yes. Okay. So it's literally
That's not a question.
No, but it's something.
I'm just saying.
It's something that has come up a few times, and I haven't had a chance to talk with Iain about this, so I'm just going to throw it at Iain now.
Oh fuck! On live recording.
On live recording,
Okay.
we're going to have this conversation.
Okay.
That is, I'm probably going to can Gaming Fridays pretty soon.
Dun dun dun.
Now, we wanted to have additional content on the channel.
Yes, we do.
Because
Always want additional content.
we were at the point where we were looking at the YouTube algorithm and how to get successful on YouTube. And we're like, we've been doing this for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a solid, loyal fan base, which
Yeah.
is sticking with us.
Thank you very much.
I love the hashtag Proud Shelfer that's going around.
Oh, that's
Fist
awesome,
bumps.
mate.
Yeah.
Fist
bumps.
bumps.
So fist bumps all around, everyone. Absolutely love you guys. But yeah, we tried to grow the channel and try and get bigger, quicker.
Sequential Saturdays as well.
So we're doing sequential Saturdays, anything that we could do to keep more content on the channel, but it's an extra workload on us at the moment doing the Gaming Fridays.
Yes.
And it's sometimes I hate to say it, but it feels like a rush job. And I cannot give it the time I want to rush a video out every Friday, along with the film reviews and the podcast. And there's more things. I've already said there's more things I want to do on the channel.
You are a perfectionist.
I am a perfectionist,
He is a perfectionist.
and we said it in the last podcast where, maybe we do one Gaming Friday a month, but that game we've both played for the last month, we sit down and we talk and review it like we do the films.
Yeah.
And we edit sequences together from the games that we've experienced to highlight the moments we're talking about. And I think that would be a more professional video, a more engaging video, and it wouldn't be a rush job. And we can talk about the game's story and characters and things like that. Plus, from an analytical point of view, the Gaming Fridays, we have some big hit videos when we do, well-known classic games from yesteryear.
Yeah.
But the view count is just going down and down and down on a weekly basis, and I don't know whether it's the games, I don't know whether it's because you're not around Iain all the time to record them.
That could be a point.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm also just feeling a bit. I think I need to let that die or become the next thing.
If I may, now when you first brought the idea of Gaming Fridays to me, I said at that time that I would concentrate mainly on helping with the film reviews. That was the goal for Off the Shelf reviews, because of time for myself as well.
Yeah.
And then with watching you try to balance in the Gaming Fridays, I always just wanted you to be playing games. You see so many Let's Plays on YouTube, and you got all these Twitchers and live streamers who just play games daily, and people subscribe and pay money, and it's like, that's where we want to, that's what we would like to be doing. But balancing that with everything else in our lives is impossible.
Yeah,
I would say, unless somebody came up to me tomorrow and just went, "Here's $1 million, just start," I'd be like, okay. But I'd have to think. I got to think responsibly with everything else. And bringing Gaming Fridays to an end is harsh, but it's the same with the sequential Saturdays. I miss the sequential Saturdays.
Yeah.
I miss playing as a character in a game and making up a story that's not even connected to it. I loved trying to play the fucking game with Gary in my ear talking to me about the newest TV show he's been watching. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, and then when I die because I'm distracted by something he said, he gave me shit. And I'm just like, I've got to try and do all this in half an hour as well. I've got to try and make it entertaining so that the people come back and go, that was really fun. You got to. I always miss the end of Shell Shock. Now I'm 67.
Yeah,
really
the game kept crashing on us, didn't it? Yeah.
Fucked me over.
I think Gaming Friday will give us even more time to do film commentaries, more time to organise live streams, or more time to do once a month full-blown reviews of a game.
For the time being, we're going to cut back on Fridays, I think.
Yeah.
You might not see any go up for a while, and then all of a sudden there might just be an extra little bit there. But on top of that, we will use that. There's a few
requested ones that I want to talk about. Clive Barker's Undying.
Dark Sector. We've also, but we could also use that time to get up previous blocked reviews.
Yes,
that have come down again. I mean,
Jurassic Park's just come down
Jurassic
again.
Park just came
Universal's on the
down,
case.
and I think I saw another one for.
We lost
Bound.
American
I think
Psycho.
Bound
We
went
lost
down.
Bound. We lost Predators.
And I'm going to check this one.
Jesus,
I'm going to
man.
check this one out here as well. When we did Fist of Fury, everybody was asking us to do The Crow. We did do The Crow.
Yeah,
And
I haven't had
within
time
the
to
first
get it
year.
back.
Have we still got it? I thought we lost it.
I haven't had a chance to even go look for it yet.
I
to
think
see
we
if we've
lost it.
I think we might have lost it, but I'm going to look.
We may
Because
have lost it in
my
many
fingers
years.
are crossed and I'm touching wood. I think.
Well, get your hand away from there, Gary. Jesus.
Yeah,
it is hard.
Do you want to take it?
Because I think I know where it is, and I will over the next couple of weeks try and save the Crow and get it back up as well.
And then we could probably play Crow City of Angels for
Oh dear.
Game
Why? Because you fucking hate your viewers.
To bring it all the way back to the user with no names question.
Yes.
I don't know whether we would stream the board games, but I also would love to do reviews of us playing the board games as well. Again, taking away the Gaming Friday, one Friday, it might be a what
We'd have to play the game. We'd have to play the board game.
It would
and
be
then after
recorded
give a
and
review.
edited.
I think you'd be better off editing it in because watching an entire board game be played.
It's some of our board games take 4 hours.
Yeah.
I would like to edit that down into highlights of an hour.
Yeah.
Really.
If you're ideally going to watch a board game as well, like say if we were like loads of us playing Spartacus or something, you'd want a multi-camera setup where you could. I mean, I'm not being funny.
Yes.
It would be interesting to watch if you could see the players' hands and things like that. It's like you think about just watching poker on TV, you can see their cards.
There
and
would
stuff,
be one person would not be playing and would be going around the table with the camera, handycam style, and then we want a camera overshot the table,
See
looking
what's
down
being
at
played
everything.
on top.
We've thought about this. I mean, we need to make it interactive with the audience.
We would be recording it in the kitchen where we play all of our games, and it's an everyday looking kitchen. There are dirty dishes everywhere. There's Jez's laundry that hasn't been done for 2 weeks.
He's like, I'm not cleaning this house for this podcast.
It's lived in. There's like 5 people that live in this house, and there's visitors every day, and that's the backdrop. And I'm like, part of me's like professionalism or everyday looking, or do I buy screens to put around it?
See, I go with the everyday vision, and then after a while just build up to the professional stuff. But he is a perfectionist. You don't know what it's like to work for this guy. I mean, my back welts still don't heal. Yo, edit!
You not finished that edit?
Review!
You've had 3 weeks on this 20-minute video.
Next question from Travelling Shoes Q.
Hey man, it's Travelling Shoes. The Q is the question.
Hey, Travelling Shoes.
Yeah, where did you learn to read?
Same school you? No, different school. I was not surprised recently when I watched a video by the movie reviewer Chris Stuckman, where he was shamelessly trying to flog his audience his sponsors' shaving products. What are your feelings on reviewers becoming advertisement platforms and or puppets for larger media corporations, i.e. Collider and Disney?
Well, we're already partly selling out by the fact that we have ads at the beginning and end of our video, or small pop-ups that are all skippable. I will never, ever put an unskippable ad on any of our video content ever.
We guarantee
because I fucking hate that when I come across it myself.
Yeah.
And when I have a video that forces me to play an ad, I will shut the video down and won't watch it out of principle, just no matter who it is. But what he's talking about is that paid sponsorship where they have an ad at the beginning and then halfway through their video they try and sell you shaving cream or audible.com or whatever.
And I was gonna rip this right at the start of Off the Shelf Reviews. We were told when we started doing the show that we needed something to get the audience's attention right at the start.
Right.
There's all loud noises and musical intros and all this crazy shit that hooks you, and you go, oh, I'm gonna watch this now for the next 45 minutes or whatever. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. Did I want to act a character like a lot of people do? Nostalgia critic, angry video game nerd. I mean, Angry Joe, I think, is just a fake name anyway.
Yeah, he probably wasn't christened that.
Last name Joe, first name Angry. But I didn't, but I still wanted to give a persona across, and that's why I just ended up just winging it every time. I literally wing it every time with you guys. I'm just myself. So when I say shit, I fucking say shit. But
he actually tones it down. If you anyone who's ever like he's a bit crass, it's like, oh dude, you have no idea.
Yeah, if you really spent a lot of time with me, you'd probably want to
catch Iain about the 18th hour of the live stream of 24 hours, and you'll see Iain.
Yeah. But
I hate you like I hate fucking Hellraiser Judgment.
fucking hate Hellraiser Judgment and Dead Rising.
I know, anyway, I keep getting your fucking angry text messages.
I had this idea for an advert, for our own advert to go up at the beginning of each review. And it would be, for budget purposes, I was just thinking like myself and Gary. So I'd be sat there at the table, just doing nothing, looking miserable. Gary would come in and be like, hey man, what's up? And I would give him this really simple task that I just couldn't accomplish. And he would say, have you tried this? And that would sponsor Off the Shelf Reviews episode that day. So like he would come and sit next to me and be like, hey man, what's up? I'd be like, my feet are cold. And he looks down and I've got no shoes or socks on. And he goes, have you tried socks? And I'd be like, thanks man, socks. Sponsors Off the Shelf Reviews. You know, or like...
Why don't you do that?
We just start parodying all these other YouTubers that have sponsors.
He'd come into a room and be like, what? Hey man, what's up? And I'd be like,
you'd be like, I can't open this milk. And Gary's like, have you tried not being a retard? And it's like common sense. Sponsors Off the Shelf Reviews.
Yes, yeah. See, I looked at that and just went, Ian, that is absolutely stupid. Like, that is like, who are we entertaining? Monkeys? Like, who finds this funny? And like, I kind of find it funny.
I'm sat here laughing. So
yeah,
this fucking monkey.
The idea was just endless. Every single thing,
like,
you know.
But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, but is that off the shelf? Like, we're so kind of.
But it was the play on the joke of the advertisement that people have to do to get to continue doing this kind of stuff, and at the same time, it was that hook.
Yeah.
You know, we ended up.
We have the hook of
we ended up not
introducing yourself properly every time.
And I needed another hook. I wanted another hook for the show, something that got the audience going, what the fuck are we watching?
Right.
You know, and I thought if anybody's going to do it, it might as well be me.
Yeah.
So that's why Iain just became anything I thought of. I change it every week. And it's a lot harder than you think. You know, I have
to occasionally.
I've used I'm Batman 7 times now.
Yeah, that's it. I'll think of one like the day before and write it down, and then I'll get here and be talking to Gary, and then just immediately change my mind and have something else. And
I'll sometimes have some to throw at you, but mostly you try and catch me off guard with your intros.
The best one.
Like the Anchorman's like, and Tits McGee.
Twice you've made me corpse in the middle of the intro, where I'm just like, what the fuck did you just say?
The Fist of Fury one was a good one, because he threw me off. Because I said I would take on Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and win. And he went, I call bullshit. And I was just like, what?
Because I've never ever said anything other than I'm Gary.
But you know, we need those hooks, and you partially, in a way, it's sickening to think, you partially do need to sell out to certain franchises, but I will always stick with the basis of I am me. So if somebody comes to me and says, here, can you talk about this? I'll go for money. I'll be okay, but I'm going to be fucking honest.
But the thing is, with those setups, they are contracts, and they will so often or not give you the material and the script, and you are not deviating from that script.
Then I won't. But then I won't sign it because I didn't write that script.
You do what they want. Then.
If they came to me and said, "Can you review the next Hellraiser movie? We'll pay you $5,000 for it." I'll be like,
"Have you seen my last review?"
I'll be like, "Have you seen it?" Yes, but we think you'll really be changed by this. Okay, but I'm going to be fully honest about this, and you cannot come back on me.
It's okay, they will never give us another Hellraiser to review, paid for again.
Man, it'll work with Disney.
I mean,
Disney I love Disney. You know, when I go to Disneyland, that's it. You know,
really, the last film.
You're like, I fucking hate James Gunn too. Like,
no.
Yeah, it's quite funny though.
Oh my God, have you seen his tweet?
Okay.
You know what? No, but I would say, do you know, actually, just to back up what you were saying about, like, it's fair enough. I understand what, like, you know, listeners say, and you know, people saying, look, I want, because I'm the same as you. It's like, I love watching your reviews, but I hate when I have to skip through, you know, advert or not able to skip through adverts. You know, but okay, it's like, if you've said it a million times before, if you want this to be a full-time gig, there is this thing called Patreon.
Yes.
That you can donate on.
Yes.
Yeah.
is, and I bring it up quite a lot for you guys because I'm like I want to see this grow, and everything. But it's like Patreon is there for the artists. It's giving the artists the money directly, and you're skipping out all of the advertising.
Yes.
I'm just going to, now that you've mentioned, and I just want to say again, a big thank you to all of the Patrons.
All of the Patrons.
Some of our Patrons have been with us for years.
Yes, thank you all.
And have donated hundreds and hundreds of dollars towards us, which is massive.
It's financing everything we do.
It's for all the equipment that we're using. It's keeping us going.
Yes.
And I woke up this morning to an email of a new patron that's just signed up, and the film request that they have given blew my mind. So happy.
Oh, should we even mention it? Should we announce it? It's up to you guys. Your call, man.
I'm going to say it. Now, this is a film that we've wanted to do for quite a while, and Blade Runner is now on the shortlist.
Oh, shit.
Which means at the moment the shortlist is a fairly long list. Our Patreon requested is the only list we're working on for a while.
Yes,
which means
it is our bread and butter.
Blade Runner request will probably be going up around Christmas time.
Oh, it'll definitely be going up this year.
It will definitely be going up this year, but I'm just so glad it's made the cut. We're going to get to it soon.
Oh,
that's awesome.
I was waiting
there you go.
for
That's
Blade
great.
Runner.
That's a source of revenue that you get that stops you from having
finally,
to have
after what,
adverts.
15, 20 years, get to slap you in the face.
No,
Yes.
we just get to have a throwdown.
No, because there's a sequel.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the sequel. We're not talking about the sequel.
He's getting emotional already.
Can't wind me up.
Okay, next question is from DMC Campbell.
What up,
Hey,
DMC?
Hey guys, 3 questions for you both. Wow. Was there ever one big purchase solely for yourself or group of purchases that has either maxed out your credit card entirely for the month or come close to it?
I'm going to answer this one now.
Okay.
Just while it's in my head now. Back when the Xbox 360 came out,
there
was a little known title coming out called Skyrim.
Oh.
And not Skyrim,
Oblivion.
And Oblivion was going to be in HD.
Yeah.
And I had a tube television.
Oh,
and
the
so
TV.
I remember
I
this.
went into town and I was like, I want that LCD TV, 30, 31, 32-inch TV.
Yeah.
£2,500. And I was like...
They give them away now.
I know! And I was like, I don't have that sort of money, but I'm going to go get a loan right now.
Yeah.
And I went up to the bank, and I got my loan, and they were like, great, you'll make these payments monthly for your TV. I was like, great. And it turned out that I spent nearly £4,000 on that TV.
When you told me the rate of interest on that, I was like, I
knew.
I was working in finance at the time. I was like, me and you need to have a chat.
It's a bank that no longer exists, and thankfully I did get £800 back from that bank after lots of shit happened. PPI and shit like that. They fucked me over.
Yeah.
Essentially, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I want my TV and I want to play Oblivion in HD, fuckers. And
they saw you coming.
But the thing is, the day after I paid off that TV, the fucking TV broke.
Oh, man.
It broke. The monitor just melted and just died. And I was just like, and then I went and bought a plasma TV for like 400 quid. Twice the size. It was just like, time has changed. So that was my one stupid purchasing decision. And
now you're a bit more cautious.
And now and every time anyone says I'm going to get something on credit, I just tell them that story. So yeah, that's my...
I don't think I've ever maxed out a credit card on a big purchase like that, but it's probably my biggest purchase other than like buying a house or whatever was like I did spend a lot of money on going to get married in Hawaii.
Yeah, I was going to say that was your big one.
That was
probably the biggest one for you recently.
Stupid thing. Well, it was like 6 years ago and stuff, but it was like, the wife's like, I want to get married in Hawaii. I'm like, yeah, that's totally doable. So I researched and I was like, there's little less doable about this, but all right, let's do it anyway. And made it happen. Paid it off eventually. Yeah, it was pretty badass. Yeah.
See, now this is going to make some people at home laugh. I'm actually the more responsible out of the 3 of us with our money. Totally.
Because Linda doesn't let you near it.
Oh, I've never had really money.
Oh, you've never had like a credit card either, though, have you?
No, I have a credit card now. But when you got a credit card when you were 21, I said I wanted to go get a credit card, and you told me no.
Yeah, because I knew you.
Yeah, so I didn't.
We'd met.
And then I met other people, and I mentioned about getting a credit card because everybody seemed to have credit cards, and every person I met, even if they were complete strangers, were like, "No, you shouldn't get a credit card." And I'm like, what? What is it about me? They're just like, no.
You're
seriously.
a fucking magpie, dude. You're like, oh, that's shiny.
See now, I used to be, and because I never had money when I was growing up. You know, my mum was always telling me, you're just buying the name. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird that now that I'm older, that's all I think of when I look at stuff, that I'm like, okay, that's 80, 90 quid there, but what am I actually paying for? You know, knowing the ins and outs of how things work and how it's made and where it comes from and all that kind of shit. Am I really doing it justice, spending that amount of money on that? Or could I save the money for something else? And I always now save the money for something else.
Nice.
You know, it's like when I get paid, half of it just goes to the wife.
Well, I know you. I was going to say, I know how well you treat your wife and how well you spoil your son.
It's just easier
and
that way.
How much you plan for their holidays. More than your own.
Yeah.
So you are very selfless when it comes to money in. So yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, dude.
That is it. That's the whole time. When I turn to Linda and I'm just like, I'm going over to Gary's to record, and she kind of just looks at me like, that's 8 hours at least. He's going to be probably just kicking back, playing video games and watching films, and I'm like, yeah, but the people on YouTube love it. You gotta let me go. So I gotta do my thing, and then I put because she's my goddess. I put her feet up, and I get the boy all settled and get him down, and then I come over and record this, and then head back and edit. And then when people are just like, why haven't you watched this newest TV show? I'm like, fuck you. I wish I could sit down all day and just watch stuff, but if I don't do stuff, the rest of you don't exist.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot I'm a god.
Yeah.
People forget that so easily.
So the second point.
The second question from DMC is: if you could become a horror icon, but instead of killing innocent people, you would dispose of scum of the earth type people instead, murderers, drug dealers, etc. Which one would you choose and why? Saw. Done.
Well,
he kind of disposes of.
He's the
murderers.
So you'd just be the new Jigsaw.
He is the best horror icon ever.
Ever? He's not the best icon ever.
Yes.
No.
Because all the people he kills are not innocent people. You can kill as many fucking teens that you like and cheer for Jason, but when Jigsaw drops that
I'm
guy
gonna say,
in a
Dracula's
vat,
a bigger horror icon than Saw.
Easily.
Oh, you just want that so you can make out with the three wives.
Right.
Three witches.
And?
Your argument is invalid.
Does Jigsaw? Well, he's got pig people.
I mean, his wife was pretty hot though.
Yeah.
And she was kind of into the Jigsaw shit. She did that shit at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And you make such good friends in there. Hoffman, was it Samantha? Fucking Carrie Hughes. Oh, Carrie Hughes is the best friend ever. I'd love to have Carrie Hughes as a best friend.
I don't know. I was thinking more about subvert. I mean, if you could, it says you become a horror icon. So you become them. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it does say which one would you choose. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming he's talking about existing horror icons.
Yeah.
But
Like, would you? I'd take the mantle of Pinhead. A very short Pinhead.
I was thinking of something. Go through the list.
I'm gonna make all the other Cenobites have to stand a good 10 feet behind me to make it.
Give me Leprechaun or some shit.
No, it's all right because you just spend the next movie sat down.
Yeah. Easy job, that one.
You definitely could pull off the Creeper with that beard.
Creeper doesn't have a fucking beard.
No, but you just have that face.
Oh no, dude. Fuck you, man. It took me a second then. You just have that face. I don't know. Firefly family looks like a bit of fun, doesn't it?
Man, you're no baby.
No.
Probably
any time I get to spend time around Sherry Moon Zombie is like an utter win. So
you go off killing other serial killers.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Was it Callahan who played her in the second movie? Fucking from Police
Played her
Academy?
mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, I like Callahan.
Yeah, she was a fucking state in that movie though. She was she was rough.
Tutti fucking fruity.
Yeah,
that's what you call that.
Fucking fruity.
Yeah. So I'd be Jigsaw, Gary would be Leprechaun, and Andy would be Jeepers Creepers. Finally.
Fuck it, why not? Okay, yeah, because then in the third one I could kill the fucking director.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Finally, have you seen the 2016 movie? Horror movie Terrifier.
Oh,
a nod to the Grindhouse era
really?
films and a murderous clown called Art.
Do you know what this is?
I think I might have wikied it.
Well,
is it about a clown who it's based on a short film of a clown?
Were you about to say, is it about a clown called Art who terrorises people?
No,
the clue was in the question.
Gary's done a spit his coke. He's going. I couldn't remember if he was staying in the house.
Okay, no, alright, so I believe the original movie that he's in is All Hallows Eve. And,
That's a short story from an anthology, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's an anthology movie, yeah, but he plays the character that threads throughout the 3 stories. So essentially, All Hallows Eve is kids have got trick-or-treating, they come home to the babysitter, as they're going through their fucking candy and shit, they pull out this videotape, put the videotape in, that's where they play the anthology things from.
Nice.
But eventually this fucking guy, Art the Clown, who you keep seeing in the background, all these things, turns up, kills the fucking kids. He is the creepiest looking fucking clown you've ever seen.
Nice.
Now, I've not seen Terrifier, which is obviously his breakout movie, but if you watch the fucking trailer, dude, it's visceral looking.
Yeah, like I
so
said,
it's on my watch list. I've just I recently saw it in HMV actually, and I was going to buy it. I just didn't know how to buy it. I was on my lunch break. I was in there mooching around like I always do and stuff. But it is on my watch list because I'm going to say it. He is terrifying.
From, American Horror Story.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was great.
Just white face, fucking black nose, and like just motherfucker looks evil.
I think I saw the trailer. Then I, like I said, I wikied it, realised it was from an anthology, and they just built up the character around him. Yeah. And it seemed like a cheap art house kind of horror movie based on this character.
Especially after It was so successful last year. Yeah, last year. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely on my watch list, man, because it's he's the guy portraying him as well is fantastic. His like movements and everything, that's so creepy. Okay. But if you get a chance, All Hallows Eve's not a bad little horror anthology.
Yeah, got to do all the horror anthologies that we can. But we've got stuff set up for Halloween, so.
Yeah.
Hush. Okay, next question is from Mike Grossi. Hey, Mike.
Yo.
How'd you guys meet?
Well,
There's always one.
Oh, but you did this
earlier. We've answered this one several times.
And we have answered this one several times.
We have, but
you did this
there's always
earlier.
new people joining, so...
Gary, well, weirdly enough, the 3 of us, I was out with Andy, the Night Down Key Club, where I was introduced to Gary, who was sat at a window mooching over some girl because he was drunk as fuck. And I sat down... Yeah, standard. And I sat down, said hi, and we just started talking about films. And Andy went off, getting off with like loads of chicks.
You're welcome.
Because he was a slut. And Gary and I spent most of the night just talking about
superstars. I believe is the word you want to use. Well, me and you have known each other since we were literally kids. We went to the same primary school and stuff like that.
First job, paper rounds.
Same. Went to the same secondary school as well. So we already knew, which is why we were at the same club and stuff. And obviously we mentioned earlier about you meeting me in Games Workshop and coming out, and so we all literally kind of got together through there. But then we all, I think we've said it a bunch of times, haven't we? We all ended up moving into a shared house together.
Yes,
we were like
10
in early
months.
20s. Yeah, ripped that fucking house to pieces.
Man, 10 of the best months ever.
Like we only, I mean, it sounds like we all like had a falling out. No, we were told we had to move out of that place.
We were evicted.
Oh man, it was bad. Hey, we always paid our rent, but they had a few problems with the fucking devastation that was wrought upon that house, which was dubbed like the party house or whatever.
Man, it's a shame we didn't talk about the young ones, because it was basically like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I wanted to wait until all 3 of us together, because that was my first one. I was sort of like, you've seen the young ones? That
was it. Basically. Gary was Rick,
including the structural damage.
Andy was Neil. I was Vivian.
Fuck you, I was Neil.
I was Neil.
Yeah.
You haven't got the hair for it.
I did.
I was fucking. I was cool guy Mike.
Yeah. Man,
Does that make Steenie Alexis Sale?
Maybe, yeah. Oh fuck, nailed it. Yeah, there were 5 of us.
Sorry for a reference nobody knows.
Yeah. Next question is from Lewis Chenery. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis.
Yo.
Thoughts on the announced Neil Blomkamp RoboCop sequel?
Now, I added this question in there because it was in the news and I knew I'd missed the chance, and I was like, oh my god!
Well, we did this, so you go for it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this because mainly it's a sequel to all of the existing RoboCop movies, ignoring the reboot, and that just made me go, the reboot was fucking awful.
It was alright.
The reboot was awful.
This is funny because I've not seen it. So I did say earlier, I was like, I get the feeling that Gary might have other thoughts on this.
Did you see the Total Recall reboot?
That's not bad.
Oh my god, Ian, I'm going to ignore you for a minute.
It ain't fucking good.
Because I just literally have reviewed a couple of reboots with you, and you've been slagging off reboots left, right, and centre, like they should never ever remake it.
Oh man, some of those reboots are fucking shit. But Colin Farrell in Total Recall, I had to watch it. There was nothing else on. It was not bad.
Even you just saying it makes me vomit a little bit.
I literally don't even want to live in this planet anymore.
RoboCop, as I said, was better than RoboCop 3. Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I will still. If given the choice, give me the choice. I'll pick RoboCop 3 over the reboot. I don't ever. I disacknowledge the reboot existed.
Fuck you.
So we wrote a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We said that basically what you should do is have RoboCop team up with RoboCop 2.
Kane. No,
because like think
Kane
about it.
turns
Like,
out to be the supercomputer, doesn't he?
yeah. So basically, we were saying like the bad guy always ends up being the good guy, right? Think the T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
think Spike in Buffy.
Yeah,
the bad guy
okay,
always
yeah.
ends up being the good guy eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
they stick
we
around
run out
too
of
long.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we decided is like Kane would be like the big mother computer, like in Tron.
Right, okay, yeah.
And RoboCop uses an army of Ed 209s to save the day.
Yeah.
Against
All controlled
against
by
an army
Kane.
of chappies.
That's not a bad. That's a better idea.
That's good.
We just said bring in all the Japanese robots
because
from
it's
3.
going to be more modern, so you can only imagine Detroit is in the worst state possible.
Yeah.
RoboCop may have been
We said Johannesburg.
taken out by the outlaws, the
Delta
crime
City.
syndicate take him down.
It's
To the
Delta
point where
City.
they're just like, let's try and resurrect RoboCop. Let's get him back out there and give him some upgrades and give him an army of chappies. But why I like I like coming one of the best soundtracks ever. But yeah, they've said it's the film is going to be a commentary on modern times. It's going to have that political slant to it. It's going to have a dark sense of humor, but it's also going to explore that sense of identity.
Yeah.
About who he is, remembering who he is, battle of the ghost in the machine, the man in the machine type thing.
Yeah, finding his
I said
identity.
RoboCop holds up today the same way that They Live holds up in that political climate.
Absolutely. It's like it's still relevant today.
Yeah.
Now, I was excited for RoboCop back along before the reboot came out with the director that was attached to it then. His name slipped my mind for a moment. It's the guy who directed Pi, Requiem for a Dream, Fountain, Mother, Noah's Ark. Aronofsky, that's the one, yeah. Completely forgot his name.
It's like one of your favourite.
I know it is. I know, but his
For a
name-
minute, I thought, have I gone mental? Is he ribbing me or something?
No, I can remember every single film he's done in the order that they came out. I just couldn't remember his name. But he was attached to the RoboCop sequel at one point. And I was like, I love Aronofsky's...
Aronofsky is attached to every movie at some point, I think.
His exploration of character in film is mind-blowing. And I was so excited to hear him doing RoboCop, but obviously he moved on to other projects. But yeah, now that we're not getting Blomkamp's Aliens, we're getting his fucking RoboCop.
Yeah, I was saying about his own studio work. They just bought him up.
Yes, and so I'm super excited for that. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an 18-rated film. It's got to be.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
And it's the same time that we're getting the reboot Terminator, which is the new Terminator 3 movie
With
coming
Linda
out soon. So
Hamilton.
it's just going to be great to have RoboCop and fucking Terminator in the cinemas.
If they hook that shit together, I said if they, at the end it hooks into the new Terminator movies.
Just to let you know, the writer of this RoboCop film is the writer for the new Terminator film. So there you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Right, next question from Callum Sires.
Hey man.
Yo.
Hey Callum, it's the anniversary of George A. Romero's death at the time of this message being written. What are your favourite moments in all of his filmography? Oh, man, I love Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, Dawn. Okay, what has the best moment between Dawn and Day of the Dead? What's a better moment in Dawn over Day?
I know for you, it's in Day. It's roads being ripped apart.
Roads being ripped apart, but I also love. Is it Styles? Rhodes? No. The guy who shoots himself in the head.
Oh, the little fucking.
The guy who goes, "Bang! You're dead." He's told to shoot him.
Yeah.
I also love all of the Frankenstein scenes.
Yes.
Where he's trying to reason with Rhodes, who's going crazy. Like, we're just gonna go out there and shoot them all. And he's like, where will you go? Where are you gonna get all this ammo from?
Yeah.
There's some great moments. Dawn of the Dead. There's moments that you remember, like the helicopter zombie kill. The guy in the apartment block getting his head blown off.
See, no,
Roger getting bitten for the first time.
For me, it's the fact that the first time I saw Dawn, it was probably my first major introduction into zombie themselves.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And it's like a breathtaking horror movie to watch at such a young age. I shouldn't have been watching it, but my mum was like, "Sit down and watch this." She had to go and do something, and the whole situation of being locked in a supermarket was a kid's dream,
right?
You just wanted to be
giant playground.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be a giant playground, but as you're
eat all the sweets, undress the mannequins.
You're just getting locked in there.
Dress the mannequins.
The weird thing is, I could survive it.
Non-branded clothes, like you're paying for the label.
See, everyone else is struggling with a loss of humanity, that there's no one left around, all this material stuff's just laying around, and Ian's having a field time.
I've been having a field day because I've never had this stuff before, so fuck it. You know? But at the same time, you'd have to deal with the threat. And it immediately just started giving me the ideas of zombie survival, you know, and how you deal with this kind of threat. Day of the Dead was really, really good. But just being locked on the ground...
It's taken a while for that film, for me, to really grow to love it.
It just felt like even more than Dawn. Rehash of Dawn.
No. It wasn't a rehash at all.
For me, it kind of was, because it was just a group of survivors locked in one location.
It felt like a smaller scope.
But then when I continued back and watched Night a lot more, to lead into Dawn, I realised that Dawn was just a rehash of kind of Night, just on a larger scale. And... it just grew me. I realised then, you know what, all three of them are just beautiful films.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and just show you the degradation of human society behind their own prison created by an army of unrelenting, undead fucking flesh-eating monsters. But doesn't it just make good shit?
Well, the fact that the zombie genre is still around because of George A. Romero. I mean, he's the one who changed what zombies were in film, because before Night of the Living Dead, zombies were just voodoo slaves.
Yeah.
And nothing more. They weren't even that terrifying.
They weren't even a threat. I was just about to say that. Yeah.
No.
But when he turned them into a threat,
it's like what if it happens on a mass scale?
Yeah.
You know, like that's
it was that, you know, that no one had even possibly conceived of the idea.
Yeah.
And then seeing it like that and portrayed the way it was just changed horror cinema.
Well, this was like the favourite moment is just the fact that he brought it into the mainstream, I guess, really. It's sort of like to give us an entire genre film.
It's good to know that when the film did come out, there was no age certificate on it either, so people of all ages went to the theatre to see Night of the Living Dead.
Crazy, yeah.
And so that's how it impacted such a wide audience as well.
Shocking people with Night when, you know, what's his name? I want to say Tony Todd's character because I don't.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember what.
Candyman.
Yeah, he's the last character and he gets shot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just for that time, social commentary
as well.
Kind of fucking just exploded and was like,
we're having a black lead at the time.
Yes.
Was that, and then obviously having him shot by the rednecks that are mopping up all of the zombies, mistaking him for a zombie. Or...
oh my god, it's coming right for us!
right. Yeah. So I mean, groundbreaking.
We have not done a George A.
No,
movie.
we did sort of mini reviews when we did way back the top 10 zombie films.
Yes, but we have not. We've always said that if we were going to do one of them, we should do all three of them, and then realise that we would have to go into the whole series of them
and do Land, Diary, and
Survival. Oh my god. Okay, if that's a memory of George A. Romero, I will remember he made Survival of the Dead.
Yeah. It's not a good film. Or then again, I will give it a second chance, a second viewing at one point when we do eventually get to reviewing it.
We will do it.
We will do the whole series at some point. It's just not on the cards just yet.
It will have nothing to the dawn or the day. So, okay, next question is from Craig Hall. Hey Craig.
What's up, Craig?
Your buddy Craig.
That's my best friend, eh?
He's your best friend.
Yeah.
Are there any prematurely ejaculated cancelled TV
What?
shows? Oh no, sorry. Prematurely cancelled.
Fuck me, in my head I said it as well, and you said it out loud. That was amazing.
Prematurely cancelled TV shows you'd like to see receiving a future-length movie miniseries to tie up any loose ends, a la Firefly, Farscape, Deadwood, etc. Keep up the excellent work, chaps. I always look forward to your reviews podcast. You're right there.
Pause or something, you broke me.
Okay, we gotta keep going.
To answer an earlier question, this is why we don't do this live. Sorry.
Cancelled TV shows. Reaper,
yeah, good.
Oh, mate, that's exactly what I was going to say was Reaper, man. I fucking Sock is like my fucking spirit animal.
Yes.
I love him.
It was just a great TV show.
If I had to pick between Firefly or Angel or Carnival.
Ooh, Carnival.
Yeah, I hated that Carnival got canned after the second season, but the thankfully after Carnival got canned after its second season, Ron went on to do the reboot Battlestar Galactica after that. So, trying to think of sci-fi. Space Above and Beyond.
Ooh,
you know, it was
yeah.
cancelled
Good
after
one.
one
A
season.
remake of Space Above and Beyond.
I
That'd be
would
good.
I would bring that back for a film or a continued series. Yeah, Buffy the Angel verse, which is getting rebooted now. Firefly, of course. I mean, it had its film. I would love a Serenity 2. Really would.
I couldn't sit for not Wash not being there.
Yeah, it would be sad without him.
It
But
would be totally sad, heartbreaking. I couldn't.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man, I love Reaper so much. I did fall in love with Shock, and obviously went on doing Tucker and Dale, Tyler
Yeah.
Bean, didn't
Yes.
he? There's this new movie that's just dropped called Broken Star,
Okay.
where he's like dropped a shit ton of weight, and he for a minute when I saw the poster, I thought it was Alistair Black from NXT.
Yeah, he kind of. Yeah,
I'm showing the guys the poster at the minute. It's like
he looks like thingy from Sons of Anarchy.
yeah, he looks like
so it's the broken star.
You know this
Oh
character.
god, I know, like Opie, because Donna always says I look like him.
Yes, OP.
Yeah, he looks. It does for a minute. I thought it was the dude who played Opie, but yeah, he's
Fame
lost
is
a
to
lot of
die
weight.
for. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. So overall, we'd like Reaper to come back. We don't care about what Gary said.
What? What's sci-fi?
Next question is from Mike Collins.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Saw the question doing the rounds online. You can replace the cast of any movie with Muppets. Which would you choose, and which characters would you leave played by the original actors?
Fantastic question.
Basic Instinct.
But who would you
Muppets.
keep live actor, and everyone else is Muppets?
All Muppets.
No, you have
No,
to
you have
keep.
to keep-
You have to keep one person as a human.
So it'll be Sharon Stone then. I
Keep
guess.
Sharon Stone, and
Sharon
everyone else is a
Stone.
Muppet.
Yeah.
Any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, but keep Robert Englund, so he's just cutting up Muppets and just
Oh, wow.
like stuffing's
That's a good
going
one.
everywhere or something.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
know.
would do Jaws.
With the shark as a Muppet.
No, the shark is real, but the three of them on the boat are Muppets.
I didn't know. A tiny shark.
Oh my
Muppet.
god! Just hearing the Indianapolis speaks coming out of a Muppet.
How about?
Hey man, got in the water.
How
Sharks take
about
a rest.
Shawshank Redemption, where only Tim Robbins is the human and all the rest of the
Oh,
Muppets.
that's amazing. Oh, so you can do the same with The Shining.
Shining, yeah. It's only Jack Nicholson and all the rest of Muppets.
Aliens. And all the xenomorphs are Muppets.
No, just Ripley and all the Marines are Muppets.
Just getting torn
No,
up.
no, no, no.
No, I would find it funnier
You
to
extend
Muppet
the
aliens.
to see in Aliens when they look up into the vent. It's like they're coming, and it's a bunch of Muppet aliens.
bunch of
coming out, and they're
Muppet
like,
aliens.
Let's in the room with us, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know the
that'd
little
be
face
amazing.
huggers? You just go back around and it's just like, oh my god.
It's so cute. Furry.
What if you did it the other way, where you just replaced one character with a Muppet? Like if you did, I'm gonna redo Empire, but it was Vader as a Muppet. But everyone
Oh,
else.
see, I'm thinking any action film with like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. and
Fist of Fury, where Bruce Lee is a Muppet.
Bruce Lee is a Muppet.
That scene in the dojo.
Oh,
Predator.
Instant Oscar.
Dutch is a Muppet.
Oh my god!
Rambo.
This huge
Muppet Rambo.
stacked
Yeah.
Muppet, like overstuffed Muppet. Conan the
wait,
Destroyer.
wait,
with a
wait.
Muppet.
I got it.
Yeah.
The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, fuck.
And Jesus is a Muppet.
Like Irreversible. How dark do you want to do
Oh,
Muppet Irreversible. Right, next question.
a Serbian film.
God.
And everybody apart from the main porn star actor is a Muppet.
this? That might make it bearable. Actually,
might be able to watch
like
that.
fucking might be able to actually watch that movie.
Wait, wait. No, final one. Right.
Right.
It's got to be a Kevin Spacey movie.
No. Better than that. Nicolas Cage. It's
Nicolas
just
Cage and everyone else is a Muppet.
in any film.
In any of them.
Anything,
any film.
any story, love,
Leaving-
love romantic,
Leaving Las
sci-fi,
Vegas.
fucking leaving Las Vegas, fucking anything. It's just Nicolas Cage talking to Muppet.
Wait, what if you do Face Off and Travolta's a Muppet, but then they have to swap? But what you do is you physically put the Muppet face on Nicolas Cage.
He's just walking around with a mask.
Muppet face.
Yeah,
Muppet face off.
Oh, no.
and then you have a Muppet with Nicolas Cage's face on.
No, that's it. Next question. Next question from Sherwin Newton.
Yo.
Hey, Sherwin. After watching and enjoying the fan-made Uncharted short film starring Nathan Fillion on YouTube, I was wondering if there are similar projects you guys have come across and that you felt handled better by the fans than any prominent studio could have. Another title that surprised me was The Punisher: Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, very good.
I don't care much for the 2004's Punisher, but the short was amazing.
Yeah.
Warmest regards from South Central.
Central South Africa. South Central Africa.
Excuse me.
And fuck the police.
I've got one.
I'm just going to finish responding to the first part and say that when I saw this question come in, I was like, there's a fan film of Uncharted starring Nathan Fillion on YouTube.
I had the same reaction.
And so I went straight to YouTube and sat there and watched the 15-minute film, and I was like, I'll admit, I've not played any of the Uncharted.
Yeah.
But I've watched Let's Plays of them from beginning to end. Like the character, like the games, very fun.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, as soon as, watching those games, I was like, that's a role for Nathan Fillion. Like, everyone's been saying it for fucking a decade now, except the studios are like, nah, we don't want Nathan Fillion.
Somebody younger.
So,
who else are you going to do? Get Brendan Fraser?
Like the Deadpool footage that leaked with Ryan Reynolds going, hey, how cool is Deadpool?
Yeah.
And then it was like, get that fucking film out the door right now. This is one of those where it's like, Nathan Fillion, Nathan Drake, can you do it? And it works, and he's really good. And it also has Stephen Lang from Tombstone, Avatar, Don't Breathe. He was plays Sully.
I have no idea any of the characters in Uncharted.
I watched Don't Breathe recently, actually.
Yeah, he's really good, isn't he?
Fuck, that's a good film.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Really good. Watch that in a double bill with A Quiet Place, and then you'll walk out into that server and go, "Oh my god, everything's so fucking loud and bright!" Do you know? I can't think of any off the top of my head. All I can think of is,
got one as well.
I was going to say back in the day. Do you remember the old Batman versus Predator?
That's the one I was going for!
Yes. Batman versus.
This is why we do this, see?
It was Batman versus Joker.
Joker, yeah.
Where the aliens turn up.
Yeah.
And the Predator turns
turns
up at the end.
I think they did. Well, I think it was called Batman versus Predator, wasn't it, to get the hook?
Yes, it was.
And oh man, that was fucking great.
It was
He's
great,
fighting with the Joker, and it's just all close-ups.
These were movie quality costumes as well, weren't they?
That's the thing that got me. I was like, wow, fans can afford to buy the suits from these films and shoot mini movies?
Yes.
I want to do that.
Yeah. And it just, the Joker being pulled away, the aliens screaming. I mean, I think he whips one down and kills it.
Yeah. The fucking Joker,
the
dude played the Joker was quite good as well. Like, I've seen a million different people trying to be the Joker online and stuff, like fair, but the dude was pretty good, man.
It reminded me of like the early Adam West kind of Joker.
Yeah, Cesar Romero,
Cesar Romero style.
Yeah.
Really
good.
That
was
that'll be on YouTube, guys. If you've not seen that, treat yourselves.
Check
Seriously.
that one out. I mean, Punisher: Dirty Laundry was good. It took Thomas Jane from the John Travolta fucking Punisher movie, and he was a lot more violent in the short. He beat the crap out of the guys that he was going after, and you're like, why
is that on YouTube? Dirty Laundry.
Dirty Laundry
yes, it is
on YouTube, and I don't think it's Thomas Jane in the Punisher Warzone, but that was a bit more of a violent one brought out after.
Wasn't
I think,
that Patty Smith who directed Wonder Woman did that?
I'm not sure.
I think it was Warzone. I think Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins, isn't it? Who directed Wonder Woman?
I'm going to say yeah. I don't know.
I can't remember.
So anyway, the girl that directed Wonder Woman, I think. She directed Warzone. I could be way wrong on this, but still.
One other answer to that one is one we mentioned earlier in an earlier podcast was the fan-made RoboCop movie where they just remade all the scenes, some with Muppets, some with figures, and some with toddlers.
Yes.
So they're.
That was that's up there.
And that's a feature length.
That's a feature length film.
That was
awesome.
Oh, here's another one as well. I actually just watched this one the other day, but there is a 15-minute. It was either 7 or 15 minutes fan-made Critters film.
Wow.
And it's literally a bounty hunter turns up to this house hunting krites.
Nice.
And the krite puppets look amazing. The suit looks really good. It's very well filmed and edited. He's done a great job at going, hey, they're still interested in this franchise.
Yeah.
So,
You can bring them back. Yeah. Next question is from Andrew Kavanagh. Hey, Andrew. Resident Evil 2 remake. Want to hear what you guys think of it.
Should we wait for Iain to run this one down?
It's on the fucking buy list, definitely. I mean,
it's on the day one.
I could have sworn last time you were saying it's going to be shit.
What?
I seem to remember when we
talked about it last month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you said that it was going to be shit.
Resident Evil 2 remake.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Game.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm not now. But
somebody's going to have to rewind the podcast for another one.
But okay, cool.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, dude.
I said it in our Resident Evil 2 video that we did that I'm not sure when the game comes out whether it's going to be still, stationary camera or whether it's going to be Resident Evil 4 style camera, and it is the Resident Evil
4, isn't it?
4 style camera, but they're using the Resident Evil 7 Resident Evil Biohazard game engine, which is beautiful for its visuals and its lighting. The game looks terrifying. I love how much extra detail they've crammed into the police station, with there being extra police officers that turn up just to get mauled and die in horrible ways.
Yeah.
They've moved things around to surprise you all over again. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, you are gonna, as Iain said earlier, prematurely ejaculate all over the place when this game comes out. I'm super excited for it.
I think if you go back on the track record, it's like those remakes that they've done before of Resident Evil were pretty fantastic. So, there was a period of like the remakes of Resident Evil, and then you had Resident Evil 0 come off the back of it, and then you had the Metal Gear remakes as well, which were fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm in the bag for that.
Yeah, definitely on the buy list. Aaron James, hey Aaron.
Yo.
Hey,
here's my question. I don't believe in God, but assuming for the sake of argument that there is one, yes there is, would you like to meet it, and what would you say to it? I'd look him in the mirror and be like, you
go get him,
sir,
kid.
Go get him. You are you know.
I'd be like, you're an absentee fucking landlord, and slap him right in his fucking dick.
I'll ask him if I can go again.
Two's up, mate.
See, my view on the universe is sketchy at best, because I'm not entirely sure how long I've actually existed for. It's all hazy. I was around when Jesus Christ, had his moment down pain.
I thought he was going to start singing a song. Sounded like a country song.
But I've been around long enough to obviously realise you just have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in your own abilities and choices to not fuck with anybody else's shit. So in a way, you could obviously just become a higher being, which would obviously ultimately be named a god. Plus, I had a son, so I technically created life.
And you are the first person to do that.
Yes.
I think I'd probably say something like, seriously, all this time you couldn't have done one public appearance just to settle all this bullshit?
Well,
people have been arguing about you for a while.
Technically, we're still waiting for
keeps them relevant.
Still waiting for the God Emperor to turn up, aren't we? In the 37th millennium.
I believe he under the base of the Himalayas, and
But obviously, that is after the Monkey King comes back and takes the trip to India to recover more scriptures.
We got a lot of shit to go through before.
There's a lot of gods out there. I love the Chinese, the fact they've got a god for everything.
Yeah.
It's like you see some religions in the world where they're like one god and one god only, and I'm like, don't tell the Chinese.
And there's a lot of them.
Because there's just so many that you don't actually know if it's true or not. So why piss them off?
Well, I'm not going to get into religious conversations about gods and things.
I like your answer of I want to go again.
I'm going to go.
Actually, off topic, because obviously the guy that asked this, Aaron. Okay,
yeah.
So the way his name is spelled, just A. Yeah.
Okay.
I recently rewatched that Key and Peele sketch. Have you seen where the substitute teacher comes in to take register?
No.
Oh, mate, it's amazing so he can't pronounce anyone's name.
Right.
And so there's a dude called Blake, and he's like, Balake! Is there a Balake here? And no one, and then this dude's like, I'm Blake. And he's like, oh, you're gonna fuck with me, are you? What's your name? And he's like, Blake. He's like, no, say it properly and all this. And then one of them is like, he's like, AA Ron. Is there an AA Ron here? Fuck me. What's Denise is like? Was it Denise Wise or something? Was it Jacqueline? It's like, Jacqueline? Is there a Jacqueline here? It's fucking amazing. Just goes on like that for 10 minutes. It's brilliant.
I've been in that position calling a class register before, and it is, when you see some of these names, you're just like, oh, fuck.
Shaniqua?
I'm like that when I'm reading the questions out for the podcast. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Shaniqua? Oh, man. How did we get onto that?
So it's because of his name.
Next question is from Renee. Hey, Renee Rodriguez.
Hey, man.
Hello, guys. My question is, what's a movie that scared you as a kid and you recently watched as an adult and found it to be either boring or not scary at all? For me, it was the 1987 horror movie titled The Unholy. It scared me so much as a 9-year-old. Just watched it recently on Blu-ray and I almost fell asleep. Thanks for the reviews and Gaming Friday videos and keeping me distracted from the shithole reality we're living in right now. Groovy.
Damn.
Excellent.
I watched a lot of films when I was younger that scared me, and weirdly enough, they still give me the creeps now. Like, I watched American Werewolf in London when I was a kid, and that first opening attack freaked me the fuck out. Rewatching it again, still that jump scare.
Oh, okay, but
settles down, the music, everything calms down.
But the thing is, when I put that film on now, I know I'm watching a comedy. Like, that film is a comedy.
Yeah, man. But what he's saying there is like, yeah, but do you still find it scary, or do you? He's saying that now you find it either boring or not scary.
Yeah, because my other example is the Amityville Horror from 1979. You know,
Yeah, that film
still
upset
fucking
me.
freaky.
The priest with the flies in the window.
Yeah.
See, I would say, like, with his question saying that you don't find it scary at all anymore. It's like, I remember The Fly with Jeff Goldblum used to freak me out. Just for the body shock of it all when I was a kid. Because I watched it when I was like fucking 8 or 9.
Body Hammer, that's what gets me.
I've always
But again, but I would find that boring now.
Blair Witch Project. I set myself up to be terrified watching that film when I watched it when I was living in that student house, the 24-bedroom house. I was the only person in there for the whole week.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the night, I watched Blair Witch Project.
Smart.
And if I needed to go to the toilet, I had to walk past like 15, rooms or whatever, and then round a corner and up another. Yeah. I terrified myself watching that.
You know what one got me when I was really young was is it Superman 2?
For most people it's 3, and it's when what's she called gets turned into the robot.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that was freaky as hell.
Freaky
Fuck
bit
out me when I was a kid.
That is a freaky bit.
Yeah, for a kids movie, it was terrifying.
But if I
you
watch
mentioned
it
The
now,
Witches
I'm just
the other
like, that
the
just
month.
looks fucking stupid. Yeah, The Witches.
Yeah.
Man.
The Witches have got scary parts. Yeah.
Gremlins. That's the sequence towards the end when it's Spike running around. In that hall, that used to scare me.
Giving it the fucking shining on the little bike.
Actually, I've got a good example. Right, used to scare me when I was a kid, but then when I watched it again when I was an adult, I was just like, I was distracted mainly. The sequence in Neverending Story, when he has to make the run past the giant statue.
Oh, the big titty statues.
Big titty
I
statues.
just assumed you were going to say the fucking pit with the horse.
Yeah, well, that's.
Because that would still get me.
That makes me fucking cry like fuck. But him.
I watched that with the kid. I skipped past. He's like, "What are you doing?" He sent the horse home. Now look at the big titty statues. That's fine.
I showed it. I showed that sequence to Dylan when he was younger, and
Why?
he was just because we were just watching.
You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn about Lost Boy.
Yeah,
Sit down.
But he was distracted. He was
Teacher's
distracted
world's not all
playing
about
with his
sweets.
toys, so he didn't really pay attention. It just recently had its, I think it was the 34th
Yeah, it did have an
anniversary.
anniversary soon, yeah, you're
and
right.
somebody put that footage on Facebook where the horse dies in the swamp. So I played it, and Dylan's watching it, and he's just like, I've seen this. And I was like, yeah, you watched it when you were younger. He's like, oh, and he looked away, and he was playing the computer at the time. And the horse, he's just like, come on, Artex, get out, you can't die, stupid horse. And Dylan just looked over and went, stupid horse. I was like, oh my god, my heartless son.
This is because you let him shoot people in the face on Metal Gear.
Man, he is my boy.
He's so desensitized.
He is.
Because he's gone to his dark place.
already.
I don't know. He cried like hell with the Brachiosaur in Jurassic World.
Okay.
Jurassic World 2. Yeah, that was his. That was his Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we again? Oh, Gaming Fridays and the Unholy. Elias Clyde. Hey, Elias.
Yo,
Hey,
man.
fellas. First time asking you gents some questions, so here we go. My first question is, what happened to your couch and why switched up? Also, read any books. What's your favourite? Much love from Sacramento, California, and keep doing what makes you happy. Rock on, Eli. We switched the couch because we had so much dead space behind us, and we wanted to change the background. So we obviously moved around the location that we've got, which is the front room in Gary's house, and it couldn't fit the sofa in. So Gary said he was going to buy some seats, and I thought I was going to come back and it was going to be like some mastermind, lever-based fucking Professor X ass balancing, comfy fucking little part of the universe.
This
that I can
couch
sit there
smells like
talking about
Patrick
film.
Stewart.
And he turned to me and he went, "Here, I got wrestling chairs," and I was like, "Shit, okay." And I sat down on the
You were
wrestling
mad
chair.
and you hit him with the chair.
Close to. Now the wrestling chair I've grown to love. You know, it's my wrestling chair, but damn, that thing balances on my ass. And I love my ass, but I think my ass and the chair have to have some compromise at some moment.
Yeah, we will upgrade the chairs at some point. That our new setup is now a work in progress. When we get some time, we'll continue to work on it.
If you could get sponsored by Lazy Boy,
yeah,
it's like, then I'd sell out quick.
Yes.
But yeah, we will get some better chairs. We will get the backdrop. It will continue to change and evolve as we go.
Can we get some of those 60s egg chairs?
We've only got so much room to work with.
No.
What, like fucking thingy out of Despicable Me 1?
The Men in Black
bad
chairs.
guy.
If we can sell out to a chair company to give us different chairs to sell.
Ian, next time I give you a chair, it's going to be a stool with one leg.
It's gonna be
One of those camping chairs you fold out and just balance on like at festivals.
it's going to be a sticker. I'm just going to have to balance it over. He's going to be shooting rolled up pieces of paper from a stick into my
Little
face.
do you know
What you
he's
should
actually
do is,
just
like-
squatting for most of the review.
Just get like a big fucking like comedy Toadstool and get yourself like a big throne or something. Like, I got us 2 new chairs. Dibs on the throne. It's my house. You get the Toadstool.
But yeah, we wanted to switch up. I mean, we had the original setup in the previous place, which was a beanbag, the sofa, and the shelf behind us. Then we moved to here, which was just a straight shot. 2 of us on the couch. And now this is I would say our third generation of.
And I like mixing it up. I mean, I always love having a different opening to catch the viewer off guard, so they're like, okay, what are these guys doing?
One day you should just be on a swing.
Gradually
getting closer to the camera all the way through. Like, you keep going out of shot. And like,
the skulls
keeps coming in and out.
The skulls of my enemies would be good.
Of course,
that would be good.
Heretic. Sorry, asked as well.
Also reading the books. I am a massive Horus Heresy fan from Games Workshop, the Warhammer 40k series. It is my fucking
Warhammer 30k.
Well, yeah, technically it's set in Warhammer 30k, which is obviously 10,000 years before. It is disgustingly sick. I buy one of those books and it never leaves my side for the next 4 days. I can get through one of those books in 4 days. If I'm not doing anything for 5 minutes, I'll have my head in the book. And then it's done and it's on the shelf with all the others, all in my own kind of chronological.
Yeah, because the order they're released ain't the chronological order, is it?
No.
My collection of I've got to you, but they're in a very different order.
And put them in certain sections for certain people. I picked up one a couple of days ago. Actually, it was the 3rd one in the series. I think it was Galaxy in Flames.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and I was going to the toilet and I needed something to read. That's enough information there. I opened the book and the spine was like. And I was just like, shit. When I read this, I had it like that the whole way through, and it hasn't been opened properly since I finished it like 10 years ago.
Wow.
And now I've opened it, and it's kind of like
spine.
Yeah, it's kind of like reading like an ancient scripture and going through, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put that one back and get like a more recent one.
That's so funny that you say that, because I said I nearly had a fucking disaster with my shelving.
Yes, your shelves were going to collapse with all your models on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, mostly it's got all my graphic novels on.
Yes, that's
because obviously I read a lot of like comic books. I buy them in. Well, look at your pictures. I buy them in graphic novel form because it's easier to just read them and stuff, and you get the whole story. But I got this massive bookcase in the man cave, and on the shelf it's very deep, so the books are big enough that these graphic novels will fit halfway along the shelf,
all
stacked up and stuff. And well, that's what I mean. There's as much space in front of them as there is that they're in, so it's very deep. It's a very deep bookshelf, and I've got models from the Warhammer 40k and stuff. Some of them fairly expensive.
Yes.
And I was stood there for a minute, and I was just looking at the bookshelf, and I was like, why does that look slanted? And I realised that one of the supports under the top shelf had gone, and the only thing that was holding it up was the book that was underneath it, like a big copy of Batman Hush, like a special edition one.
Yeah.
And then when I went to move that, I realised that the same thing was happening on the shelf underneath that with another couple of graphic novels, and it became this race against time to take models off the shelf. They were everywhere, on the couch, on the floor. I was moving around. My wife came in. What are you doing? I'm like, get the fuck out! I'm like, don't fucking move! Don't touch anything!
Don't breathe!
And I'm pulling all these off. So I got it all fixed and drilled in some new fucking supports and stuff. I'm like, that fucker ain't going again.
Yeah.
And then and funnily enough, I'd gone up to the shelf to start rereading those Batman novels of Dark Victory that we were talking about on the podcast last.
Nice.
So I got there and read that one, and it's a trade paperback. And when I went to open it, it had been compressed on the shelf so long that the pages kind of had that stuck together like. I was like, every page turn is a fucking ass clencher. I mean, this isn't like a special edition book or anything. I buy another copy for probably like £8 to £10.
But this one
I
is
was
yours.
like, this was mine, man. And I was like, oh shit. It was like Batman's face is gonna be on both pages or something like that. It's so funny that you had the same thing. But yeah, if you haven't read them for a while.
So I guess I'm a big fan of Stephen King, and I also do like to read H.P. Lovecraft as well.
Right on.
Just one of the my originator of horror. Some of the stuff that his imagination crafted still terrifies me when you think about it. And so I did read. I'm still reading. I haven't finished the series called The Painted Man.
Right.
Which is. It was going to be developed into a TV series at one point, but it's basically a post-apocalyptic future where mankind has kind of been set back to the Stone Age, and at night time, demons come up out of the ground and eat people.
Nice.
And villages have these wards that they put around the perimeter, but these demons, the different types, eventually find ways in and kill people. And you get this one guy, I think he's called Arlen, and he learns about these runes, and he tattoos his body head to toe in different runes, which can do different damage to different demons.
Oh, that's fucking
where he
badass.
eventually, but then there's also a southern tribe which, instead of hiding it during the night, they build pits and arenas and build tunnels to funnel the demons through, and they fight the demons every night. And he's eventually learnt these runes and painting himself up, and the two of them are, the prophecy is one of them will be the hero, and the two of them end up having a battle of interests.
Nice.
So there's a battle of the humans whilst there's a battle with the demons before they decide which one of them's going to go beneath the surface to fight the demons in its own realm.
I think I heard
it's a really great story. It's
I think
very
I heard
compelling.
AMC's picked that up. I think Josh Whedon's writing it.
That's my answer to the question.
Yeah. Next question is from Andrew Lee Fenton.
Hey, man.
Andrew. Hi, gents. I'm not the biggest horror movie fan, but one of the reasons that I love the channel is getting to see your perspective as horror fans on movies I may not normally watch. My question is, can you remember the last horror movie that genuinely scared you? Do horror movies still give you that sensation, or as you have watched so many, are you immune? Cheers, Andy. Oh, what? I thought that was you.
What?
Oh my god! Learn to read.
The last major horror movie that really scared me, it is actually coming up at some point, was the Japanese Pulse movie.
Yeah.
That movie freaks me out. Just unsettles me when I go into rooms on my own. Just good day.
Well, if you do that every time you go into the room, it's no fucking wonder.
Yeah, you don't turn lights on those purposes.
No, I would consider myself pretty much desensitized to most horror now.
You are pretty dead inside.
No, it's just I've pretty much seen it all.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something very original and very creative, I guess. I really loved season 1 of Stranger Things. But for scary, viscerally haunting, I guess supernatural-ish type stuff. I've watched 13 seasons of Supernatural. I've watched 7 seasons of Buffy, and 5 of Angel. I've seen and heard of almost every type of creature imaginable.
Yeah.
Along with Lovecraft and Stephen King. It's like
You could kill a god.
with my knowledge of monsters.
Yeah.
It's all those runes he's got tattooed all over his body.
Yes. We wondered what that was.
Yeah, I think I'm the same as you in that respect, man. Although I got to admit, there was a couple of bit like it last year. that got
It
me.
had its moments.
Yeah, it had its moments where I was sort of like, I think me and my buddy the Sandbags, when we went to see it, we were sort of driving back, and I was like, dude, that was great. I really enjoyed that, and I was like, it's a rainy night as well driving, because again, it's raining in Plymouth, but I dropped him off, and he phoned me. He was living in this flat at the time, and he phoned me up. I was like 10 feet around the corner. I was on the car, like boom, brought the phone up and everything. And he's like, mate, my fucking power cut the second I walked through the door. He was like, oh shit, my fucking pants. It's like, he's literally walked through, flicked the light on, it's come on for a second, and the breakers have all gone, and he stood in the middle of his flat on his own, dead of night, door still open, pouring rain, all the lights go out, and he was, nope. And I was like, where are you? He was like, I fucking went outside. He's like, the fuse box is in the kitchen, I ain't going in there. I was like, well, I ain't coming back.
Oh man, that freaked me out. Talking about it, about a month ago, I was deciding. I was going up to the local supermarket from our house, and I decided to drive, get in the car, bright sunny day. There's.
Which one are you talking about?
Oh, the Morrisons up the road.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the one on the corner, and you decided to drive. I was like,
less than 30 seconds walk.
Lazy motherfucker.
Half hour, 45-minute
car
walk.
running.
But I get up to the top of my road, and at the top of my road there's a four-way junction. You got to be really careful because people park on all the corners, and you've got to take it slow. So I've turned around, I've come up my road, and I'm about to go up the big hill near my road. I stop, I'm looking left, I'm looking right, and as I look forward, this red balloon just fucking bumps along the road, and it didn't bump and just float off into the air.
Playing the John Carpenter's soundtrack at this time
right.
as well.
I don't know. I think I just had the radio on, but it bumped and it just stayed on the floor. And in my mind, I'm like, "Don't hear Pennywise laugh! Don't hear Pennywise laugh!" And it just kind of floated behind this car,
Georgie.
And I just fucking drove up the road, looking in my mirror, and
You see a little kid in a red raincoat running down the road.
Now he'd be in the back seat.
Yeah.
Even worse.
I kind of tried to forget it until he brought it up just then about it, it, and I was like, yeah, that brings the memories back.
See, that's an important lesson,
Solitary
because
red balloon.
if someone's doing that as a prank, I'm going to dress as a clown and release a balloon in front of someone's car. If you do that to me, I'm running.
You'll get
I
run
will-
over.
my foot is going fucking down,
I'm
and I drive a really big car, and I will fuck your day up. No regrets.
Unless you flop on the floor like those fake people do in the movies, but scream if you scream as you go under, I don't care.
No, but dude, even then I'll be like, I'm not taking a fucking chance.
Okay, right, getting away from first degree murder. Next question is from Jake Adams. Hey Jake.
Hey, man.
Alright lads, a la Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg make their cameos in Land of the Dead as zombies.
Nice.
What movie would you like to make a cameo in as a subtle nod to the fans that you were there? In my mind's eye, I see you cameoing as Vincent and Jules from Pulp Fiction. It just makes sense. Gary would be Eddie Guerrero and I would be Booker T.
What?
That took me a second. That was a nice one. Yeah.
WrestleMania promos.
21.
Pulp Fiction.
They all did movie pro where like Triple H was Braveheart.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
And Austin
Christy
was
Hemme
Gladiator.
was Harry Met Sally, and
Yeah.
she was giving it the big one. Yeah.
I had this idea that we would be on a review on somebody's computer, and they would be watching us as somebody comes into the room and has the scene with them, with us in the background,
Right,
and them
right.
just talking, and then at the end of the scene they just turn back and carry on pressing play.
Yeah.
And it's just like a subtle nod.
Yeah.
We
but
are.
what film would it be in? What would you put it in?
Well, I mean, that's, I hadn't thought that far, because it could be in anything, but the irony would be we would be doing a film review in a film.
Nice.
And if it was, I mean, imagine the irony of it being a fucking horror movie.
That'd be quite
I don't
cool.
know if I'm using irony right.
I would put me and Ian in the new RoboCop movie that's being made as criminals of some kind for RoboCop to just blast away.
And as he's running,
Or we could be on the screen saying we'd buy that for $1. You can be the dollar
yeah.
guy.
That'd be amazing.
I was just thinking if like there's a police car chase, and he's chasing after some guys, and the car goes past and there's us on the side of the street, and I just look at you and go dun, 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 and they carry on with the action sequence.
I'd like to be the guy that sells the Boondock Saints all their weapons.
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yes.
We talked about something earlier you would have liked as well.
Oh.
I thought it'd be funny. Michael Pena in Ant-Man, the Hispanic sidekick, and he does those amazing cutaways where he's like, so what happened was my friend Louise and did all this, and then you see them talking.
Yeah.
I want Avengers 4 to start with him recapping Avengers so that
like
his
that.
voice comes over Thanos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good cameo for him to do. He should do that in every fucking movie. Every sequel.
Yeah. He should
Michael Pena
recap
rocks
it.
up first.
I
and
don't know.
What happened was John Wick is like talking in fucking things. He's trying to kill my dog, bro.
Was it him in End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think
Yeah.
I could handle it in End of Watch. That was way too fucking serious. Okay, next question's from Scott Tyndall. Hey Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Shenmue 3 thoughts. Are you fans? Do you plan on purchasing the HD remasters?
Nope and nope.
Nope and no.
No and no.
My brother was a massive fan of the Shenmue games. I watched
They
him
are
play Shenmue 1
amazing,
for
but-
months and months, and I kept looking over and going, "What the are you playing?
Why is your
Like,
game a job?
Why exactly?" I was like, "Why do you have to go to this pier and drive a forklift truck and earn money?"
Because
and
it's the
then
most realistic
The dialogue,
game
the
you
dialogue. I hated the dialogue.
Oh, man.
Did you see that guy on that day in that car?
Yeah,
on
it's
that
still
day.
old school.
Matthew Perry did
We're
it
looking at
It was stilted, horrible dialogue. I mean, I put up with some crappy dialogue. I mean, I love the early Resident Evil games, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But Shenmue, with its attempts to be as realistic as possible, just was infuriating. Just was it quick time event fighting sequences
Yes,
as well?
yes. Well, no. There
it was
were quick time
freeform,
events, and
but
then
there
you had
were-
the fight sequences, and you could learn combos to get better.
Yeah,
in
I
fight
don't get me wrong. I saw the appeal for it. I watched my brother play it for months.
It was a partial sandbox open world game,
martial arts
game where you're trying to look for the killer of your father.
Yeah.
And in the first game, I never played the first game. I only played the second one.
I only played the second
And
one.
the second one starts with him heading into Hong Kong, I think it is.
You know, I think I played the second one when we all lived together.
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
it was like
That
a couple
was-
of
it
people were
came out
playing
on
it,
the
and I was like,
Xbox.
"What the fuck are we playing?"
It came out on the original Xbox, but the problem I found was, it was such a chore to get to the next parts of the story, and then you always just felt like you were on a constant time limit because you only had a couple of months to get so far for the game to end, for you to not have an ending to your story.
Still. I mean, Shenmue 3's been in development for what, a decade or something. It's been on and off again. I don't care. It's what, maybe Shenmue 3 is out now.
If they
and now
release
it's a remaster of the other two. I don't keep up with it. I'm not a fan.
If they release Shenmue 3 and all three of them, I may get them when they are really cheap and I've got enough time
I
to
think
sit
I'd pick
around
up a
and do it.
Yakuza game at the moment because I've been hearing good things about those.
Well, you might as well just wait for Red Dead Redemption.
I already am.
Yeah, we all are, dude.
So, next question is from Scott Belmont. Hey, Scott.
Hey, man.
What era would you say, Gary, you're spelling? What era would you say was the best for movies?
Well, that was the question,
That
right?
was a copy-paste.
Yeah.
60s, 70s, 80s, etc. and why? Proud chauffeur.
I'm going to have to go 80s.
I'd say 80s as well.
Yeah.
My favourite movies I grew up watching are in the 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't... If I really...
Mostly for costumes.
Yeah, I suppose...
Costumes, just the
Soundtracks.
movies, the actors, the music at the time, just so much.
Weird
so
Science
many
was in the
films.
80s. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think...
Ghostbusters,
I'm trying to think
The
of that
Thing,
one film.
Aliens.
Oh, yeah, probably the 80s was the thing then.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Alien and Escape from New York in 79, but still, I mean, 82 was the year I was born, so yeah, I'll go with 82.
I'll take, 79 into 91. Those
good
are
shout.
80s still on the cusp of made and then released in.
The cusp.
You got to remember, because we're all in our 30s and we were all born in like 82, 83, we still think the 80s were 10 years ago.
Right, yeah.
And when people correct us, we're really sad.
Yeah, it's like,
oh man.
Yeah.
What's worse is when we're like, yeah, but the 90s were 10 years ago, right? Like, no, wrong again, dude. You're like, oh, motherfucker.
When 90s
only getting
music
worse.
is playing on Classic FM, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, smack my bitch up is on Classic FM. You're like, what has happened?
What has happened to the world? Yeah.
It's like I was frozen.
Next question's from Jack Hawkins.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. Hey boys, as usual, love the latest podcast. My question this week: what Tarantino movie do you think is best? Keep up the great work as usual. I absolutely love The Hateful Eight.
I was only
That was
talking
gonna be
about
my
that
choice,
at work.
man. Yeah.
Hateful Eight is fantastic.
Porn for the
Natural
ears.
Born Killers his?
Rodriguez,
No, that's
wasn't
Oliver
it?
Stone.
Oliver Stone, yeah, you're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
yeah. He produced
Reservoir
it, I think.
Dogs is a
Yeah.
beautiful movie to watch. Pulp Fiction. Oh, you know what?
Kill Bill's pretty good.
Kill
It's easy
Bill's
to
good.
rewatch as
Death
well.
Proof is good.
Death Proof
I
I
mean,
like a lot.
Fucking there's.
Inglourious Bastards. I've only ever
Oh,
seen it
yeah.
through once, but
Yeah, I
I
really
fell
like
in
that
love
movie.
with the French theatre owner. I
Yeah.
loved her story.
The opening
Yeah.
sequence is just fucking glorious to watch.
For me, it's the bar scene. It's like almost an hour long.
I know we're basically just naming all his movies, but Django as well is
Django.
Yeah,
Django.
Django.
fucking
Yeah.
Fucking.
Christoph Waltz in like
Okay.
both Bastards and
Yes.
Django.
Right,
But I
right,
would
okay,
say
wait,
that
wait.
the
No,
Hateful
for-
Eight is my favourite.
Hateful
I
Eight
think.
is mine as well.
Right, so we're all going Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful
Yeah,
Eight. Best film he's
Kurt
done.
motherfucking Russell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kurt
Sam
motherfucking
Jackson
Russell.
doing a good job as well.
Next question is from Alexander.
Yo.
Hey, Alexander.
Hey, man.
Let's do politics.
Oh,
Ooh.
Let's not.
Alex, no.
Question 1, Brexit, your thoughts? And question 2, Trump, stable genius or idiot?
Okay.
Right,
Brexit.
question one.
No one knows what it is.
Voted stay, so whatever.
I voted Remain,
I
but
don't,
no one really
Remain.
knows what
I
it
don't
is.
vote. Your human politics have nothing to do with me. You're all just silly carbon-based life forms.
Well, there you go.
And every one of the politicians that obviously sit in the House of Commons in the UK talking about these things, I have literally now come to the point where if I watch them arguing, all I hear is "Row, row, 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 row," and they just look like orcs. The bigger orc gets the louder orc gets the notice, and they have these ideas. Now,
May does look like an orc, to be fair.
the weird contradiction I've found as well is everything matters to us, and then at the same time nothing matters to us. If all the oil in the world tomorrow just ceased to exist and the world fell into anarchy, yes, it would be very problematic for a lot of us. But then at the same time, we can't magicate fucking oil out of nothing, so we wouldn't be able to change the situation. So the Brexit situation is somebody came up with an idea, they're trying to implement it, and some people are arguing against it, and it's probably not going to come into effect, or not even come into effect the way that they wanted it to come into effect, but it may come into effect with a couple of little tweaks here and there, and we will just end up still going to work tomorrow, and the world will just still keep turning.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump,
Isn't he a film star?
He is a film star.
A couple.
He has been at WrestleMania. He has had sex with porn stars, and he makes a lot of money. And personally,
he runs a country as well.
He is the face of what
America.
What I'd like to say is corporate America. Now, I don't mean that to any Americans, be them Canadians or Mexicans or British Americans or French Americans or any type of person who's actually living there, working a job.
You don't get Canadian Americans, dude.
No, I think you just
They're called Canadians.
You get all types of Americans.
Also, Mexicans, same thing. It's its own country. It's not a province.
Anyway, Donald Trump is just the face of what we already know is a controlled system. And we've known this is a control system for so long that we're happy for the control system to exist. It's like knowing Area 51 exists, but not actually caring what they do in it.
Well,
exactly.
I got nothing on that. I got nothing on that, dude.
I know, because it's being a god, man.
If you're gonna, I'll tell you what. I'll answer your question by just literally using the two choices he gave us: stable genius or idiot. And I'm gonna fucking lend towards the latter.
Okay.
Just using his choices.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, he is the leader of a country, so pretty good for being a fucking idiot. So we've all got a chance. Whoa! Yes,
Kids, you can do anything.
man. I've seen Mad Max 2. I could be humongous.
But some of you should do some fucking push-ups.
Nobody.
Do you remember South Park when they had the girls versus boys and Butters came along and he was wearing the mask and Butters does the voice like, just walk away and no one will be hurt.
Imagine Donald Trump dressed as the humongous.
Oh, don't. I'd rather not. Fuck that.
That's an image for you. That's an image. Yeah.
Can we go to the next question?
Yeah, next question, man.
Yeah, okay. Next question is from Neil Winslow.
Yo.
Hey, Neil. Are there any other YouTubers you would like to team up with for a special episode? If so, who? Be Real and Snoop Dogg.
Well played.
And Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
What is a juggalo?
Kevin Smith.
That's my go-to.
There's a pattern there.
Yeah.
There's a pattern there.
Yeah.
What was the question? Who would we team up with? I would love to guest appear on Half in the Bag or Best of the Worst, Red Letter Media, or get them over here. But that's like a pipe dream.
Oh yeah, John St. John. He doesn't have a YouTube channel.
No.
He does.
I'd
Let's Plays
also
at the moment. No.
love to do a collaboration with Oliver Harper. More reasonable. He's London based.
Isn't Decker Shadow?
Decker Shadow I would also put on there as well. People have asked us if we would do a crossover with Decker Shadow, and I would say yes. But doing, we would have to. I mean, I've talked with Decker Shadow in the past.
Are we saying, Gary, that we are up for
a crossover?
Getting a threesome going on with somebody from the outside?
Well, we have guest stars before, but the thing is, it's like they have different formats to us, and it's whether we would have them adhere to our format for our video, or whether we would adhere to their format for their video.
Sorry. This is what you have to work with. It comes as a full package.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the logistics of working it out. How would we?
Yeah. It's like I might turn up one day with cream on my face.
We are unscripted. Whereas the other two that I mentioned are scripted, and Red Letter Media is not scripted.
Yes.
Or it doesn't appear to be anyway.
I'd with the Sustained Fire podcast that we do for 40k, I'd really like to just interview or work with the guys from Forza Narrative.
Nice.
Just because out of all of the big sort of 40k and miniature game based podcasts, they're the ones that seem to enjoy it the most.
Yes.
They're the one they'll call bullshit on bullshit, I guess, but I just like their approach. So they're a lot lighter to listen to than a lot of the others. So they're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, getting people in who actually they understand what you're doing and have a passion for it as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, next question is from Jason Ramos. Hey Jason, are there any American phrases or words you're not familiar with or don't understand? Don't they speak English?
Back along,
right.
I never knew what snatch meant for American, or what it was for American slang.
Isn't it just pussy?
Yeah. But I never knew that before.
So that movie must have really confused them.
It did.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There's a movie called Vagina. What?
Oh, so fanny.
Yeah. Fanny packs. Yeah.
When they say fanny and they're talking about their
ass packs.
A butt.
Yeah.
Or
and
pants.
It's it means vagina here.
Yeah.
What do they call underwear? I mean,
like pants or whatever.
Yeah, pants and trousers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Americans. I'm sorry. No.
So for example, if I said to you now, sort of like, can I borrow this? And you said, yeah, it's in my drawers.
Right, yeah.
I'd open the drawers on your dresser, and someone else might be like, "Dude, I ain't going down there."
No,
for that.
put your hands in your pockets.
Yeah.
Okay. Being political now. What confuses
just get away
Not
from
after
that.
the last time.
what confuses me is American phrases that you're familiar with. It's how can you have an American neo-Nazi who's obviously patriotic? That confuses me.
What?
You talking about like white power guys, I
Yeah.
guess, or something? Or?
Yeah.
Well, that's in every culture. That's not just American, though, is it?
Yeah, but they,
As in, like, mate. Okay, like you got the no, but all right. We'll look at like the EDL that are like, we're patriots. It's like, you're racists. I'm patriotic in the way that I'm proud to be British. I'm proud of us as a country, but I'm also fine with black people. You know, like, but I can still be a patriot. Their version of patriotism is like,
humans, but that's the problem with humans.
They just can't get along.
Yeah,
we need
a
united federation.
Yeah, we do.
United federation
Clearly,
of planets
absolutely.
or something, and try and go up.
Not phrases, but I remember when I went to Hawaii, because that's the only time I've ever been to the States. Is when I went to Hawaii, the currency, right?
Yeah.
So there's 100 cents in a dollar, like we have 100 pennies in a pound. I'm like, this is fucking easy.
Yeah.
And then they started handing me, quarters are fine.
Quarters and 25
And then when they
cents.
started handing me dimes and nickels,
Yeah.
I was just like, no.
What's a dime? Is
I
a
don't
penny?
know. No, a penny's a penny.
It's
A cent.
So
I don't know what a dime is. I don't know what a nickel is. A quarter is 25
like
cents.
5 and
That's
25.
easy.
Because they have 25
I think a
cents.
nickel
Yeah.
is a 5p. I think.
All right,
it is,
great.
yeah.
I don't know. What
Yeah.
I do know is all of them that I got were put on the dresser in the hotel.
Yeah.
Probably equaled about, like, I think someone said to me, like, one of the men said there was about $15 there or something. I was like, that's great. And on the last day, I put it all into my shirt like you used to as a kid, you know, carrying
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And I walked out to one of the homeless people and was like, hold your bucket up, bro. Made it fucking rain. Because I was like, I am not dealing with your weird ass fucking currency.
And now that guy owns Google.
Yeah, totally. Gave him a startup. But it's like they didn't. What's interesting is what from our side as well is our wedding coordinator didn't understand me when she said you've got to be here for. She was like 5:15.
Yeah.
When I said, oh, okay, so quarter past 5, and she was like, what? I was like, quarter past 5. She's like, what is that? Like 5:45 or 5:15? I'm like 5:15. What the fuck? Could not comprehend it. I said like 1:45, and she was like, quarter to what is that? And I'm just like, fucking, this is why you have nickels and dimes.
This is why you have Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Everything.
Drops down.
Sorry,
to,
Mary.
yeah, 15 degrees
Yeah, sorry, man.
Celsius or Fahrenheit.
Next question is from Cody Watts. Hey, Cody.
Hey, man.
Opinions on the new Halloween movie?
I've not seen it yet.
Excited. Yeah, we haven't watched it.
Reserving my judgment, you know.
It's Danny McBride. He saved Alien Covenant.
He
for us.
didn't save it. He was just
Was not the
best
worst
part
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was not
He
the
was
worst thing
the best
about
part
it.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis being back in it, I'm excited.
Yeah, haven't seen her in
I love
Everything
Quite a
everything so far looks positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Carpenter's had nothing but good things to say about it. So much so that he's still, I think, recording the soundtrack for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But, so yeah, reserved. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And last question is from Ben Oliveira.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben. He just says zombie theory.
Oh.
Like the band, or
I guess so, or like how it would start.
I will tell you, it won't be rage-infested monkeys.
No, because they're not zombies.
No, I mean it won't start from that.
Because that's a virus.
As in when you just said how would it start, I said it won't be rage-infested monkeys.
Oh right, okay.
Because that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a virus.
But it will be vegans.
It shouldn't be a virus let loose underneath the city with Mila Jokovic running around.
Very true.
The T virus.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but the
some
band.
pharmaceutical company.
If it's going to start, it will be probably man-made, though. I
Yeah,
would say. I
the
think that's
zombie
fair to
virus
say.
will some
Yeah.
hack mental genius scientist.
Some Rick and
will
Morty
develop
style
it.
lunatic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, we have gone way over time, but I just want to thank you both for letting me join the third part of the podcast and rambling on for nearly 2 hours. Iain, good job on holding the podcast together.
Yes.
Well done, man. Well done.
I'm going to sleep now.
For sure.
Never let him read anything.
No.
How'd you make it through all them books?
I jump a lot slow.
He reads it backwards.
I read it backwards.
Wikipedia's it first.
If I started at the bottom, I'd work my way up.
Get the cliff notes.
Yeah. And so with that, I also want to thank everyone for listening to the podcast. We'll be back next month with another podcast 21.
Yes.
And of course, new film reviews on Thursdays, gaming Fridays for now,
Yeah, possibly.
and something new maybe in the future. And so with that, I will say thanks once more, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy, guys.
Love your face.